Folks at home, I want to welcome you to the Verizon VCT Game Changers presented by Dignitas. We're co-streaming on GL Gaming Lounges today. My name is Seymour. Alongside me, Doctor. We're going to be bringing you through this and having a little bit of a fun watch party with all of you and us and some excellent female Valorant. I'm so excited, Doctor.
I'm super excited. Today's event should be absolutely stellar. We have the top 8 ahead of us here today with so many hyper stacked teams that are vying for this champion today. And honestly, can we just get into it? I see a timer on my screen and it's going too slow.
I know, I know. I'm looking at. I'm waiting for these games. I mean, we got Dignitas against Shopify Rebellion for our first match of the day, and I'm excited because Shopify was one of those new teams that came into. I mean, I know KPFPS on. I've seen a lot of her tweets, and I've been following. I mean, I'm not the most informed on the Game Changers teams, but I do see these players as bouncing around in a lot of these a lot of clips, and I know Shopify Rebellion was really making a name for themselves. I mean, they were the first female team to take a map off of Cloud9 White last weekend, and I think that's just like adding onto the resume for these players. Excited to see what they can do against Dignitas, another big name organization in esports, and bringing a lot to the table, presenting these game changers, bringing everything together and making all this happen, really.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking specifically of KP, it's nice to see some GLG alumni now making it big into the waves. If anybody here is a GLG fan from a year ago, we used to watch KP run the bracket and just
On
smash
Elevate, right?
everybody. Elevate, and then they also, I believe, branched off and did their own team for a little while. So it's super fun to see players that we've had experience with now move on to bigger and better things. And I mean,
Yeah.
they're gonna kill it today. Today should be a huge fun blast that honestly, yeah, they're competing and they're going through like the competitive motions to make sure that like they're locked in, but like they're having fun, right? Like
Oh
we're
yeah.
having fun, they're having fun, all the other co-streamers are having fun as well. So I'm super pumped, and I am excited that once this timer goes down for a couple more seconds there, we'll be able to hop into a game for a little bit and get to see what the map pool is, because they're all
Let's
best of.
talk. Let's talk a little bit about these two teams because I got their head-to-head right up on it from Spike.gg, and I'm looking at Dignitas versus Shopify Rebellion. Shopify actually has the edge over Dignitas with 2 wins to only 1 win for Dignitas. So going into this, I mean, we could be seeing Shopify Rebellion actually take down Dignitas in this matchup. From what history looks like, is that Shopify more of a bind team. I see some wins on Split and Ascent as well, and if you get if you really get Ascent and binds into this map pool, I think that is going to be really kind of trustworthy to Shopify's uh success in their past. So moving into this, like you said, once the bracket comes through, once we see the maps that are on board for these two teams, we really get to kind of dive even deeper into what we're going to see between the two. And look at the fan votes. I mean, 86% say Dignitas are going to win. 14% thinks Shopify Rebellion is going to win, but I'm team Shopify right now.
Yeah, I mean, looking at even some of these past matches that they've come up against, you have Dignitas, who have played against teams like No Shot, 100 Emoji, Team Blossom, TLP Prism, Kunai. Like they've smashed a lot of these teams, right? Like 2-0 for the first 3, and then 13-7 against TLP and 13-2 against Kunai. But when you look on the other side, who Shopify Rebellion has been playing, they've been playing Gen G, they've been playing Cloud9, they've been playing Nothing to Lose, and looking at these scores, they're pretty close. We got a 2-1 over Gen G. They did lose to Cloud9 1-2, but even still, that's not like anything to be ashamed about. And you also have them beating Nothing to Lose 2-0. So absolutely sick play coming out of them. And yeah, the fan vote is coming through for Dignitas, but I mean, let's be honest.
I
Shopify
think
Rebellion, it's name recognition. It's a
I
it's a
think
fan
that's
vote.
mostly name recognition right now for fan voting. I do think that Dignitas really is getting the better of like the fans in terms of that the voting for this series, because when you're looking at those past games, I mean, even Dignitas, I mean, they go up against No Shot, 100 Emoji, Team Blossom, TLP Prism, and Kunai. I don't think that resume of the past 5 games is as good of a resume as Shopify Rebellion, because yes, you lose to Team X, but you beat them immediately after in a best of 3. Same with Cloud9 and Cloud9 White. I mean, that's probably one of the best female teams that you're gonna see go up against, and you're the first female team to take a map off of them. So definitely, I mean, we just kind of keep nailing this on the head and going over it and over it. But why don't we take a look at what we're going to be seeing for the day throughout this tournament? So let's take a look at the VCT Game Changers main event list. Where Dignitas versus Shopify Rebellion, the top team or the top match of the bracket. Underneath them, Just Breathe and CLG Red. Underneath that, you got Cloud9 White versus Nothing to Lose, and then to finish it off, TSM versus GX3. Now, I think that I have actually seen only a handful of these teams play. I don't know too much of them. Do you have a matchup that you're excited to see?
Honestly, I'm super excited to see Cloud9 White versus Nothing to Lose. Cloud9 has always been on the cutting edge of a lot of these teams, being picked up, being swapped around, and competing at the highest level. So they can be completely lights out against pretty much anybody in the bracket, I have to imagine. And so going up against Nothing to Lose, another pretty solid team, that should be like, again, just super, 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 super close. That matchup is going to be so sick to watch, especially since it is a best of series for these quarterfinal matches. So you're going to get a ton of entrance, a ton of action. I'm excited for that one, and that it should be coming up later today. And I mean, the rest of this bracket is still really good, right? Like we have FTX TSM, we have GX3, which should be an interesting matchup to a degree. I'm not super knowledgeable on GX3, so we'll see how that one goes out. And then Just Breathe CLG Red. CLG Red has always been one of the best female FPS teams. So to see them now showing up here in the VCT Game Changers and making it already into the top 8, you have to expect a good showing from them.
You have to. You have to. And the folks at home watching this, that this is a double elimination bracket. So even if you lose into these matchups, you're going to be dropping into the lower bracket to go and battle for elimination, battle for as your life depends on it, into the sense. And I know, as I'm taking a look over at the Dignitas stream, so if you want to go watch the main channel, this is a co-stream, so if you want to go watch the main channel, check out twitch.tv/Dignitas or twitch.tv/RadiantGG, where you'll go and you will see the main trio of Sean Garris, DDK, and Lucy May right now talking over the pre-shows. I'm keeping that up on the side screen to see if anything is kind of happening for this, but for right now, Doctor, I mean, we are just kind of rolling with the punches,
chilling,
taking this in with everybody. So I want to hear it in chat for all these people coming in. Who do you have taking this first matchup, Shopify Rebellion or Dignitas?
Yeah, and also I do want to give a quick shout out to DDK's lighting on his camera. It is very dramatic. What with like the back key light, the tasteful shadow across his face. You love to see stuff like that, and just shouts to DDK.
When does DDK not show up? I mean, he is a marvel. But there we have the lineups actually over on the VCT matchup for Shopify Rebellion. Flowerful, IT Nothing, Panini, KP, Lori, and on Dignitas, Thea, Rain, Sholiana, Emilite, and Stephanie. So I don't know a single player from the Dignitas team, but I've seen the Dignitas team play. It was just in the background while I was kind of grinding through the battle pass at the end of the season last week. But they were looking good last week. Shopify Rebellion, as you said, a little bit of a veteran over on GL Gaming Lounges. KP FPS, gonna keep my eyes out that. A little bit of fan service for the Pit of Valor folks from back in the day. I think that Shopify Rebellion can do this. I think it's going to be a fun matchup for sure. I just can't wait to see what maps we get, because as stated before, these teams have played against each other, with Shopify Rebellion over 2-1. Now, Doctor, I never really got to talk to you yesterday about it, because we were on different casting schedules for the Pit of Valor, but Valorant 2 released the other day.
Valorant 2?
And there's a lot of patches. There's an essay of a patch, basically, that changed the whole game. How did you feel yesterday with the matchups, and even today? Is that going to shake up? I mean, this is definitely technically a different patch than Game Changers played on last week.
Yeah, so I mean, with the patch coming out, this is obviously very very lot of changes, and largely I think it's for the better. I personally am a really big fan of changing metas. Coming from League of Legends, where for over a decade now we've had patches, quite regularly and constantly changing up the game and the pace of the game and you know champions coming in and out of the meta and things like that. I think for the overall longevity of the game, it makes a lot of sense just simply because it's changing things up. It's keeping everything fresh. Like when you have a small agent pool like Valorant does, it can be kind of stale if you're playing the exact same maps with the exact same agents with the exact same weapons for 30 hours a day. And now, granted, Colin, they're coming after that Counter-Strike market, right? Which they've been playing the same game with the same maps and the same weapons for going on like 30 years now. So the different breed of players out there, but I love big patches. It completely changes the game, and for me, it really invigorates that learning, like honeymoon period that everybody is like on similar footing, right? Like the meta's not fully developed yet. We're still trying things out, experimenting, coming up with new strategies. Because you got to like relearn the new maps or the maps time and again. Because like when you have such sweeping changes like this, it can really change things up.
Really shakes everything up, and even they changed up some gun skills. I mean, when I was playing unrated yesterday, even between Pit of Valor matches, I felt that counter strafing even better than before. I mean, yeah, running guns just so prominent in Valorant. I feel like it's just trying to tailor to something different than what CS:GO it really is. But with the new patch, I feel like that I feel like that running gun isn't as scary as it was before. I mean, I was definitely utilizing counter strafing a lot more yesterday than I was way before. But to forget about what we've done, because it's not about us today, it's about VCT and why we're here. We got the maps: Haven, Breeze, and Split. And this is the first time I've seen Breeze in competitive play.
We saw it a couple weeks ago at the Pit of Valor, so it's fun. It's definitely interesting to see it so early in the day. I mean, the teams have obviously been practicing the heck out of this map, so they're very familiar with it. They know the ins and outs with it. Haven for the first map, I love to see personally. It's one of my favorite maps in the entire game, so it's going to be a great great foot to step off of to start the day. And I mean, the map pool right now, I think, is great. Like we were talking earlier, between Ascent on these two teams, between Dignitas and Shopify Rebellion, in the first time they met, it went to Dignitas's way. In the second and third time, it went Shopify's way in overtime. So if it makes it to a game 3, I would say it's literal coin toss who's going to come out ahead, because they are neck and neck, even with Shopify being like technically like a half-inch taller. It's like when you get your buddy that's like 6'1" and your buddy that's 5'9", and they both say they're 6 foot. Like, we know one of them's taller, but like we're just gonna let them have that.
Yeah, you can just kind of like split it in half. They both meet at 6 feet, right? In general, it's like the negative to the positive. You have to just like make it an equal. What is it? The law of equivalent exchange, and you give a little bit of my height to you, and I get a little bit of your shortness. It goes back and forth. But I'm even looking at Haven for that map number 1 all the way back on May 22nd. These two teams played in the Supergirl Gamer Pro Spring 2021 Week 2 qualifier, and Haven went to Dignitas 13-3.
Ooh.
They haven't played Haven against each other since. So
that's like, a bit of a smacking.
I know May 22nd was about a month ago. Like
almost
pretty
to
much
the day.
actually. Almost a month ago, definitely. So you've had a month to pick up on your strats for Haven. If you're Shopify Rebellion, now you're coming back to maybe look at a different change. Neither team has played each other on Breeze, but Split definitely going to be showing up on my radar, because they have literally gone back and forth on Split. I mean, first time they met on this map, 13-7 to Shopify. Second time they meet, 14-12 to Dignitas. So 2 different storylines going into today, really.
Yeah, and so it is still first round, right? Like, these are the first matches of the day. Whoever's warmed up and who's more prepared is really going to be able to get such an edge out of this first series, because once you get that first series under your belt, you can move on to the next one. You can start trying to prep for your opponent. If you finish early, like if you 2-0 your opponent in a fairly quick fashion, then you can sit back and watch the rest of the matches, hopefully, and get a little bit more of that knowledge. Maybe try and pre-plan for who you're gonna go, because you can do general strat planning against like who you think is gonna win, right? Like if you are say Dignitas coming out ahead here, that like your opponent is either going to be Just Breathe or CLG Red. You can do some general planning around that. Take a breather, eat some fresh fruits and veggies to keep the brain power going, keep the natural sugars flowing, and just get ready, sit back, and relax until it's time to go again. Then you lock it in, you get prepared, and you play your semifinal matchup to try and get to that upper bracket final.
Quite the journey. Quite the journey, Doctor. I'm excited to see how these teams come into it. And starting off with Haven, I know we haven't gotten into the player selects yet, or the agent selects for these two teams, but what kind of agents, with that change up, what kind of agents do you really kind of expect to see on this? Because there was a big change to some duelist ultimates. I know Phoenix was, I think is the cheapest ultimate you can have right now. So, but still players have been playing Jet. We haven't really gotten a solidified meta, but going on to Haven, this is an important start to the day for both of these teams. So what do you want to see them start off with?
So, I mean, they are playing on patch 2.11, so these changes aren't
Oh,
in
they
the
haven't put the
tournament.
changes yet.
Yeah, not for tournament play. No, we're
Oh,
still a minute behind in that regard. But I mean, we're still going to see a lot of the same agents, I think, that you were alluding to, right? Like, we're still going to be seeing a lot of Sova. I have to imagine we're going to see Jet, possibly Raze as the duelists. And then it's up to the teams what they're feeling for smokers. I mean, we've obviously been seeing a ton of Omen, just because he's so versatile, being able to use that Shrouded Step to get around the map and, use those audio cues for some fancy footwork. So that, I think, is high on the priority list. And then we've also seen Astra quite a bit as well in terms of smoker, because she's just so incredibly versatile, being able to do long smokes, quick smokes, the black hole, just to cause a lot of problems. And then obviously it's Haven, right? Like, we're gonna get Cypher players. It's just the name of the game. We can already see one being locked in here for Dignitas, so that is gonna be locked in. Dignitas were prepared. They came in and insta-locked everybody. And the Phoenix for Emilite is actually very interesting to me, because it's something I've seen lately only on Haven. I haven't seen it in many other maps personally.
the fly through of Haven. Sage locked in for Shopify, along with a Jet. Dignitas already knows what they're doing. Phoenix, Omen, Cypher, Raze, and Sova. I like the Cypher pick on a map like Haven. I really like the Cypher pick. But to kind of counter out that Cypher pick, you got Flowerful on the Killjoy. And a little bit more initiation, too. I mean, you look at KP playing this guy against Emily on the Phoenix for initiation. Really. I like the difference. I mean, these are polar opposites, really, but still have a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of both of these compositions. I know KP has been practicing this guy quite a lot. We're also going to be able to get, just some really big powerhouses just across both teams. Having both the Rays and the Phoenix gives you so much explosive agency when you're getting into these bomb sites. And especially with them having 3 options to go to, you need to be quick and decisive on your attacking side. So the defensive side, I think, for Dignitas might be a little bit rough, right? Like, they only have the Omen smokes. They have, Phoenix Rays. They're not super great defensively, I don't think. So I'm thinking that they're going to be playing more for that second half when they do swap over to the offensive side. Whereas I think, in a way, Shopify have actually kind of gone for a more defensive composition.
Well, that's really both of these teams' standards. I mean, definitely setting up for the second half. You broke it down perfectly. I mean, you do know that Shopify, they're starting on attack, so really they want to lock it down for the second half, and that's where the Sage is going to come into play. And the opposite, Dignitas, a lot more of a dynamic composition for the second half of attacking. And now we're into this the first matchup. We really get to see both of these kind of coming into it. So let's let the guns do some talking.
Yeah, I mean, we're already seeing Lori falling to a little bit of a paint can grenade there, as we do get the heal coming in from KP. Sage Wall doing a great job locking off that one side. It's going to be the A-B split, but the spike down on the B side just cancels it. Play over, round win for Dignitas. It's only a matter of time.
It's a very separated attack from Shopify Rebellion. The two last players really plateaued over to the A site. Flowerful going to be pushing out with Panini, and they're walking to a death match against Dignitas, just set up, ready for a perfect read from the defenders.
Yeah, I mean that's just so tough to see the spike fall that early on. They did a great job trying to clear it out, and they did know that somebody was there. As we could take a look at the replay, just the shock darts up and over it. That's actually what drops the spike originally, and then just the crispy one tap afterwards really does a number there onto not Han.
I don't know. Doctor, I just want to see some KP flashes to stump Dignitas right now, as Sky getting quite a change in the new patch. So we can enjoy the 3 flashes while it keeps going.
Smokes are up. We're collecting ultimate orbs. Everything pretty casual. You can see down in the bottom there, we are getting quite close to some ultimates on the defensive side here, and it's going to be so crucial to have that Hunter's Fury available, because it denies the plant. It can deny just any type of initial engagement by getting some good damage down if you have a great read, and that Bulldog is kind of scary, especially going up against just pistols.
This is tough to walk into. I mean,
Yeah.
you know that Stephanie and Emily are just set up with these Spectres for showtime, and they're going to get a full house there between the two of them. Dignitas 2 rounds. I mean, it's as expected when you win pistol round. I mean, second round is almost guaranteed.
And it makes the third round so crucial, because now that we're finally going to see Shopify Rebellion here on a rifle round, what can they actually do with it is the point. Are they going to be able to really run over Dignitas in such a fashion that they can keep a lot of these heading into the fourth round? Because if they win, even not dominantly, if they win with one surviving member, it means that their economy is still not going to be in a great spot, as we do see the recon dart going up there. Shortlina still going to get the first blood onto Lori. KP finally fragging up and is on the board. And what do they do now? Do they fall away? Do they rethink their idea?
Well, you got to think. I mean, you see Stephanie picked up the Vandal into this round. Is going to be residing on the A site. So if you go anywhere else, you don't have to deal with that one-shot potential from the Vandal of Stephanie. Especially considering KP doesn't have head armor, you're going to want to probably take the duel against Spectres elsewhere. Right now, solid read as they're just taking their time over on Shopify, trying to find some map control, maybe a pick to sway the odds in their favor.
And now they're regrouping towards Garage.
Yeah, I really
They
like
do still have a
this.
lot
It
of
does really
flashes
feel
available.
like
Both the
they got
Paranoia
very
and
much in
2
dock right
of
now.
the
It
Hawks
doesn't
are
seem
still
like there's
left
too
on the
much
side
for them to
of
gain
Shopify
information
Rebellion,
with.
so they
Maybe
can still
could be a
do
sort of
an
a
explosive
recon
push
dart
here,
that
as we
can
do
come
see
off
the
the
bird being
cooldown.
built up,
Either way,
flapped
it's
around the
pretty
corner.
hit coming
Not going to
through.
find
So
anybody. This B site's actually,
it's a very
interestingly
close
enough,
again.
empty. Super cheeky tripwire there. Does get triggered up. That recon dart just barely going to find KP. Doesn't deny the spike, though.
Not going to deny the spike, and the wall is actually blocking off the right side. You're going to be setting up for this retake. Flowerful watching Garage finds 2 in a Raiden and Thea. And now 2 players for Dignitas left to make this clutch happen into this rifle round. They did have the disadvantage in rifles. So it is Shopify looking to bounce back here. With a 4-on-2, there's only so much you can do. You really have to take these fights, and Stephanie has to frag out here. Showstopper finds another one. Nate to split the difference. But you lose out on your teammate. Timer's ticking down. Stephanie has to hop that defuse and not hand. Shopify Rebellion. They're going to shut them down, find the first round of this game.
I was real curious about using that showstopper.
And that's what you do in the third round. I mean, that wolf was so perfect there for KP, able to pull up the rifle again very quickly. Flowerful going to pick up a nice little 2K cheeky beaky like there, and Han popping out during the defuse. Pros don't fake, and sometimes you get punished for it.
First full buy round coming out of both teams.
Yeah, and as we were talking about too, Dig have managed to maintain a pretty good economy throughout this. So
Doctor, that's a big
spending everything
big step
here.
right now for Shopify Rebellion.
Vector on Stephanie.
They're going into this looking to even up the score line.
Oh, I was just gonna say they're doing
Both teams at an even playing field, as the tripwire is actually going to be brought out by the Trailblazers, so it is going to be a go-ahead to the C site for Shopify Rebellion. They should get a free plant.
Yeah, on the seaside here, again, here's that Hunter's Fury. I talked about it a little bit earlier. It's such a good tool to try and deny the plant. Even though you can tank up the first one, you still don't really want to, as we do get the double shock dart. It
Ooh.
didn't deny it? Yeah. No, it did deny the plant. They actually have to completely fall away. Panini gets 2, but the spike is still in the hands of KP.
Oh, Panini caught with the smoke in hand. Sage gone. His hand is going to be out of the mix as well. Rain with a 3K in the round. You have to be a little bit careful if you're Shopify Rebellion, because Spike is down, but the rest of Dignitas surrounding you, and they're going to get back onto the site in no time. And Sholina going to be hopping on this defuse, giving it up to Emelite, playing for that Phoenix ultimate at the end. Only 2 more ticks to get that one. And Dignitas, a big comeback after losing round number 3. You get the even rifle round between both teams, and shown a strong presence from your Sova with the Hunter's Fury and the Shock Darts to deny KP to putting down that spike for so long, and really biding time for your reinforcements to come in so that when you're going for the retake, you have the full presence against Shopify Rebellion, who are getting chipped down from the utility of that Sova.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the round spent in terms of credits here. An extra 3K being spent on Shopify Rebellion because they just have to keep rebuying. And that's even without a full loadout, right? Like, we're seeing Han here on a Sheriff with full armor, whereas a Spectre and half armor, they're on the Flowerful. Like, they overinvested so much more than their opponents, and they are still not on even footing.
Elite gonna get a lot of information from short. And hand with this Sheriff, want to see it playing a little bit safer, maybe play some cruddy angles with that one-shot presence. That the Sheriff does bring to the map, but mostly you need to stay alive so you can get that wall down and kind of split up the retake. You do see Lori on site, flash fully, is going to walk right into Stephanie, and the rest falling shortly after Panini. As quick as the round starts, left alone 1v5. As a Phantom, Paranoia, and some Shroud steps, it's time to frag out, and Sholina just absolutely run and gun into the mix. Panini not ready for the double peak. It's going to give a 4th round of Dignitas, as this is a strong start from the defenders.
I mean, this is almost expected, right? Like, last time these two teams played on this map, you pointed it out specifically, it was 13-3 Dignitas. We are well on our way to a very similar scoreline. I mean, look at that ACS, the average combat score, 404 already for Sholiana, and it is like 4 times as high as anybody on Shopify Rebellion right now, and they have to save. They're looking at a 5,000 credit round spend, and it is all in Sheriffs. A little bit of army here onto the bottom half here as we see KP, Lori, and Panini keep that up. Lori is 1 frag, or 1 point, excuse me, away from the Blade Storm, so they may play for that, but it looks like they're just going to go for a bit of a B rush.
Thea spots Lori. Not going to take any damage from those traded shots. Shopify going to enter in from that Trailblazer to get information, but Rain, I think, unchecked so far up top on the rafters. Panini finding a lot of real estate over to C. This skipped my mind. Thea trying to mix up some damage, but Panini finds Rain and through the wall. Thea as well from the back of the head. Now Flowerful a chance off-site. Gonna cut off these players rotating in. Gonna whiff the first one and second. Emily gonna take down Flowerful in the back line and bringing it back to a 1-player deficit for the retake.
Did a little bit of damage over to Emily, but as we do see Sholiana picking up another frag here onto Lori, tries to go for a bit of a recon play, but they're getting peaked. Huge flash coming through from KP, but they can't follow it up quick enough as Emily takes out Panini. It's down to a 2v2. Can they get into position to deny this defuse? They're just sticking it. It's done. It's gone. The frag! The clutch! Wait, did it defuse? It was defused. Dignitas won the round.
Stephanie's staking that and tried to get there in time. And honestly, I like the way that Dignitas played that. I mean, you lose Rain and Thea outside from defender connector, and Panini wasn't even able to recover those rifles because you had a strong presence onto B for the defenders. They were able to rotate as fast as possible to deny recovering those rifles that were dropped from the Omen. And in turn, yeah, I mean, Shopify rallying, you get the spike down, but that's about it. They're just sitting ducks, waiting for the retake and the rifles to overtake the attackers in their post-plant positions. So you're looking into this round, Stephanie, Showstopper, and look at Shopify Rebellion. They have 4 ultimates behind them. I would like to see them invest something into this round.
Yeah, huge dink here on Sheliana. Does open up a big window for the Rebellioners. They do have to get around this tripwire, which has been causing them a bit of, headache. It is at that angle, so they're on the, easy side to break it, but Flowerful, the good frag onto Stephanie, is gonna again open up a bit of the map that is over on the A long site, so they may just rotate full send.
And KP invests the jellyfish as well. So when you're thinking about that, they get the information that there's so many players over at C, so A site is where they're gonna want it. Alarm bot, interconnector, and the wall as well opened up from Emily there in time. And Spike gets planted all the way underneath Heaven. They're gonna invest a lockdown too. They're putting everything into this. KP's watching the flank. Thea cut off, trying to be the nuisance in the backline. And the rest of them going to have to pull on in through a connector. The player gets detained. KP might be able to stump this one from behind. Rain's going to check it, but KP winning out on that duel. Amelie detained as ever. Not able to get that rifle up. And Sholina, who's already tagged up on 23, not going to take any damage from KP, looking to escape with this rifle.
Yeah, KP, with the 2 free kills there, only had 4 bullets left in the mag, so not a lot to do into Sholiana's just face that, had to get a reload almost instantly, so would have had to hit that first shot. And all right, that's another round on the board here for Shopify Rebellion. Let's see this replay. This is KP, again, just free kill onto Thea. Does get the nice rotation in, slowed up. The smoke's pretty clean. And I'm surprised they actually got detained. That was Emily there who, had their gun removed. And it's interesting because that was there for a while.
So we see a difference in the Cypher setups.
Shopify, they found the second round. That's something else because this is a team that doesn't really have an attacking comp. So looking to find as many rounds as they can over Dignitas because the second round, the second half of this is going to be very deciding between these two teams because I think they're both set up for the second half, really. First half is just kind of getting what you can get.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a map that, we've seen, offensive teams really run away with it if they're able to like get the economy rolling and, be able to steamroll their opponent quite nicely, then they just kind of run away with it. But we're seeing Dignitas on the defensive side just being so quicker to the punch, so much more aggressive in terms of, getting the frag that, Shopify Rebellion haven't really had the chance to build up an economy. There have been really interesting rounds from them where they've looked pretty good. Not necessarily one, obviously, but like they've looked good. In this round, they have rifles, they have Blade Storm, they're going for it.
I like this. KP's going to drop the bomb at B, and the rest of Shopify Rebellion are going to make sure that they clear out a connector. But look at the mix of Hunter's Fury damage. Emily going to follow up onto KP. Thea striking from heaven, able to take down Panini. You do get the res, but here comes the rest of Dignitas to take them out. The stopper is going to take down two as the rest of Shopify Rebellion are going to drop. Dignitas finds their 6 and a big retake from them. I have to say they're playing that so well when you're really watching the setup of this team. Panini using that Omen teleport into A long gets the information that nobody's there. So what do? They take their players off of B, they rotate them to the C side to get as much aggressive positioning as they can, some map control over onto the C half, and once they deny Garage and C long, they know that the only place that Shopify Rebellion can be is the B site. So they give up the B site, They set up for the retake. Thea, fully knowing that the rotation can come through from A connector, realizes that they need to take their sights from heaven to watch that cross. Finds a kill. You get back into it. Stephanie, 2 kills on that showstopper. And Dignitas just reading Shopify Rebellion like a book right now. And first blood as well into the next round. Emily keeping the front foot forward.
Yeah, I mean, that double kill showstopper was so picture perfect. We had the replay there show it once again, and just they were so funneled in, and they were just nowhere near the spike, right? Like they got the spike down and tried to, you know, pick off the players on the A rotation, but they just fell one after another, overcommitted, and got blown up for it. So let's see if they can get something done. They do still have rifles. As the Trailblazer goes in, I believe it did connect. Huge paint can trying to deny the default plant spot. Camera gonna potentially deny the other default plant spot, but
Ooh.
1 for 1.
Thea almost finding Panini there. Not gonna happen. Shopify lose 2. Nonetheless, you get the wall up, but it is already cut off. Stephanie ready for the drop. Even with Emily on that flash, you get the swing from the rest of Shopify, and they're gonna fall into the player advantage that was waiting for them on Dignitas. Stephanie gets back into the site for the defuse. That's 7 rounds now for Dignitas. As things are starting to get out of hand in this first half. You're really banking on that second half if you're Shopify Rebellion. As honestly, I'm feeling like they're just not getting there in time. I mean, they have a team that can set up for host plants, but they're just not getting into the right positions when that spike goes down.
Yeah, I mean, that round, you know, in particular, they had some really great opportunities to really just lay into Dignitas. You know, obviously, we saw the drop down from the Sage wall that just got obliterated by Stephanie there, and then even the double peak right afterwards, they were just so ready for it. The Dignitas were lightning quick to get shots on target, really just blew up the plan. And at that point, what are you supposed to do? You're just getting beat on the gunfights time and time again. And here we see again KP just lit up by Sholiana.
That is creating problems here. Only 3 left now for Shopify Rebellion. There's a lot of time, but
I mean, Shopify still a chance to maybe end the half 7-5. They just need to win the rest of the rounds that are here. Thea watches the cross through garage. Lori right into that site for sightlines. Flowerful gets a trade for Shopify Rebellion, but last one alive and through the wall. Sholina ends it before it starts. 8 rounds now, that's 4 in a row for Dignitas, if I'm not mistaken. And look at this. I mean, Lori on this jet 0 and 10. If you're looking at the comparison between Emily and Stephanie, is that Lori is struggling here on this duelist role. As maybe it's just not ready for the attacks. They just seem like they're not kind of in it with the plans that they're starting off with. Really, it seems like, and then Lori's getting caught in a half of an idea.
Yeah, I mean, look at their buy right now. I do believe we're in a tactical pause, but I mean, look at the buy, right? Even if nothing changes, there just seems to be that exact disconnect that you're talking about. You can see that overall, there's 8,000 credits being spent this round currently for Shopify Rebellion, and when you go down player by player, you get 14, 0, 14, and then 4,000 credits onto Lori for just a full buy that nobody else can follow up.
for a signature ability, it was a very cheap cost for them to have that presence on the map that felt like they
I just need Shopify Rebellion to I wouldn't say slow it down, just to talk about what they're doing a little bit more, Doctor, because I don't seem to be on the same page in a lot of these attacks.
And I think that's what the pause was there for, because you can see right away there's some changes in their loadout. It's still an 8,000 credit round spend, it looks like, but it's a very different overall expenditure because they're all on the same page this time. They don't commit to the full buy. They're literally at a half buy, half armor on most of the players with a sheriff, and just what they can do with those. They're trying to hit that tripwire, but it's just higher than where they were aiming there. They do break it eventually, though, with the tailwind, and they should be able to get a spike down quite easily here.
And here comes Dig once again.
Spike goes down. 5 on 4 for the retake as Emily finds the opening. And Stephanie closing it off from above. Satchel charge onto the platform. Finds a hand as well. recovers that nade, and Thea peeking through garage does get picked up by Flowerful after the alarm bot spots him out, but you see Stephanie getting that nade right at the feet of Flowerful, able to finish her off and hop that defuse right away for a 9-2 scoreline. Last round of the half now, is this is Shopify Rebellion's last chance to show what they can do on this attack and really pull one back, get some momentum going into the second half. As I'm not counting them out just yet for Haven because their composition is built around defense. And one good round right now could switch their mentality, switch their momentum, so that when they swap to that defensive side, they're feeling a little bit more confident.
I mean, it has to start next round, right? Like this half
Yeah.
is just over. Obviously, you don't want to go down double digits in the first half, but if that's how it goes, unfortunately at this point that's how it's gone. You've had 11 rounds before now to change that outcome. This time they have full rifles, they have a lockdown, and the jellyfish to the seekers to make something competitive here. So they should be able to do something as the Pathfinder does trade with the owl drone. So now they know where Sholiana is, but like heading into the pistol round, that's the one you really have to win. It sets you up good economically. You can win the second round and keep building on that. Hopefully win the bonus. And all of a sudden you're within 4 or 5 rounds between Dignitas, and so you can then take that momentum even further. But right now this is a struggle bus of a half, and they do get first blood. What can they do with it?
Well, Thea, left alone on an island here, is going to get Panini through the wall. Hunter's Fury as well from Sholina. We've seen how much damage she can do on the C site. Now, Han shuts down Thea, sets up Lori in the default spot in the back line, hunting for that resurrection. KP going to be brought back onto this battlefield. Spike goes down. This is the best chance we've seen on attack so far for Shopify Rebellion to take one off of Dignitas. It's exactly what we needed to see in this. Lori swings wide from that corner. Sholina gonna hunt them down and take it now. 2v3 lockdown invested from these attackers to keep out these defenders from retaking the site. And they're gonna have to wait for the whole 4 seconds to finish. And that's just going to cut down the amount of time that they have for the defuse. So now they have to take these gunfights against these players while getting onto that defuse. And they have no smokes to block it off. They're going to invest Amelite's wall from that Phoenix. And they still can't get onto it because the nanoswarms. The Hand's going to trade one out. Sholina going to hop on, but Flowerful puts away this last round in the half for Shopify Rebellion to take 3 before moving into the defensive side.
You love to see it because, like I said, you don't want to go down double digits in the first half. That's just that's mentally breaking at that point. So they do finally secure their third round of the half. 3-9, not great. Definitely respectable if they can bring it back here in the second half. Now that they are looking to be on the more preferred side. It's just that, like, can they win the pistol, right? Like, so much hinges on this one particular round. As we're just seeing a highlight reel of the plays from the first half. This pistol, it has to go to Shopify Rebellion if they want any chance. If they lose this pistol, they basically go down 11-3 and have to fight for map life for the entirety of it.
Stephanie gets through the wall, nade onto site. Teammates are going to have a little bit of trouble getting in as Emily backing up this duelist. They make it over the slow orb and getting the spike down immediately. Lori tagged up incredibly low. Thea watching the cross. Flowerful out of it. Panini for the trade now. Even 4-on-4. His hand gets into the mix to make it 3 for Dignitas. But even still, spike down. Time against Shopify Rebellion for this retake. Lori still on 3 health. Right on the opposite side of Rain. Rain finds it through the smoke. Emily for the second one. 2 go back in favor of Shopify Rebellion. Now you're looking at Raid. Last one on your screen. Headshot on the Panini. Can you finish off this kill? Getting swung from the Sage, and they're back onto it. Do they have time for the defuse?
Plenty of time as they do secure a 4th round. 4-9 now is the score. They're going to be able to buy up next round. They're going to be able to pull it hopefully back within 4 rounds. This is the only way they get back into this is by winning that pistol. If they can secure this next round without losing too many people as well, keep that economy high, keep those credits in the roof, they are going to be in pretty decent shape. You can see here that the round Timeline, not amazing, but at least the team itself is trying to pull it back here. They're doing what they can.
What the? Oh my goodness, Dig is just trying to put him out.
I love this. Just make it as hard
And
as
Hand this time gonna be putting the Sage Wolf through Garage to deny
confidence just immediately. I love this.
an extra route
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen this.
for Dignitas. Laurie Marshall
on these maps
into the
before.
second round of the half.
Vector has
Headhunting on Jet.
down, and it's such a toss-up.
Trailblazers are going to get so much information. You get the TP on the site. Plant going down from Rain. Can KP spot this one out and shut it down? Spike goes down, but still going to maybe find the kill through the smoke. KP with the swap from front to back. I was going to hop on it, but they know exactly where that plant's going to come through. Shock Dart drops Hand down to half. Thea going to finish off that diffuser. And Shopify Rebellion in a tough position as Stephanie finds their way in the back with this Spectre. KP and Flowerful gonna trade out onto 2, but still have to hop onto this defuse. Panini, the last one alive for Shopify, has to take these gunfights. Emily down to half, and Panini on 39. Emily peeks on out. As the Omen is not gonna find it. Emily is able to heal up to 100 and take down Panini. And right after finding that first round, Dignitas take their 10th.
And what a crazy ego chow there with the paranoia. I mean, Emily's just shredding everybody. Headshot, headshot, headshot. Then you see here Panini. That was actually just after the paranoia they sent out. They went for the defuse and then were like, oh, that paranoia doesn't probably last that long. We're gonna try and repeat this. But the nasty headache coming in from Emily, it's too much to deal with. Especially with a Spectre. If you have an operator, maybe like a Phantom something there with a little bit more recoil control / just tighter bullet spray, maybe that's challengeable, but with a Spectre at that range, no shot.
Judge on KP as well. So a lot of firepower here to be used.
For First Blood, KP does have
early on
Jellyfish.
in terms of Shopify Rebellion.
It's the only ultimate on the board for either team, although you look, Emily is 1 kill away from that run it back. 1 point away from the run it back.
Yeah, and Rain's gonna paranoia through the right
They
side.
are going to get it too. Off the Altorb. Instant long. Emily is going to prop it out. Finds Panini. So not even going to have to worry about if they lost their ultimate here. Is going for a little bit extra. Not going to find any damage, or a little bit of damage on Lori, but still the run it back has done its duty. They get the spike down at C.
Yeah, the run it back, even picking up a single frag is a lot of times so incredibly worth it already. As we do see Thea trying to get aggressive on the flank here, does get KP quite low. They know where you are, but do they actually get anything done? 10 shots left, not able to secure the frag onto KP just yet, but right now, you're just playing spoiler. You're keeping the attention away from where the spike is. Emma Lead's going to get a frag before KP shotguns him into oblivion. What? Are you kidding me?
KP scratching her head right now. Has the judge, but at a distance when Thea peeks on back from the realm of the B site. Just has the range advantage there, and what a shock there from Sholina. Probably would, who I could highlight as the MVP right now of Dignitas on Haven, as this Sova has stumped Shopify Rebellion again and again.
I mean, the combat score alone just kind of speaks for itself, right? Like so far ahead of everybody else on the server in terms of fragging ability. It's done so much work. You've denied plants. You've just murked everybody, you know, trying to do anything against your team. And Dig are definitely coming out here with a chip on their shoulder, looking to put a statement out here on map number 1.
When we were looking and highlighting the history of these teams on Haven, this is not the most surprising outcome between the two. I think what I'm really kind of keeping my eyes out for is going to be Breeze on that second map, and Panini, who gets the first shots on the range, loses the gunfight on the retail. It's a big opening, but KP can shut this down from behind. It is going to be cut off by Stephanie, who is ready for that flank. And the delayed push onto the A site, doing wonders for Dignitas at the moment, and even drawing all 3 of the last remaining players for Shopify back to this A site to make sure they can't get control of it. Flowerful blocked off by that Cyber Cage, and Sholina is going to be opening up the C side with the Recon Dart. This is going to be a free plant and a lot of time before Shopify Rebellion are going to be able to get back onto it.
Yeah, and even with these rotations, you can see Thea hopping out the window right now. Han's trying to find out where anybody is, but what is that jump from Lori? Just absolutely obliterated trying to jump through the window. Han is going to pick up the kill to Thea, but is it too little? Is it too late? Han doesn't think so as they pick up a second one here. Gonna go for more as they trade up for the Vandal, but it's a 3-on-2 situation. Still very in favor of Dignitas. Showstopper is hunting direct impact onto Flowerful.
Dignitas on 12. Dignitas booming on Haven right now. These girls are on fire.
Oh, good.
Everything is coming up Dig. I mean, the rotations from that map were so sick. I mean, I pointed out Thea hanging around that mid area, hopping out the window. Even though they did fall to Han, she was so quick to the trigger earlier than that. And, Han did their best to try and, recover the round in such an awkward situation, even going so as far as to resurrect Lori, who was the closest available target. And then they both just got like simultaneously shot up because they're gunning. Like, they are so ready to take this to a map number 2. And you can see here with the economy of Shopify Rebellion, it's not amazing.
Not really what you want to have here when you're facing the end of Haven, but a big paranoia from Panini lines up too. Rain and Emily off the map. Hunter's Fury in retaliation to thrash out onto Shopify Rebellion, but still the repeat from Panini. Sholina takes 2 to the grave, evens us back up, showing what this Silva has to offer. But take a look, Flowerful seeps their way into mid window, but it's all Sholina right now. It's only been Sholina all game long, and I mean, definitely not taking away from the other players of Dignitas, but Sholina is just MVP Haven right now.
So fast.
With that bird, you do know that somebody is hiding somewhere on the site because you get the sound key for the successful flash. Spikes down. And now, what do they do for the retake situation? You can see here, Shopify Rebellion in a nice little split, 1 up high, 1 down low. But the 2 members of Dignitas are going for a bit of a long rotation here. Sholiana going for that shock dart. Does go a bit wide. Oh, but the peek in from Thea is insane. The quick little double transfer. And that is 13-4 Dignitas over Shopify.
We saw quite the series from these 2 teams in that first map, but Haven, it was expected. To go Dignitas's way. When you look at the history of the 2 of them, I mean, you can bring back Spike.gg. You can look at it once more between these 2 teams, and yeah, Haven has been known to be the better in favor of Dignitas. That was a good pick for Dignitas in map 1, and I think Breeze is going to be questionable for them going into the second map. I'm curious to see what they can do because I don't really know what these teams are running on Breeze. I don't know what any team's running on Breeze.
Yeah, I think taking Haven map 1A is so crazy that it actually got through the ban pool, considering like what's available when you think you have Bind, you have Ascent, you have Icebox, like other top tier maps that maybe haven't been as dominant here for Dignitas, but they still managed to get that number 1 map pick right out the gate and really run away with it. So man, Breeze should be something else. I'm just so concerned for the mental stack of Shopify Rebellion.
I mean, there's a reason why we're here in Game Changers. I don't think mentality is going to really be brought low on Shopify. They've been through the ringer again and again. When you have the resume that you do with these players, that it's expected that you're just going to bounce back into these maps. There's a reason why you do the veto systems. There's a reason why a team gets to pick their better map, ban out the maps that they don't like to, and I feel like they were fully ready for both of these for the outcome of Haven. They didn't seem too prepared against Dignitas. I mean, Dignitas looked like they had an idea on Haven and they stuck with that idea. They didn't really have to derail and kind of go into a different direction for Haven against Shopify. It was really just a clear-cut outcome for them. They had the plan, they stuck with it, and it was successful. Now Shopify Rebellion, on the other hand, they didn't look as practiced on this map. And when you're really looking at the history of these 2 teams, like I keep referring to, it's just not their map. Haven's not a Shopify map.
Yep. So we're gonna have to wait and see how Breeze goes because we're gonna take a short break. Colin, let the viewers know that they can grab a break, Kit Kat bars, maybe some water, and we'll be seeing you guys in just a couple minutes.
You don't know what I'm gonna do. You don't know what is next. And I'm loving the fact, truly it's making me blessed. Cause I work on my team, no snakes in the grass. And we have a trust in the wind because of the work that we did in the past. Because of the work that we did in the past. When we went to hours, we barely got rest. So I get the realm and we didn't finesse. So I got the feelings that we might be next. Cause when we go in, we win in the match. When we go in, we win in the match. So that's how we do, cause we be the best. We be the best, best. Yeah, we be the best. Whoa. Yeah, we be the best, best. We be the best. Hey, yeah, we be the best, best. Hey, we be the best. Yo, you wanna come and test? Whoa, you want to see we the best? Hey, you don't see that we're the best kid, so I suggest you never really come and test it. But otherwise, I will smack your face like Michael Jordan does with a ball in the basket. Oh damn kid, but you didn't expect it. You never really thought that this could just happen, but now really come on and we pull out with the action. Just people the feed, those they don't get it like. Here we go.
invincible.
Welcome back, everybody. I don't actually know if Colin's at his chair. Oh, I see him. Hi, Colin.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey everyone, welcome back to VCT. We're here. We're ready for some more Valorant. Not the best start. Not the best start for Shopify Rebellion on Haven, but looking to bounce back on Breeze now. Look at this wonderful desk. Everybody bringing everything here for some game changers. And Haven, yes, going the way.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, it's their map pick. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just crazy that they were even allowed. I still find that so mind-blowing that they were allowed to pick that map. And so now we're going to the only Shopify selection of Breeze. Like, this map has to be just absurd for Shopify Rebellion, because if they win here, right, which like you would kind of hope they do considering it's their map point, you're still going to a Dignitas preferred map for the final just to close out the day. So that is rough. That is a tough hill to climb.
So you're gonna have to like maybe sage wall something and ignore that, and then pick up something else for a little bit, and then rotate around.
I just want to see
It's
something
such a
crazy on Breeze.
communication-heavy
Really.
map, and I think because of the
Yeah, I wanna
fact
see
that
something
Shopify
crazy,
Rebellion
Doctor.
picked this, I heavily favor them, even though they're
Yeah,
not
right.
on
Like
a-
if
on
we
that
get
first
like
map.
some sort of crazy pick, like yeah, it's double elim, so you're gonna be able to get a chance to like bring it back potentially. Like, because we
yeah, this is
you know,
a great
we
place
in the
to
fighting
bring yourself
community,
back
we
in the
do double
series
elim
and
brackets
you
all
love
the time.
composition,
So like
so
it's
I'ma let you
super insane when
nerd
you
out
see
on this
somebody
thing,
like
so let's
go
go.
down in the first round, just smash through everybody and coming
I
back into the
love
grand finals and get
the Sky
that
pick.
you know
I'm
rerun,
not
that
sure
rematch,
if
and
I agree
it's
with the
so
Silver
hype and
pick
it's
on
so
this
fun to
map.
watch.
I just
You don't want to do
think
that though.
that's
Like
the
that is not how you want to start your
Viper
day
is
with
a
an L,
must.
because
I-
it becomes so
I
much
don't know
harder
if I
to like
the
get
Omen
it back
over there
up
on Dig. They would have
at
to
that
pair
point,
it up
and
with
so
Asher. Yeah, they have to run this.
it'll be
Asher
really
with Omen,
interesting to
otherwise
see
it's not
how
possible.
this goes. I do love these
I have to
agent
heavily,
selections though. We got the
heavily
Astra
favor
that we've
Shopify
already
Rebellion
talked
on this map,
about,
given
the
their
Viper, which we actually haven't talked about
Sky,
today,
Viper,
surprisingly
Sage
enough.
are pretty much S tier on this map in my eyes, and having the trio on that squad, I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about these comps, Stan? Like, I have to heavily favor them.
I mean, you know, we kind of
And Sean Gears agrees, so we're chilling.
one thing about
Chill.
playing
I
into
mean, he's
meta
the S tier.
understanding, you know where that is, but the other thing is the
Yeah, I
execution.
mean Sean's
So,
great.
I mean,
He's been
everything looks
around
good on
forever.
paper,
He's been,
and,
you know,
but at the
IGL.
same
He's
time, I think
been,
does have
you know,
that
very
fragging
competent in
capacity,
terms
and
of running a
as you mentioned
team.
already,
Like
synergy is
it's been
required.
so much fun watching him
It
and
was a
both
rough start for
DDK
Shopify
transition into the
Rebellion.
Valorant
This is a good
scene
place
and
to
just
come
be
back, but they do
just be
also have
popping off.
to you know show to us that they're able to kind of hit their
I
stride. and play
actually
their
think
game.
that DDK
I
might be
feel
one of my
like if
favorite casters.
Dig are hitting as hard as they were, and if they just find a couple.
And you know
things
what?
that work,
We
it doesn't
got
have to be that they have
one of
an
my
expansive
favorite
game
casters
plan.
paired up with
You know, even
some of
if
my
they're
favorite
not as
observers.
well-versed
Shout out
on this
Yeti,
map or the
Prezi.
meta on this map, it really is
I
just enough to
actually,
win the right rounds
some of my
and to have
favorite
enough confidence behind your
casts
shots
were the
to
old
make things very difficult. So
Face It,
I'm still
DDK,
this, I mean, I
Bardoff
don't know if I know what I'm
commentator
talking about here, Sean.
duos.
I'm kind of
They were just they were
leaning
so
towards
funny.
Dig here, even though on paper
They would
this
just
doesn't
say the
look great for
dumbest
them,
stuff,
especially
and I
given
would
the
be
fact
like
that
cackling
on paper as
at
well,
work
you know,
because it would
Shopify
just be
Rebellion has
ridiculous.
been looking to play this match as much this map as much as possible.
Look at this aggression.
Oh,
Lori already bouncing back. I like this. I like this.
Straight out.
Yeah, I mean after the map one, like your mental is so boom in a lot of
See what else?
situations.
Wait, that's Trailblazer kill?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's different. But no, I like that Lori's actually like not afraid to be
I just saw
aggressive.
Trailblazer
Like they got
crack.
absolutely cyberbullied in map number one, and like they weren't afraid to do it again.
I didn't know you could drop a gun and open up
the
the vent there with a gun.
It's
In
clever.
a really good spot
You
here. I
can
mean,
use
love
that
be
to
the
like
attackers
give
in this
your
position,
op
right?
to like your teammate or
yeah,
something.
absolutely. I mean, and look how big the map is.
It's
right?
like delivery.
The rotate coming into B. Think about all
Do
of the
you
things that Shopify
play a
has
lot
done
of
to figure
Valorant,
out
Doctor? I
on
know
the
you
rotate.
cast quite a bit. Do
And
you
Taken
play a lot of
is
Valorant?
Grouping with Flowerful for the heal. He wants to go, or she wants to go on
No,
the flank all by
not
herself.
particularly.
So here's the regroup.
I'm
No.
not very
They need
good
this
at it.
regroup,
Is
they
the
need a good
thing
heal
because
from
it's
you.
like
Yeah.
And
I only play
Now
games
we
I'm
have
good
a
at,
2-on-2
which means I just don't play
one
video
flash
games.
on Jason. That's what we
I
need to look
spent
out
too
for.
much time talking about them realistically.
through
But no,
elbow
I mean, like,
making their
Valorant's
way
fun. Like, I
forward, seeing
love the
what they can
tactical
find. So tough to
FPS,
clear.
you know,
Almost
genre.
is 50-50
I
position,
just,
but isolating Thea
I'm
now
not
puts a lot
good.
of pressure there. Emily
I'm
now
just
hits him.
so bad because I get so
Stunning shots, there's
frustrated,
one,
like,
down to 27,
watching a corner,
KP
watching
in
a
great
corner,
position to finish it
and
off.
then I
That's
get
exactly
either
what
jiggle
happens.
peeked into oblivion or I
And
look
there we
away
go.
and get shot in the
Shopify
back.
Rebellion
I think
pick
I
up
get that that's like the way the game's played, but I also don't have a 5-stack. I think for early Valorant, like the first 6 months or so, you basically needed a 5-stack to avoid like some of the more toxic scenarios, and I
said that
just
bird was
didn't have it.
important. It gave the info that Thea was in
Shopify
that area,
wins
right?
round one,
Because
man.
the Sky Flashes let you know when
KP
they
goes
blind
big in
people.
the
So
1v1.
that was
Look at
Pistols
that.
OP.
such a vital piece
Pistols
of utility in
going
that retake.
Burt.
We do see the rebuy. We see
I
it.
think Lori's gonna have a
How
better
on
game here,
earth are they gonna
and
hit us up
really,
right now in Breeze with these Spectres?
I don't want to
Lori
talk too much over
has
DDK
been
and Sean,
teeing
but
off.
like
Look at
I think that
this
Lori's gonna feel a lot more comfortable because I feel like Shopify Rebellion have an actual plan on Breeze where they didn't have a plan for Haven.
And the trade comes through, just like trying to fight over this A control here is
More shock dart kills. So
gonna be a
insane.
tough one, but it looks like Grain's gonna be able to gain some ground here by the appearance, able to get that plant down as well. 3 versus 3 post
Oh,
plant.
hey, you can see
Taking
us.
a pretty good
Just
position.
realized that
Although
we're in
this
the
is
bottom.
contested, they are able to fall
That's
back.
not
Very
on.
Hey,
That's
guys.
not on stream.
able
They
to fall
stream
back.
can't see us.
Oh,
Show there,
okay.
and Stephanie, both of which were fantastic on Haven. Oh, the drone comes through to follow up with the flash as well. It's looking great here. Powerful finishing off Stephanie just down to show the honor, and that seems pedestrian for Flowerful as well.
Look at that.
Keep you
Shopify
coming through, and
2 in a
it's
row.
a start from Shopify Rebellion now. 2-0 to kick things
Good
off.
start.
Yeah, but I am worried Lori is not finding the early success that I think she needed to have her confidence. I mean, she's 2-2 right now, but these agents are feeling a little
2
bit
and 2 is
overwhelming
better
watching
than
from her
she
point of
started
view.
last game,
So
Sean. Let's
Yeah.
small
this is a big
steps.
round in my
Kinda,
opinion.
we're taking the little
I want my
victories
duels to be
here.
Very confident. I want them to taking duels, and that's why I really liked seeing about the pistol round. Is they tried to get her active, they tried to get her pushing that A short position, and again, she's gonna be playing aggro in mid. I like how Shopify is switching things up right now. Ooh, the cheeky one
Also,
way.
shout out to the merch I'm wearing today, the Rafa merch. Reppin'
Well and truly
King
under control
Raph
right now for
from
Shopify
the
Rebellion.
league scene.
And Diggs,
The Canadian scene.
it'll be interesting
You guys
to
are
see
all
what
one
they're
big.
able to do here.
He's
Some-
American.
Some
do
pressure
you mean?
towards
Oh, that's right.
that
Rafa's
side.
American. I'm
So
thinking of
that
thinking of
said,
Ravishing.
forward push from
Sorry.
Lori. Oh, beautiful. That's what we want to see from Lori.
That's-
Speaking of confidence,
Gets
Right?
a
Just
third
a
out of that.
big
That is a good
3K
result.
there.
Sheriff's
They might
already
still
some
lose the
damage
round,
here, so it's
which
not
is
just yet.
obviously a
Stephanie
problem,
and
but
Juliana
it's
again
not a round you
lost
can pin
to
on Lori
Stanley.
anymore.
Here for Dig, looking to make this as painful as possible.
I wish I had a fraction
But Rebellion, gotta be
of the skill
careful
that
here.
these players had.
Does look like it's under control. Just show Liana left now with that.
Now,
Sheriff.
I've actually recently been becoming a Sage main,
Liana was coming up huge on Haven.
because Sage is the best duelist in the game.
Oh, this is
Battles,
Get one
battle
more.
medic.
Oh, there we go. Show Liana. That's just gross.
Oh, that is a huge round from Lori. I said she needed the confidence, and yeah, she came up in spades right there. That was very well played by her, and now she gets the
I
blade
did
storm
notice the
coming into this
audio
first
delay
go round.
Ryan a little bit, but I just assumed
This
it was
is
like
a
stream
massive
lag,
round.
so I just
I'm
like
Yeah,
curious to see if
leaving it be.
Shopify Rebellion keeps this aggression.
Man, that was a
going on.
sick
Again,
transfer.
pushing
That was so
into
nice.
8 shots like that is
That's what you need to
wild.
see.
You know, this is
for the
definitely
next,
an
like,
impressive
10
setup. I can see
rounds.
Viper lining
Somebody
up
in the
the retake
Valorant
wall.
chat just said, female
Said
tens
it
pog.
in the early analyst area, but I don't know how you take the A site without Viper as your controller. You have to drop a lot of utility.
Oh wait, are they gonna get caught by the jellyfish? Okay, oh, that was a big bounce back from Day. I thought those jellyfish had them.
It's looking like a rough one, at least the start here.
That's so
a
tragic.
fantastic amount of value
You're
coming
like, oh, I'm
through.
gonna ult. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh, I
Stage
got
wall.
shut down.
Ults
Sad.
effectively not really getting much value. So despite Shopify Rebellion being down a player,
But
they're in
Han?
good oh, they're in good stead here. Han with this.
I love stuff like this. You know, I love when this thing's as connoisseur of the COD scene. COD timing
is
is
situation.
something I see all the time, and that right
Needs
there,
this
that is
round,
just
Dan, wasting 3
timing
ults like this,
factor.
and look at this.
That's so unfortunate.
Oh, what a find by Rain.
Panini?
Panini straight back in there though as well. The
I
flick
love
is good.
Paninis.
Shopify Rebellion really connecting these headshots right now, but it's Panini against Elite. Elite with full HP at the moment and shields, looking to find that next engagement, playing the pillar.
Big Panini fan,
And it's
both the
all
food
a
and
game
the
of
player.
timing and angles, and it's Elite to win that game this time around. Dig
You like
said it was a must-need round, and
like
they're
the
gonna
big
find it.
fancy paninis that have like a ton of
Yeah,
things
but
on
would
it,
you look
or do you
at this?
prefer like a
Look
nice,
at what
simple and
Shopify
clean like
Rebellion
ham
is
and cheese
working with on
panini?
this round.
I
They're
like
gonna force up into this round.
simple
They have
things.
so
I
many ults.
I
mean,
like
they have a
simple
Viper
things.
ult, a
Like,
Would you
and
say you're a
so-
simple
Lori has
man?
the Blade Storm. And this is going to be
Yeah, I'd say
incredibly
same a
difficult
simple man
round
with a simple
to do.
plan.
Their economy is in
Great
tatters.
band.
They barely won that round.
Great
They were
song.
1-1. And you can see the tack timeouts coming
Simple
in.
man.
This is such an important round to
I was
see
thinking
how
simple
this
plan.
map plays out.
Well-
It is an attack-sided map. It's so spread out.
Well, Simple Man is a
and there's
song,
so
and Simple
many
Plan's a
options for
band.
the
You know.
attackers.
Yeah, exactly.
This
So I was
is
thinking
a
about
must-stay
both of them are
attackers.
great,
I know
though.
This is the first match I've seen played on it, but
I'm genuinely
Just
surprised
based on
we don't
how
have like
it's
a
spaced
main
out
skin
and the
line
seesawing between the sides,
devoted
and
to
bleeding
scuttle
people out
crabs.
waiting for the
I think they're
utility.
adorable.
I
I think if Shopify
love
Rebellion
Yeti,
wins
man.
this round, the game will
That's
be
the first thing I saw. As soon as Yeti just panned across the shuttle crabs,
Yeah,
I'm
it
just
feels
like,
a map where mid
man, he really does it all.
Is definitely
Big Yeti fan.
really
Big
interesting
big fan
dynamic.
of
I mean, we already have
esports.
seen it
Everybody
used by
rocks.
Shopify Rebellion. It's finding
Everybody?
good timing with that control to get a flank that just blows up the round.
Most people.
it's
Kinda
just-
wild we're
it's-
getting a
you're
pause
spread
so
out
early
between A halls,
in the
mid door,
game.
the
We
A
didn't. We waited
entrance, so
till
it's 3 entrances
round.
to A, and then you have to deal
What was
with
it? Round
the elbow,
13?
main, and
Last
the
game
nest in
before
mid.
we went to a
So
pause.
There's a lot of things to cover if you're on defense.
I think that Breeze is just different though,
Glory
because
coming
I feel like
alive.
Breeze
And
can
that's
get out of
the jet
hand a
stuff you
lot
wanna
faster
see.
than Haven can.
Premium Jets business. So you're 4v5, Sean.
It's
right at the
interesting.
beginning of the
You know,
attack,
Stephanie
you've
was
got
playing
some
on Raze
control.
last game.
Mhm.
Playing on
I was just
Sky
about to ask you what they should do
hasn't
next. It
looked
looks
as
like they're
good
showing us here.
or as
Yeah,
comfortable
like I said,
as the
map
Raze.
is so big. There's so many entrances, and you can see Thea's taking advantage.
It's not
of that.
terrible. It's
She's
just this
in the
isn't a
nest.
Raised map, so I don't
One of
blame
the
them for
6
going
places
away
here.
from that
You see
character.
everyone right now on Shopify
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think this is a great raise map. Like, yeah, the paint cans would be kind of cool, but like, there's so little usage for the Boomba, realistically. Like, because it's either way mad open,
Oh,
like the
KP.
B side here.
I
mean, KP just gets completely run over.
KP
so
was
does
taking
Thea,
the
though.
whole arsenal of Stephanie's utility.
That said, Spike is planted.
Damn, I
Big
might
has
actually order a
set
ham
the
and cheese
clock
panini.
on Shopify Rebellion as they start to try to find that retake.
Speaking of ordering, I just got a weird
find a way to
text
get this
telling me
strike
that,
defused, and Laurie's taking up those
my
angles.
order for an
Stephanie finds a
iPad
great timing.
Pro
The shot
will be
dart
out
comes
today.
through to punish
Since
that
you're
position.
talking about ordering food,
Now we've got Panini
the worst thing happened today. Okay, so
Viper as well.
I got my second dose of
Pretty damn good,
vaccine
but
yesterday.
there's a flank on a
Congrats.
flank, surely,
And
there
when
it
I
goes.
woke up
Jody
today,
Allen
I
takes
felt
the trade.
horrible. I
And
just,
they
I
come
didn't
to
want to
Wales.
move.
He's
I
just
didn't
coming
want to
through.
get
They
up.
would
I
have
was just
plenty
like,
of time to
The
dodge
second
that
day
one.
is
It's gonna
worse.
come down to the shots.
I was
It's so
I was
close
feeling
in
it,
position.
and
it's causing problems. There's that
so
silver
I
neutral.
got.
Just,
I don't live with my
every
family
single
either.
thing
Like
you
my,
told
like
me.
I
He's
live
perfectly
far
there
away
by
from like my
Jody Allen
parents,
to close
and I
it
texted,
around.
I called my mom. I'm like,
What a
mom,
goal.
like I can't
What a
move.
clutch
I
from Jody
can't
Allen.
move.
Having
Can you order me a
incredible
BTS
value
meal?
on this map so far.
Yeah, Sean.
About
So
2
you
hours.
had the energy. You had the energy to call your mom, but not to open. Oh wait, no, you don't have delivery apps, right? Oh no, it's bank transfer apps. Never mind. You couldn't open Grubhub.
Just the
You had to
nerve
call
clamps
your
and
mom to open Grubhub for you.
Just
Yeah,
fitted to death.
I did, and so 2 hours later, I call my mom. I'm like, are they still delivering it? She's like, no, they delivered. So I will myself to get out of bed finally, and I go to check outside because I haven't heard a knock yet.
Good start though.
No McDonald's anywhere. No McDonald's. I think I got scammed out of my delivery this morning. And
Told you,
speak-
BTS meals in big demand.
Yeah.
Clearing the back strike.
My skip the dishes driver
The Silva
stole my
mid,
BTS meal this
he's
morning.
ready to ult this spike plant.
But you got one
maybe
eventually,
giving
right?
them a 5-on-3.
Yeah, I had to physically leave, which I really didn't want to do.
For the post plant.
Rough. Yeah, the second day
use
for
it
the
on this
vaccine,
round.
for those of you who don't have
There's
it,
a lot on Shirley
much
Armour here
rougher
with this
than day
crossfire
one.
setup,
Much
and
much
there's the
rougher.
flank coming through to
And
deal with Shirley
I don't think it
Armour.
really
So
matters
now
which
they're able
one
to
you
that
get.
battle as well,
Obviously, the
and it's
Johnson
starting
and
to look
Johnson one's
very
just a one and
dangerous
done.
indeed here
But
for Dig holding
oh,
onto
that
things. Can
peak.
Rain make the
Rain's
difference with the
insane!
Spectre? Able to get two. Out comes the pistol. The jump's not good, but KP certainly is. And it's Dig
Tragedy.
all day in this round now as KP is trying to find her way to these fights. But I don't think Emily and Thea are going to get
I don't know.
anything here. The dark cover goes down.
I don't know why
and
Dignitas makes me
that's
think of this,
gonna be
but like,
that. Dig pick up the round. They tied up 3-3.
do you remember Diggy Hole?
Very
Was
well
it
played
Diggy
by
Hole?
Dig right there. You can see Thea takes
What?
the opportunity to
Was
push
it not? Was it
deep
just a
into
Canadian
spawn
thing?
because of the
I
fact
even
that
if it was a
Rain
Canadian
is
thing, it's
following
like
how
it's like
aggressive this
some.
flank is. Surely
It was this
Amazon
like old
You
like
said
ahead.
Diggy Hole?
yeah, something like
I
that.
think
Was
that
it like a
such
game where you
hit
dug
It was like a
holes?
song.
idea to
It's like
push
a
into spawn
a
and take that
song.
ground. Otherwise, this retake
It's
was
like dig
definitely
the
happening.
hole, diggy hole. Or something. I don't know. I can't remember how the fuck it went.
No,
is
I
relaxing,
can't
I
say
gotta
that I'm
say.
familiar.
Yeah, wait till we get the music. Ooh,
Was
that's a
Krabby the Crab.
Ah,
Krabby the Crab
Krabby the
makes an
Crab.
appearance.
Krabby the crab?
Well, back into the action after that moments
I think this is
relaxation
actually
in the spa.
pretty big danger
Maybe with
getting
the
away
pressure here
from
again,
Shopify.
liking so far what Shopify Rebellion's offering up here in this mid pressure, but we get the Cosmic Divide going just for a straight push into that B side, using the run it back to just safely clear all of those positions very quickly to allow an effective post plant here for Dig. Setting up the Astra util as well. This
feel like
is-
Cosmic
this is
Divide
gonna
should
a
be
good
like-
look post plant for Dig. They've got every setup they
I don't
want.
know. I feel like it should block all projectiles except
Oh, are
for
they gonna be aware
Breach
that KP's
Flash.
in already?
You
Like, I
think
feel
that they like? You think that it should be able to like just like
Stephanie's gonna go down. Laurie's now causing a distraction.
it should be a wall.
Now the
like
question is,
you
are
have
the
like
big
the
players
sky
gonna find
flash and like you
Hunters
just it just bounces off that
coming
wall.
through. Hunter's Fury now
Well,
put
not like
out
bounce, but like
post plant to
stop,
get
like
them
just
off
like when you
that
shoot it like a
spike
regular
defuse.
wall. I
Big
think
delaying. They are losing players.
it probably
Laurie will go
sounds
down
OP,
to the knee.
and I'm
He's
just
good on the
being
trees
like
right now.
pedantic.
That would be
Fantastic,
so
but time is
overpowered.
of the essence,
Yeah,
and
but
that
I'm like
spike is
watching
getting
like
closer
recon darts and
closer to
flashes go
detonation. There's
through
just
it,
no
and I'm
time
like,
now.
from a
Emily able to
gameplay
take down
standpoint, I
Panini.
understand it.
She tried
I'm
to
just
escape,
like,
but to no avail. And Dig
it
picked
should
up
block
another
everything.
round. So pretty
This is a lot
back and forth
closer of a
game,
game.
this one. You
I like
open
that,
things up,
but
looking
from what
real
you're
good for Shopify
saying,
Rebellion, but it is looking like Dig are finding
I
their comfort
don't know
now.
because you wouldn't have any
Yeah, the
initiation. Like if
Astra
you
ult
didn't have a
on this
breach on the map, you would have
looked
no initiation
very,
through a
very
Cosmic Divide. That would be
The
so
way that
overpowered from an
Dig is
Astra.
using the Astra ult to pair with
Yeah, but it would
Emily's
completely
one-hit back to
change
clear
the
out
way
this
it's
B-side while
used.
two
Thinking
people
back,
stay
because like
back,
I'm
guard
like
the
on the Pit
flank.
of Valors, we
It
would
seems
see so many
really
ascent
strong.
matches
I
with
would say
Astra.
That's how they're
And the walls
capable
would
of
just
winning
be like
these
so
these very
haphazard,
impactful
and
rounds.
like they would just be like
But on the
playing
other side,
specifically to
we
like
haven't
what
seen Panini use
plant
her
spot
ult
they were
yet,
trying to do,
that Viper's Pit,
versus
which
like trying to like
used
deny
on these
vision.
retakes.
And
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
think
like,
Flowerful hasn't had any
I wish
opportunities
I
to
think I
res
would
because
play the
the
wall
frags are so deep in the B side
as like
that
a
there's
wall,
not really any
right? Because like it
opportunities.
blocks bullets,
So
but
the
like
difference in ults between the teams
you can just like
is in my
body
eyes
slam through it
was
with your
changing.
knife and get a
And
kill
once
potentially.
Dig got those ults, the rounds really started to snowball in their favor.
Well, you wouldn't be completely without initiation, Colin. You could do like breach ultimate.
So we'll have
That would
to
work.
see if this
They
tactical
have a little tea
timeout can
party in
yield
here?
any benefit here for Shopify
Man,
Rebellion.
that giant worm's creepy.
As they will be in a position
It's
here
like
where they need
Alice
to
in
maybe find
Wonderland
something
kinda
a little bit
creepy.
different to spice things up.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you like to see out of Shopify Rebellion that is some kind of a
They
mix-up,
just they
some
have a
kind of an
chicken
adjustment
leg.
from-
What is that?
I think maybe moving
Just one
either the Viper
chicken
or the
thigh?
Sage to the
think it had
side
hooves.
Drumstick?
just to lock it down, right? Just leave a smoke and
It
then
either had
double volley
hooves
if
or
you
it
feel
had,
the hit
like,
coming.
a
If Sage
paw.
is there,
So it might have been
wall
a
it and
wolf
then double
leg.
slow it.
We'll do this lineup.
Basically just
Where's
lock
this
down
landing?
the
We're
side
gonna
because
follow it.
I don't
Shout outs to
think they can
Yeti,
prove it, they can
secondary
take A yet.
observer.
And until they
Oh,
What is
prove
that?
this
Look
A
at
side, I think
that.
you lock down B
That's
with
so
these
far.
utility players.
We'll have to see
Laurie's
if your
already
prophecy comes to fruition. But for now, at least, Laurie's in a
Laurie
good
died
position
before the
there.
dart even landed.
I mean, we've all been on
Look
the
at
receiving end
him.
of that. It's not nice. But
Oh,
Hana
Rain's
will find
watching
a
it.
Push here.
no.
But Rain looking for it. So Dig pretty cognizant of all the possible
Oh.
pitfalls and having good responses to them. No timing there for KP as well, and it's just a straight clear up or clean up, I should say, at this point. And looks
You
like
guys
we're
have
about to go
staples
to
in the
a
States, right?
5-3 scoreline. Floutful
Like the things
gonna get
used
away
to
with a
hold
Spectre
diapers
Huh?
together.
No, like the store.
Be nice to find an upgrade.
Yeah, we have Staples.
will be denied ultimately by Thea. So
Do you remember the easy
5-3
button?
scoreline.
Yeah, I had one.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the early game.
We got one for
I think
Christmas one year. It's like a
Shopify's
stocking stuffer.
comp right now is
I was like-
going to net them quite.
I
a
don't
few
know. I
attack
just saw that
rounds.
timing
The one
that
thing that scares me though is
Thea
they
got there
might
onto
have some
KP,
crazy
and I was
plans with
like,
these
in my head, I
flashes,
don't know why I
but
just
the
thought
Phoenix
about the
Flash
easy
and
button.
the
Like,
Sky
oh,
Flash are very strong.
Because it was
easy.
just
moving through a
that
Viper
easy.
wall. And we could see a scenario where that could come into fruition later on in this game. For now, you can see the Viper has moved over to B. She's lining up the one-way right now on this rock. This is an A hit right off the bat.
And that wall
Love the
has
has
change
been
of
causing
pace here.
so many
Trying to
issues.
throw a wrench
I feel like it hasn't caused enough
works
issues, to
here.
be fair.
play against the
Like,
expectation.
I
of the
think
defenders in Shopify Rebellion.
they're
But
just
great
kind of
delay
barreling
with the
through
ice
it.
Here is actually buying a lot of time for the rotation for a good defense, but just now it's up to
Oh,
hitting the
you
shots.
ate that
Straight in the
Trailblazer if
face
you're
with the
Flowerful.
Trailblazer, and now it's going to be rather difficult to hold
It's
on
such
to
a good
anything.
thing Sage got nerfed again.
It seems like there's nothing.
been
to
seeing
the-
her way
the
too
hands
often.
to hold on to anything here. It's just
I think-
cleanly left.
Get the Sage out of my
And
face.
that
I'm
was
sick
a
of her.
really good push.
I'm
Given the fact
so
that they got
impressed
slowed
with
down
Dignitas.
so much by the defender util as well.
They just look so
Yeah,
mechanically practiced
That was
in general, and
brutal.
they like the
Viper moves
trust
off
behind
of
their
A
team.
and
Like you
right
saw that in,
away
like Stephanie off
gets an
that
A hit.
Trailblazer
And the Sage
immediately
did
is
everything she could to
swinging
deny it. I thought once
Sholiana
Stephanie
and
threw out the last
Emily
flash,
into that
the last
fight
bird,
was
I
just
like,
perfect.
oh, man,
Like the
this could be
whole
a
the
really rough
fundamental
situation for Dick. They've wasted
of
almost all their
Dignitas right
utility.
now
But then
just
the
looks like it's
Trailblazer comes in
overshadowing everything that
and hits
Shopify Rebellion are
Flowerful, and
bringing.
once that happened, it opened up everything.
That was something that I
It
felt was
opened up
missing
Thea's
in map number
lurk
1. They just
through
weren't
A halls and
on the same
able to find
page.
two in the middle of the hit.
Like,
Like that. The
it
round was
just
immediately
wasn't.
over when she found
And
two.
so now that, you know, they're having a little bit more
Wow,
cohesion
they've proven they can
and
hit the
acting like a
site.
team,
I'm,
like,
This is
yeah, they're
proof.
down again,
Tangible
right? Like,
evidence.
it's 6-3.
I'm nervous now.
But-
this half is
At least it got
turned
3
so
before, you know, the final round of the half.
Yeah, it already has. Like it's kind of crazy. It felt like, you know, one of the things we wanted to see as well, you know, just seeing Jet get activated, you know, seeing Laurie, you know, hitting a stride was something that we wanted to see, and we got that like immediately in the first 3 rounds. It's looking so good, but that mid aggression that was so successful for Shopify Rebellion has kind of eased off quite massively.
Did you
against-
know?
Socials for
That's
GLG
Taylor's
are
night.
outing my
Oh.
BTS
What the Lord?
ceiling.
Interesting.
what's going on here?
Question mark? Question mark.
I'm too dumb to figure this out.
That's,
Someone's
that's
answering. Tell me
something.
what's
Someone
going
will
on.
make a YouTube video. It's fine.
Did you
I'm starting a rebellion.
Picking up the
Did you know
knives
that you
here, able to pick up a
could
frag with that too.
middle mouse click
Bad result,
pages
dashing
in
out
Steam
of
and have it
harm's
open up in
way,
a different
but into
tab?
a flash. Yep,
Yeah,
careful,
you
not
do that
safe,
with,
Laurie.
Twitter
Great
too, on
pursuit
tweets.
there
Oh.
from Emily,
Yeah, but I'm
just
talking
so
about, like,
ready
the
for
Steam
it.
store, like, in the
Fantastic
Steam app.
work, and just
I think
like
you do
that,
with most
3
things.
players left against
I,
4.
I just assumed that
just
since
2.
Steam was an app, it didn't do it. I knew about it with like links and stuff, but
And
it was a new one for me.
because
Hmm.
see KP there.
KP was trying to line up for that one shot
Taylor's
headshot.
running for the
but-
moment. Sometimes I feel like this is an episode of Sesame Street. I gotta say, Sean, when I'm just like, there's just 2 and now there's 1. It's just like I'm just counting numbers at
The
this
count.
point. I feel like I don't feel very good at my job when I'm doing that, but you know, it's gotta be done.
Shout outs to the Steam
I do it
sale.
so you don't have
Master
to.
Chief Collection, only $20.
I like it when you do it. It sounds better with an accent. So.
DDK is turning into the count.
Or do I have the accent?
I mean,
Who
that
has the accent?
I don't
Dignitas is
know, man.
just
I
counting
was-
rounds
I'm
at
in
this
London
point. Like, there
again
is
right now, and it's like-
nothing in
I
their
was
way.
talking to the Londoner. He's like, yeah, it sounds like your accent sounds.
Who do you think the
American." And I was
best
like, "What?
Valorant casters are right
How is
now?
that
One
possible?
of us.
It's a loaded
Is
question.
it true?
That's a loaded
Yes,
question, Colin,
one
and
of us
I'm
lives in
not
California,
contractually obligated to
Oh,
answer.
no. Oh no.
Eh,
Oof, I don't know. This is a identity crisis for
I
me.
see.
But you know, going
Trying to
back
cause
into the match,
problems,
it's-
trying to cause
it's-
drama.
This is looking rather difficult.
The
for
problem
Shopify
is there's
Rebellion.
so
You want to
many
see them eke
great
out in another couple
Valorant
rounds. We're going into
casters. I
Byron,
mean,
Laurie's picked up
You
that
can look
operator
at the tier 1 scene where you have, you know,
and
obviously
is holding down the
DDK
B side
and Sean
on
Gears.
Lonesome.
You can look
We have
at,
the
you know,
Astral
tier
and the
2
Run It
where
Back.
you have
We've
you
seen
and
this be hit
me.
before.
You can look at
Is it gonna
tier
be
Are we
the same
tier
as
2?
one? I believe it's going to be.
I love this. Laurie in a great spot there.
I don't know how to answer that
Real whip
question.
against the run it back.
I don't
but
know
so
either.
much distance
'Cause I guess it
between
depends on,
Laurie
like,
and the,
where you
oncoming
define your
attackers here.
tiers,
They're
right?
gonna
And
get
I
some
think that's
resets
something
on
that a
that
lot of
engagement,
esports
but
are kind
still not
of
finding the frags. Out comes
running
Cloudburst,
into,
out comes
right?
a
Like we're
dash.
mostly
Get out of
Riot
harm's way,
esports, I
and
guess,
then he frags
where it's
it,
like,
but
what do you
KP
define?
Oh!
that's
That was sick.
really
KP
good work there.
finally popping
Shopify
off.
Rebellion in a really good
Like, where do
position
you
here now.
like draw the lines
Created
for
a spot where
tiers,
there's no
right?
post-bomb
Because like
positioning.
Like
They're
people
just
feel like
stuck
in
on the
Counter-Strike
site,
it's pretty
backs
easy because
against
you
the
have
wall
like
against
obviously
5
like
players now. This is looking
you know
increasingly
major winning teams
worse
and
and
major level
worse
teams,
for
and then you
Rain
have
and
like
Elite. They've got to try to
your
fight
Flashpoint
now.
level
That's all they can
teams
do,
or like
and
your
it's not going
ESEA
face it level
teams.
Dig
yeah
will get
ESEA
taken
teams
out
and
here.
stuff like, and then
Great
even
retake
within
comes through.
ESEA you have like
Same
more
set piece
tiers,
does
so it's
not
like
work
super
again
easy
on
there.
that
But when it
B
comes to
side.
like Valorant games, like
Guys,
you don't
was
have
a
that same
necessity.
level
Winning
of
that round,
freedom.
I think stopping the bleeding.
So like I
That's
think the
7
tiers
straight, I
become a
think,
lot
right? They were up
blurred
3-0,
because like
and they found
take
themselves
League of
down
Legends
7-3.
specifically for an
So
example,
going
because it's
into
like
the half with
I had somebody ask me the other
any
day
kind
like
of success like
what
that,
would be your
and
tier
in
1
my eyes,
level
if
in
they
League of
win this
Legends? And I was
last
like, well,
round, they're
LCS
still
obviously.
heavily favored.
It's like the literal
Or
highest level
it's
of like
anyone's game at
commentary
that
you
point.
can do.
So this is
And
a
they were like, oh,
huge
okay.
round right here for
And I'm
Shopify
like,
Rebellion.
what do you mean? Like
They put Viper back at
like-
A, and it looks like Dig is going to go into an A.
free him?
here.
Who are we
Let's see
freeing?
if they have that same success on A Halsler.
No, heck that penguin.
Ooh,
Can't say that.
sexy little arrow.
Can't say what penguin.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, there is a res.
What did that
Dan.
penguin ever do to
You can see
you?
the Sage is running there.
You know, Lori,
Very
who
timely
started
work
off very
indeed, and there's
confident
a
on
lot of
Breeze,
pressure
is slowed
burning all
down
this
in the
defending
gist form.
util. There's no flank through mid. It's
But
kinda
big
reminds me
from
of
hand.
Icebox A
Something
attacks at the
that's
moment.
different on Breeze compared to the last map
With
is
that said, we are
Sholiana.
getting the switch up
on
coming through. If we are
Sova.
able to defend in the holes there just
I
for
feel
the
like it
moment.
hasn't had
Really trying to find space onto the
as
site. I love
strong a
the cheekiness of
presence
just
on this
trying to
initiator
catch
role.
that rotation. But it's a 2 versus 4.
Which is
I mean,
keeping
they're
sh-
still crazy, right? Like they're still middle of the
Yeah.
pack right now.
But
It's
maybe
just
leading
they're
into the
not just
puncher.
like
We've got KP holding the angle,
they're not
looking
dominating
to
the
try to
server
slow
the
this
same
one
way
Like
they
they
were.
were on,
There comes that
on
blinding
Haven.
light.
Yeah.
Haven, Sholiana was
Laurie
dominating the
also
server
working
on
angles
that
here,
Sova.
in onto this,
Whoa, what
isolating
a
these
peek
duels.
from
wins that battle, but
Stephanie.
with that, the Seekers come
And
out,
sends out the
and now
jellyfish
all of a
immediately.
sudden,
They're
you
really trying
actually
for this
might like
2v3.
Big's chances. Sholiana.
Sholiana, though,
Oh,
speaking
no, the knife
of the
comes
devil,
out, and
just gonna get
Panini is
bopped
more
by
than ready for
Panini.
it. But still a chance here from Stephanie.
Stephanie's been that
Isolates
player,
another
though.
Frag, finds
Almost
okay,
finds
starting to
the
get
ace.
really
Wow.
interesting
Okay.
here. The KP shuts it down, and that's going to be a wrap. And this is what we needed to see. Shopify, they pick up
that's
the 5th
BM.
round at the end of the first
That's
half.
BM.
Oh, KP goes over. Sky diff. Sky diff. Sprays the wall.
White, yeah.
Sky
Okay.
diff.
Dabbing
So, Sean,
Dan.
like, you said
Toxic.
earlier, they are set up with their compass spatula to have a pretty big attacking half. They got 5 rounders. I feel like that's enough.
I think so as well.
Yeah,
but
the
there's a
start that
lot
I
of
was seeing
cool
from
things
Lori,
to do
though,
with Astra on defense
was
that I've
not
yet to
the
see
same
in
as
my
the end
rankings,
for that
right?
first
You
half
can
from that jet.
control that A shop
And I
area
think
with the
Lori
gravity
is a
well
big
at the
key
very
right now
start
to
of the round on
Shopify
patch.
unlocking their
with
full
the
potential in
Phoenix,
Game
I
Changers.
think they
Because when
could
Lori
farm
was
that
popping
orb.
off, like for example in that
Now,
replay right there,
it's not
Shopify
common that you
Rebellion
see
were
that
in it to
orb,
win
you
it.
know, taken by the
And then when
defenders.
Lori was starting to
But
slow
with
down,
this
you could see that
combo of
Shopify
agents
were
on this
struggling
patch,
to get things
I think
going.
it's possible. I think they might go for it some rounds, but you can see instead they opt for the
It
gravity.
just goes to
well
show like how
outside of
critical
A
having
main.
like a strong duelist on your
How
squad is.
on earth?
Because they just
I'm
bring
gonna stop
so
this AI.
much to the table in terms of like map
We shall
availability,
have to let the
frag
action
like
give us the answers.
it's
that
tough
we
to like
seek.
talk about it because like frags
like
are
pressure.
frags.
It's like
Loving the
pressure.
mid-aggression. I always
Yeah,
think it's
because
so
like if
awesome
your
from the
duelist
defenders.
is like
Gives
just
you
the
fast
first one
rotations,
dead
you get
every
to take the
round,
initiative, you
like
can play retake with
you
it.
gotta think about the abilities that you
And there's so many
lose. Like
entrances as well
you know,
to try to
obviously
set up a
Jets are
retake
very
from mid.
selfish for the most
Weird.
part. You know, Cloudburst being the most team friendly, but like say it's a Raze or a Phoenix and they're the first one dead every single
good
time. You
positioning
feel like
post-spawn here,
you're
coming
losing
through from
flashes,
Shopify
you're
Rebellion.
losing possible
it's very
resurrections
tight,
or explosions with the Boomba and the
Okay.
showstopper, the
Khan,
paint can,
wins
like
it with
all of
4
those are so
HP as
crucial in their
well.
own
And
different
there's another
way.
fight to be had.
Like
The
with
trade comes
like
through
Lori
finally.
being the first one dead a lot of the time, it's
And
just
dropping
an
down now.
agent,
There's
right?
the
Like
right
it's not
clicks,
you're not really
betrayed by
losing
the right
abilities
clicks,
in that
but
sense.
Shopify Rebellion looks really good for it regardless, and that is the key pistol collective. So that's both pistols on Breeze now taken by Shopify Rebellion.
That's a
Oh man,
big
and
stat.
You don't really want to force
both
buy
both
on
pistols
that
to
defender side.
Shopify.
It's
I mean,
not the
and
same.
yeah,
Not the same. You
Dignitas
don't
is
get
still in
that
the lead.
Spike additional money bonus.
Yeah, I mean
You
they
can see they're gonna
won
opt to save
one
here.
of the pistols on Haven.
That's gonna it. We're potentially looking at an
They won the
even
second one,
scoreline
the more important one.
Yeah, so
on
so
an
far
attack-heavy
Shopify
map.
Rebellion are 3-1 in pistol rounds against
So things are
Dignitas,
kind of
and
shifting back now. To
they're
Shopify
still
Rebellion's
losing.
Favor.
You know what? They're only down 1 round. They should be
Going
able to
for
tie
that
it up now
play
here as well.
towards the
So
A
I
side
mean,
very quickly indeed. I
like,
like
yeah,
it. Just keep it
it's
simple.
unfortunate, but they should
Don't leave
be.
too much to chance
think
against
they're still in a
the
good
Pistols, take the
spot.
fights together, get the spike planted. With that said, an opening kill off of the frenzy might make things a little interesting here, but Han is holding down that cave position, so still lots of space to work with for Shopify Rebellion. Some good damage coming through here, though, as this.
Look how actually
attack onto the
dangerous these
site is
pistols are.
actually gaining
That's such
some
a
ground
sick
at this
heady
point here,
too.
collecting
That's
the
tough.
Spectre.
Wait, what are you supposed to
Some
do
time
there?
to
Like
work
with
the drone goes
the
out, I think it's
piping?
Althea, that might give a
Like
nice
you
advantage
you
to
literally
Flowerful.
couldn't see the person shooting you.
Wow, the
Flowerful
patience on
buying his
Flowerful.
time. Pressure comes through. Flowerful, you talked about the patience.
That's,
Didn't go for the easy frag.
The
It was
sage
on
diff
the
right
plate,
there.
but
Sage
Flowerful.
No, you're not ready for the sage to play that close.
Tricked.
That's discipline because I
mean,
think Rain would have probably.
Thea,
She definitely
right
would've
idea putting the
traded
smoke down,
frag
but because the
if
smoke was down, you
Flowerful
can't
swung
see
for the backside player.
Flowerful there.
So the round would have, at worst.
I
been
know
a
we're
1-1
talking
mistake, so the fact
down
that she
on
played it
Lori quite a
patient,
bit,
like,
but she still has
that's a
12
little
kills in this
smart.
game.
I don't know if I
Night
have
and
that
day
kind of
from
patience in
Haven,
me,
so
Dan.
like,
Yeah, same.
like yes,
I
we bring
mean,
it back to this point on the duelist,
you
and that,
don't-
like,
yeah,
I
what
think that
chance
Lori is a
now
big
do I
key
have?
to the team, mostly because when you have that
love
duelist
Silver
on
Linings.
board,
Oh my
it's
God,
going
I feel like
to
I see a new
make
Silver
you
Linings
question
every
in your
single round.
mind,
Yeah.
can
yeah.
I actually push
mean,
this lane?
It's
Can
that's
I
one of the
can I
exciting
go
things
here?
about
Can I go there?
It's
Because
so
the
very, like,
duelist
one
can
of the, like,
shut
in
you
terms of lineups,
down
you can-
from
they are
pulling
so
off
fun with the
those
bounces and
aggressive
everything, so it's fun to see what
playstyles.
people come up with. But with that said, we are getting a push coming in from
Oh, look at Thea here.
down the hole, looking to catch a timing perhaps. With the Phantom in hand, this could be devastating there.
Oh, they actually got the
Misses
tailwind out of
opportunity.
Lori. That's pretty
That's okay, though,
significant,
and that
realistically. I
paranoia
mean,
is only gonna make
Lori
I mean,
now
I
just
think
kind of
the
has to
Sound Kings are
hold
absolutely
whatever
there here right
angle
now.
she
It's a
takes. She
huge
can't
switch up, very
try and
fast
one and
pace
done it.
into this B side. They're sprinting for it, and we get the Cosmic Divide put down as well. So we saw this from Dig, but what can Dig do to retake it? Or so Viper will even.
That's
Yeah,
Rain's
these-
Cosmic
that's what I mean,
Divide.
These Viper walls and the slow red on their side.
No, it's not
really
Rain's
makes you
Cosmic Divide.
debate
That's just the
fast
Viper wall on the
retake.
minimap.
It's not gonna happen. This is gonna be a 5-on-5 retake.
Did the Cosmic Divide get used?
From a
No,
weaponry
it's 2
perspective,
points.
it's not looking too bad on these longer ranges here from Dig, but
Two
they have to
pieces
find the
of pie.
positions to work with, and they're having to gain ground. Stephanie
Stephanie
trying to
just
create
walks
that
in here.
ground here. Rain will be open up for a frag, but after all is said and done, these trades, we get back to a 2v2. Thea looking for a timing, knows someone is nearby, but again, it all comes down to
Oh.
timing, and this time it is with hand.
The good old.
And that
Are
is-
they to the right or to the
And
left?
Going to Shopify Rebellion, actually taking the lead here after being behind for some time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the tell was on speeding up the B-hit. Maybe it was the drone pushing through up top halls. But once the paranoia comes through, you can account for 2 players in those A halls. And like I said, 6 entrances. And if you can account for 2 players in one of them, you should roll immediately.
think that
to the other
Yet-
side of the
like,
map. And that's
I talk to
exactly
Yeti
what
quite
the
often.
Shopify
I
guy
actually
did.
think that he
So
spends
you can
more
see the
time
difficulties in playing the defensive
finding
side just
those
from watching
bears.
that round alone.
than he does actually playing Valorant.
Get the,
Oh, he'll even
place
admit
on
it. Like
pop
he
tier coming through
tweets
very
about it all the time.
fast through
How
these
like
choke
he
points
doesn't
into
actually
this
play the
A-side
game. He just
attack.
spends it flying around in
Liking
the
it
Let's go,
going
Lori.
Through Lori, taking no prisoners with those knives. Will actually run out, and the trade comes through. But is what's more important is how much space was gained for the team by that opening push there from Lori. And
But
it's
chat,
looking pretty good.
come on.
Kenny as well. Great vantage point.
How are you feeling about Shopify
And
Rebellion right now?
The
Come
remainder
on.
of Dig is looking kind of.
Tell me a
locked
little
out
bit
at this point.
of your
Indoors.
2 cents on Shopify. I don't think Shopify's horrible. I mean, they're in the lead right now.
Very low.
Yeah.
I think that they
That's the
can
res,
send
but
us
I
to a
think
map
she would wanna
3.
Save that for a future.
But I think
round.
there's very niche things that they need to
It
show.
would be a great win
to
if
do
they
that.
kind of made the argument for that res to be burned, but it doesn't look
Even
like that's
then,
going
like
to be the
I
case
said
here.
earlier, it's not exactly like
Platform playing
a
it
safe
disciplined as we're
position
used
for
to
them
seeing,
because
and
we're still going to a
there's the conversion. Shopify
Dignitas
Rebellion pick it up
selected
as
map,
expected
right? Like
for
this
the 9-7.
is crazy.
Ooh, Dig finds himself in a really, really hard spot right now. Like I said, I don't know how you spread out across the map with this composition on Breeze. We saw they
And I
had
think
a
the thing about
very
it in
unique
Breeze
attack
too
path,
is like
and they definitely were able to be successful.
Breeze.
If they
I
went
would like
pistol in that
Haven
map, they
has generally
blown
more
out
sites to
Shopify
control.
Rebellion.
Well, it does. It has 3 sites to
but
control.
they didn't. And now
But
they
even
find themselves
still,
in
I feel like
must-win territory. on
There's
the
a
defensive
lot
side of Breeze.
less
And I don't know what they're gonna
of
do
a
to
defensive
kinda
advantage.
push
Like
through.
you have less of
Silva
a
has
setup
an
on a map
Odin.
like Breeze than you do on a
I
map
have
like Haven,
seen
just because how big and how
recently
wide Breeze
someone
is.
just
It's
unload
crazy.
the Odin through that A shop area. It is the most
It
annoying
just
thing
feels
ever.
so much
I can't
bigger
wait to see if
than
that's how the
every
Odin's
other
used.
map in the game, right?
I'm hoping it is.
This could be an
I
MMO
need
map.
to know the counter, Dan.
RPG.
It's just so
It's just a dungeon where you run around
when
fighting scuttle crabs.
Ace over buys an Odin, and especially when a map is like still pretty new. I mean, who knows what kind of tech we're about to see. Shodiana pulling it out, of course, and it's actually a somewhat slow
man, the
start.
first
You know who I
Odin
think would be good
of
on
the
this map?
day.
In terms of
I
the
think
ground
KO
game,
would
it's
be good on this map.
actually-
It's happening,
Oh,
Dan. He's gonna do
Probably.
the spam. Oh,
Oh,
my
no.
God! Is
Spam
Lori
Marino.
just gonna get owned? Oh, please!
Oh, yeah, you can. If for everybody that doesn't know, you can spam through that wall with the Odin.
Sean, you're a monster.
Come back!
It
You just
didn't
want people to
happen.
suffer as you've suffered. Not gonna happen. Not this time, at least. And the rumbling in the distance of the Odin was heard as well.
Have you been on the receiving
Not
end
to
of
buy
a
a belly
spam
and
through the
like-
wall in Valorant yet?
Always.
We're off to B then.
It's brutal.
I
But
love the
I say it all the
bassy
time
rumble in
though.
the
These
distance.
walls are made out of
he's
soggy
gonna get there.
paper
Knife,
mache.
Knife. Oh,
And the fake is obvious
Sorry.
now.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point though, they are
We
gonna
don't do
use
that here, Colin.
gas. They're going to get in with those seekers as well. Laurie just
My bad.
wrapping around the back of Rain, so it might not matter that it was so telegraphed after that engagement earlier, as we get good positioning in the
Oh,
post
that
plant.
spray
here
was
for
like almost dead on.
Shopify
Oh,
Rebellion.
Panini! They looked
Instead, they
away!
win that battle and fight.
Oh,
That's a
they
big
had
win
the
to
angle
get.
and they
That puts a
gave
lot of
up on
pressure
it
this
too
post-plant setup
early.
here on the side for Shopify
Pain.
Rebellion. They're going to have to just win these fights, and these peaks are going to have to be aggressive, and I love it. Laurie's just going for it, gaining so much credit. It doesn't matter. KP at distance with the Vandal finding two quick and clean headshots. And there's the fake TP. But there's just so much here to be done by Thea. So many angles to check, and it's just not going to work out. Laurie is going to take it down. Great round from Laurie.
Yeah, without a doubt, Laurie has been a difference maker in this.
I think
map.
this is such a
18,
manipulative
14, top
map
of the
on
scoreboard.
attack.
Coming back from that.
Because you really
brutal
can
first
draw
map.
the defense
I don't
thin.
even know if she ended the
on
first
each
map with a
side.
frag.
It's
Here you can
really
see she
easy to
hasn't lost
draw
any
out
rounds
the
of
defensive
confidence.
team on a map
She
like
is
Breeze
opening up
because
the
of how
rounds,
big it is.
dashing into the side.
And Shopify
She's
Rebellion are really doing a
decisive
good
about
job at
every
splitting
peak she makes right now.
Dignitas.
And that is such a difference maker.
I mean,
If
think
the
about like
Jet
the actual
shells up
defensive
and doesn't do
options
those
that go along
things,
with a lot of teams
it's
too,
so
right?
easy to just
Like if
fall
you
to
compare it
pieces
to
in
like
this game.
say
So
Counter Strike, where you
back.
know every member of the
Yeah,
squad
definitely,
can
I
have a
just love the
smoke and two
focus.
flashbangs and a Molotov and
The
you know
mental
be able
game
to
is a
deny
real thing.
any type of entrances. Oh, that's a
And
huge flash.
We
They're
get a
only-
quick
oh, they
push on this A side
man.
once again. Ooh,
Emily
good
does
defense
get
coming
two,
through from
which is
Dig. They're
nice.
doing
They do
some
fall,
damage, some
but
serious
Isn't that
damage
thrifty?
here.
That's
And
huge.
Panini's just forced to burn
yeah.
the Viper's
I missed
pit.
the economy at the
Secure this
beginning of the
spike
round, so I
line,
don't
try to
know
make sure
where
this doesn't
Shopify
go the wrong way
is,
here, 'cause
but
there's three players that
could be a bit of a
actually gonna
problem.
see the Seekers coming through. That could be a great punish here, coming straight.
but yeah,
for
I
the
mean when you're on the
Viper
defensive
in the
side,
Viper's pit.
right,
That's
Colin?
good
Like you
info
only
there.
have like
Coming
potentially
through for
like
Dig. Stephanie able to
3
take down
smokes
Han.
total,
And there goes
like 5 if you have
that flash
Brimstone
again to get an
and
extra bit of information.
you know
The
Jet,
distraction
or if
could
you have like
yield
an
a kill here
Astra.
for Thea.
Like
Huge
you only get
moment
so
there for
many, and
Thea,
they only
but
last so long.
looks like Stephanie's going to go down, so it will all be down to Thea, and there's going to be no assistance here. And just the full strength of this Viper util is going to be there, and that's just a wrap. The
That's
snake
so
bite is going
tough
to do
for
the
Thea.
damage, and that's going to be the round.
So
for those.
tough.
Shopify Rebellion,
He was in
they are very
a
close to
poison
picking up
orb,
map
the
2 here.
Viper pit, and on top
Yeah,
of a
Thea
snake bite.
has been very scary on these flanks.
Yeah, you
and
get
she
no health.
almost won that round,
You're just
but
you're
Panini
toast.
I think you actually
activating
literally
the
have
smoke
negative
inside
health
of the
in that
Viper's
situation.
saves
Well, they
her
did,
life.
'cause they're dead
It
now,
blocks
so.
the vision of Thea, and she just weasels away and drops a molly on this fight, which ends up winning the round.
It's only map
That's
one of the or match
hilarious.
one of the day.
Oh my goodness, Dig's still yet to find a single round.
Yeah,
on
there's
this
there's
defensive
so
half.
much going on.
It's
And
crazy to
that's probably
think
where you can see
because
that map
when you
comfort
think
coming
about
through from
regions, like for
Shopify
example
Rebellion as well.
Iceland for
Obviously,
Valorant,
they looked comfortable in their composition.
You saw that
and
the
game
Korean
on
teams
both halves
had
so
a different
far.
play style to the Brazil
see
teams, and the
if
Brazil
they can
teams to
find a
the
finish,
North
though.
American
It's
teams had
all
a
very
different
well
play
and good to
style.
get
Like
close, but you
everybody
have to
had
close.
different
Get
styles.
that mid take coming
And now you're
through.
looking at
Good
North
flash,
American
and it's I
female
love this
teams to
different avenue
male
of
teams.
attack
Like
from Shopify Rebellion.
in their own sense, they have their own setups, their own lineups, and you can really see different play styles just from
main and
game changers
certainly
to
looking difficult. You can see
masters.
the confidence coming through on these fights from Shopify Rebellion, but they don't come out the better this time around.
And
It's a
I
3v3
think that's
now.
so unique when it comes to esports.
Yeah,
How
again,
different
right.
playstyles can be, even in the same
So
region.
much info coming through here. Flatfall goes down, leaving KP and Han to try to secure this one. Good timing for KP to take down one.
This would be
leaving it up
huge.
to
If
MLE.
Shopify can put them on match point
Oh,
right here,
Tampa
I
just
think we're
throwing that.
going
That's
to
annoying.
split.
Oh, this is so little to be done there. Nice finish coming
I
through
think
from
map
Shopify
3
Rebellion. 12 to 7.
is pretty guaranteed now.
They're looking
Let's take a
good
look
for
at the
that third
economy
map, but
available.
what do they have to say for themselves?
And
here? Do
look
they
at
have even
the
economy?
combat scores. They're so much more closer
can't imagine
than the
they
map
have a
number
good buy
1.
coming out of
Like
them this
every
round.
like player to their
And
direct like
especially given the fact
opposite
that
is within like
they need to buy
10
utility
points or
after
so,
a
20
full gun
points.
round. So yeah, Emily.
Oh, they
on
do
a
get a final gun
Spectre,
round.
on a
So I mean,
long-range
Dig
map like this,
Dig
has
could
4
run it
stars
back.
on Astra. It's not
Look at their
horrible.
ultimates too.
I think the buy is better than I thought it would be.
They have
and
the
two
Cosmic
ults
Divide.
with
They have the
how on
Hunter's
earth did
Fury.
manage
They
to
could
bring
get a
top streak
showstopper. They
in
could get a
one thus
teleport.
far?
Blade Storms
I like how they
popped
kind of focus on their
for
retake
you know
here, especially with
SR.
Hunter's
Like
Fury.
this
I
is
think
dead
it's
even,
definitely a
I
good
would say.
choice, and we're going to see it actually go this way. There goes the Hunter's Fury to
To be
deny
honest, Hunter's
that
Fury
spike
again.
infuse to just get
Let's find
the rest
anybody,
of
and
the
even
fifth
Thea.
defenders into position for a retake. However, you can see that these fights again looking confident, winning. them on
Everything's
every
going
single
wrong right now.
angle, every
Ridiculous.
single
Oh,
angle
Lori,
for this
come
retake,
on,
and
no.
There's just nothing left here. Show the honor against an army right now.
I
think we're going split.
A chance in the second map for Dig. And now the draw. Oh god. Oh no.
Like, what are you
It is
supposed
just
to do?
unwinnable. 13 to 7. Great recovery from Shopify Rebellion, Sean. Especially considering that they got those first 3 rounds, but then we were worried for them because it started to get out of hand on that first half.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
their
that was-
comp for that attack half
That was
way
much better,
than Dig's.
we'll say.
Dig
from
impressed me with how
Shopify
they
Rebellion, I
coordinated
think.
the
I mean,
ults
they
on their
looked-
attack half. They bounced back from
You said it
3-0
best, I think.
deficit.
Like like they looked like they
I don't
had a
know, I
plan.
always thought we're going down
Whereas
to
Yeah,
split, and here
on
we are in that
Haven, they were just
scenario.
kinda
I
like,
think
yeah, we'll
both
trade
teams
1 for
looked
1.
Great on their own map.
We'll
pick,
see you on
and
map number
in the
3, punks.
past, They both looked great.
Exactly.
against
I
Split,
think
so
Split's going to
I
be
think we're in
such an
for a treat
interesting
and a
map for
much
these two
closer game on the
teams
third map.
because of that sense. Because
I
that
couldn't agree
on
more. Really looking forward to
Haven, we
Split.
didn't
A
see
map, I think, if
really
you look at the two
that
maps
standard
have
setup
preceded
from
it, Haven
Shopify, but
and also Breeze.
on
I feel
Breeze we
there's a lot
did.
of
So now you're looking at
similarities that we
Split.
can kind of draw insights
I want to hear
from
what
learning
DDK
from what's happened in the
and
team
Sean say
going
about it,
into
though.
Split. But with that said, it is time to throw it to a quick break, but don't go anywhere as
Oh,
we
they're
draw
not gonna say
closer
anything.
to the conclusion
You're gonna go to
of
break.
this series.
So yeah, we're going to throw it to break.
Let's make this quick, bro. I got things to do.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the Radiant Arena is back. Wait, Harry, do I really need to say this cringe shit?
I mean, it's what Ben wanted.
You got it. Join us for 3 weekends of Valorant and a $3,000 prize pool. Sign up now on Community Gaming.
Get out of here!
On this map, especially when paired with a Killjoy.
Welcome back, everybody,
or a Raze
to
for that matter, which
GLG
both teams are using.
presents the VCT
I
stream.
think we're in for a
co-stream.
treat here. The difference again between the initiators, we have Breach on one side, we have KP
Bro,
playing the Sky.
I haven't seen Split
It's very
in like a
comfortable
month.
on that Sky. Tons of impact.
I
throughout
love
the
this
series
map.
so far.
I've been a
doubt that
Split
changes on
fan.
Split.
Obviously
Probably
not
some
as much
Trailblazers
fan as
going up
Haven
to
because
Mayo,
Haven's better.
to
But
clear that out for the team.
I personally
And
never had the
on
same
other
issues
side,
everybody else
Juliana
did
is
on
probably
Split.
gonna be
So like
fault lining
I remember like
all
the
over
first time
to
I like
stop
joined a
early
Discord
aggressions with
server
the
and everybody was
operator
like,
coming
"Yo,
out
heck
Glory.
this
So
map, delete it
Glory
from the
was
game."
activated on
And I was
Breeze,
like, "But why?"
but she clearly
it's
fell flat on
fun.
Haven. It,
And they'd be like, "No,
in
you
my
suck."
eyes,
And I'd
this
be like,
series
"Oh."
lies on
Okay.
her
Oh, come on, man! I don't suck. Come on,
Yeah, I'm so curious to see
Tom Kench.
what is going to be the result in terms of the attacking.
What do you mean? The fucking or
baseball lines, because there's just so much
the frog.
in terms of that early round advantage, and obviously
Unbench
having
the
a Rose
clench.
as well with the boom bot. It's just so
Scuttle
good to stay in
snack.
place early on,
Like,
so
what
lots of
can't
pressure
you
that
love
do
about
right
Split?
from the
Like,
get-go on the map,
yeah,
controlling.
I think that
And
it got a lot better
guess,
after the
in terms of
rework.
a response on the
It was still though. It was just fun to
from
play.
Shopify
I don't know.
Rebellion.
Maybe it's the color scheme.
is the
Maybe it's
best
just the
go-to
way
to
like
deal
it
with
works. But
these-
I always
these
found this was
defaults,
like
these
a fun
early round
map.
control
It's probably my
attacks.
favorite map.
Well, I do like how they're set up right now. So they have the alarm bot at A, they have the turret holding
I don't know about
Heaven.
favorite, but
You know, so Killjoy can lock down this A site solo, and then at B they have an Omen with a Paranoia chilling.
Emily's
back.
off the
They have
Phoenix
a
for the first time in this
triple nail setup.
series.
This is an incredibly beefed up setup over here at this B site.
On
It's
the
really
Sage.
interesting.
That's not where the
Yeah,
early
it's such,
aggression is
like,
coming from. on
whiplash
big.
though, going right from Phoenix to
Yeah, that early
Sage.
pressure
So
shown.
very different in terms of the play
Oh,
style.
actually, we look at the mid push, just the proactive play. We saw this as well on the previous map from Shopify Rebellion, looking to get that early mid control on the defense. The flash going
Oh, they
out
got the
there.
dink.
Oh, good connection.
Oh, they
Good
got
for
the
that
frag.
actually, but KP's looking to try
Chaos.
the issues. Just
Spaghetti.
really stuck in a position
On his
where
mom's
KP
sweater
has
already.
to commit, and it's looking very, very
Oh,
good right
poor
now. These
Rain.
flashes are so awesome from KP, finishing off the remainder of Dig there, but they have that mid control, but they've lost the spike over towards spawn, so this has gone really weird really quickly.
It's 3v3. Like this is still very
KP has
doable,
another
especially
guiding
with
light.
Stephanie.
Just
If Stephanie can win
wherever she
this
decides
fight
to
with
use it,
KP,
it's gonna be
they've.
pivotal. Oh,
All right, never mind.
Oh, but powerful.
The ghosts are coming out in
Oh
force here,
no!
This is
but
such a
one
weird
ghost by
gunfight.
one
I've
player
never
left, it's
seen
big.
a round like
Really
this.
could make the difference. It's going to be difficult
I like
to
it.
find these isolated fights once again.
I love
and great
cheeky
setup there
stuff
to
like
just
that.
guarantee the round.
Like you wall off
And
sewer,
another
you take the
pistol
gunfight towards
going to
market,
Shopify Rebellion.
drop
They've
the
been
spike
really
in
great
their
on these
spawn,
pistols.
and then the players from
that one
Dignitas
was
who were rotating
single-handedly
from the
won
A
by
site
KP.
on the
I
flank,
believe when
suddenly
Trailblazer was
they're the
bust
front
out
line.
on
So the
frog
map
down
was
mid,
completely flipped on its
that
head.
is such a bold play to make, and it ends up paying off.
Imagine
The
if,
Sage wall
like,
comes in to
the
save
spike
day,
didn't drop
heal comes
where
in
it
from
dropped.
Sage,
Imagine if
you
like
know, everything is
if Stephanie had
stabilized.
had
The
it
second the spike
instead
went down,
and was like
that
on
that
site
was when
planting
things
it when everything
really
else was
flipped on
going
its head.
down.
I think that would have been a round to Dignitas, to be honest.
Us raking all of the Killjoy stuff over here at A. Killjoy means remain in shambles.
Oh man. Oh, KP!
We're looking to slow things down. I love the movement from KP here, just getting so
Only
aggressive
so
with
much you can
respect to
do
his
there,
goal.
right? You're getting triple peaked.
It's very
Dude,
bold.
That's tough.
And looks like it's going to work out too. At least mostly. A 2 versus 3 for Dig. They've done a good chunk of damage. They've not been able to collect any weapons. They'll quickly go for a rotation. If they could score a spike plant out of this as well, that would be a massive result for this bonus round from... Well, it's not even a bonus round, just the anti.
Yeah, this is a very expensive bonus round.
Bonus
Yeah,
round.
and you can see
It's only round
Panini
2.
was
Sorry,
initially
round
in the
2.
ropes right
Very
there.
expensive,
Opted to
nonetheless,
regroup with the team.
for Shopify.
I think they're just gonna give up the spike.
They're
spike
definitely gonna
at
have to
the
buy
B
up
site.
next round.
Yeah,
That
which
kind
is
of puts
brutal
things
because
in a
it
tricky
makes that
situation.
third
I
round
know
so much
Thea
tougher
and
for you.
Emily don't
Like
have
Dignitas, if they get a
SMGs rolling with them, they
plant
don't have
here, is a
inspectors or anything like that,
godsend,
but
right? Because it gives them
they
that
could
extra
definitely
bonus
slime
credits,
into a
and
corner.
they're gonna
And
get the
second
plant
they
for
get
free.
one
There's
frag,
like
things change so quickly.
Shopify Rebellion never even
It's
considered
just that
the
they can
thought
find a little corner
that
to hide in and
they
see
would
who wants them
transfer to
out.
B. Like they never even checked mid or anything. They just like were full
This is
send
getting
over
really
on the A
interesting.
site,
I
and we're
almost wanna
like,
see them best
they're
play for
coming
mid
here.
or something insane.
Bet.
Given how
And then they
how
didn't.
horribly difficult this will be to hold this spike with the weapons that they have. And here comes, oh, I love that from Laurie.
didn't quite
Oh,
make
just
it.
barely misses it. Doesn't really matter too much, but his satchel aggression is always fun to see. And Thea might actually be able to catch one here. Although, unfortunately, Emily is gone, and that spike is going to get defused all the way. So, looks like it will be the round for Shopify Rebellion, as expected. And, I mean, but again, 2 kills, a spike plant is certainly a great result for Dig.
Yeah, definitely a good result there from Dig. The defuse coming in from Han, building up that res early in this game. Like to see that. I think KP might have the ultimate up already on this first gun. And that's pretty big. A Sky ult on the first gun. Yeah, she has it.
Jesus.
First
Yeah,
gun.
KP
Wow.
having the ultimate already.
That's big.
What a
Flowerful's
start.
Not fully investing here. They're going to use this as a bonus round. If Shopify Rebellion win this round, things are going to get real difficult.
Look at that.
Oh, I love this. Both teams trying to get that B control, but it will be...
You're just like, oh no.
Winning it, but then the question is who expended more in terms of utility value.
There's a
And
lot of
I
utility being
really
used
the
on both
response here from Dig,
teams.
Just immediately taking mid control. They
Man,
know
they
that it
even
has to
used
be
the
controlled with very
nanoswarm
little,
there?
given
Both
how much
of them.
pressure was in B main early on in the round.
That's
so
a problem.
Dig, perfect response. But now the question is, what do they do with this map control?
Blinded.
Ooh. He is
Oh,
trying to
crap.
prod again, a lot like what we saw in Breeze. Very good on the extremities of the map, playing aggressively all by herself. And that's
know
what
what'd be
she's
cool?
doing over here at A right now. AP is
Voice
defending this
acting a
off,
character in a game like this.
Just
Yeah,
Theo just
I would
representing the
love
lurk.
to voice act in a game. I
Oh,
remember
what a
when Guilty Gear
beautiful
Strive came out
response.
2
And,
weeks
I mean,
ago.
there it is.
All
Just
of
thought
the
Cypher was there,
voice
horribly
actors
mistaken.
were able to
Dig
like they all
peeled
put out
away
like
one more
coordinated
player,
tweets
Panini
about it, and it was like, hey, it was the first time I'd ever seen something like that. Like obviously we've seen like people admit to voicing like Valorant characters, but it was just so weird to see like the entire cast of a game come out all at the same time and be like, yeah, this is me.
Really
Like,
ambiguous what they're doing.
for some
In the
reason, it
eyes
always
of
felt like
Shopify
kind of
Rebellion. They
secretive,
have no way to
or
understand what was
not like
happening.
secretive, but like
Yeah, you can
I don't know. Like, do you know like when you like play a game and you're like, man, that voice
control
sounds
B main.
really familiar. I wonder who that
You can
is.
take it.
And then you go to like
You can take the
IMDb
mail
and stuff, and you find out who
while
it
we're
is.
lurking
Like, that's how it
A,
always kind of
and then
felt.
once
It
we go
wasn't
back
so
to
much
A, we're gonna
like
keep the lurk into
that.
mail,
Like
which
people
we
were
got
like,
early in
yes,
the
I'm so
round,
excited to voice so and so.
I really like how Dig approached that round. Like you said, they reacted super quickly to that B main control.
If you were gonna
And everything
voice
they
a
did
character,
was just next
what
level. KP
kind of a
trying to
character
break
would you
cam on the wall.
voice?
She was trying to guess where the cam was.
I don't know how to answer that.
I can respect it.
I get.
Yeah,
It would probably be
definitely.
pretty
And that just,
goofy,
again,
right?
it's something
Probably
that
just like
looks
say
kinda
some weird
crazy
stuff.
or ridiculous in some senses, but it's also the fact that Dig are
You
representing.
think you'd
this
want to be
probably
like in a
just
fighting
lurker
game?
there, because we're gonna see,
'Cause I know you do lots of fighting
holding that
game
position
stuff.
like every round.
That'd be kind of
pretty
cool.
much.
It'd
So,
be. I
it's
think
hard
it,
for
like in a way, it'd be a little bit more
Shopify
limited because fighting games don't have like amazing like story campaigns, basically.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like it'd be
does look like
a little bit different because you just say like your move names basically.
I mean, with the forward ISO,
So
out
it's
comes
very
the Patriots.
different.
They're going for the retake. Great.
But like if you
counterpass coming
got
through,
into
and
like
that's
a
gonna
big company
completely
like with
stop
Riot,
this
like
attempt
it'd be so
on the
cool if you could
defense for
like
Shopify to take
not
mid.
only voice
What a
in game
response from
but
Dig.
like voice like
Oh my
in
goodness,
their
utility fire sale right there. In mid.
cinematics
And this
too.
lurk again by Thea. Oh. Cam gives up everything.
Oh, that was a 6 cyber cage.
Oh wow.
Literally trapped in
But
a
He's
cage.
been
Flowerful-
trapped.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
He's been
Flowerful-
caught.
Oh no.
They didn't even like
That is,
hit the
I
wall.
I
They
have
just
to say,
shot
I just
for no
respect
reason.
his sheer aggression from Thea going so deep and throwing that
but
cam out there
KP?
so bold, but a holdout for the moment as KP tries to mount a defense, able to take down one player. Out come the flash is so timely. Dig again looking really nice right now, but with that trade from Panini, there's still hope in this round for Shopify.
30 seconds left.
They make their way forward for the retake of this site. Laurie and Panini.
Oh,
picking
they
up
tried
two,
to
and now it's a
blast pack
1v1,
back
and
to
the spike
safety, but
has to go down
Lori
still.
got bopped before it went
will be
off.
collected backside by Stephanie.
Lori, you
And it
mentioned
has to be planted.
Emily off the
There's the
Phoenix for the first
wraparound
time. This is
down
also
A-ramp
Lori
from
changing
Panini.
up the
Question
agent
is, will
selection as
Stephanie
well.
find
You
a
know,
good timing with
has
guess
been on
right,
the
but out
Jet
comes the
for
showstopper to
2
try to
maps
just
now,
guarantee this.
but now onto
Panini
the
doing smart
Rays
thing,
of all
not giving up a
things.
position that
It's
she's
very
holding
different.
and just waiting out the showstopper. Plenty of time to do it.
Stephanie read this though, Dan?
Ooh.
Great.
Stephanie's
great
has
timing
such a
there.
good
That's
series
gonna work out
against
nicely for Dig.
Shopify. On all 3
Wow,
maps.
I thought the reposition by Panini was fantastic. I thought it would be very difficult to read that she was going to be, left side A main, because the showstopper comes out, she could be hiding heaven, she could be waiting.
That's it.
And really nothing.
They're
Was played out
saying
by Stephanie, so
they're
she
saying
had to
something
take a
important. Like
risk
Panini's
and went with the
relocation
swing,
through
and,
ramps.
I mean,
I disagree. I think that is an easy read from
very
Stephanie
well by Stephanie.
because
I'm totally with
sitting
you
where
though,
you are,
because,
usually there will be a
Panini's
stutter
decision-making
step
there
towards
really
screens
thought that
because
was
of how close
fantastic.
at range it is. So it's going to be
But
easy to tell if
unfortunately,
there's somebody close
the
there.
Shopify, on
In
the
heaven,
intro again,
since
they're
there's
actually
so
gonna
much
play
space to move around,
a
most
pretty aggressive
likely
play
you
with a
will
nice
also
wall there
hear the player in heaven too. But
that A main
through
position.
ramps, that's like that is the
I'm
slow
really liking,
burn
the
kind of
tactical
rotation.
synergy
So
coming
I
through from
actually
these
think
teams
that
trying
that
to
was
really use everything
interesting
at
that
their disposal to
Panini
get
went for
early
the
wins
ramps
in these
rotation
rounds.
because I think that's a pretty easy gunfight for Stephanie
Yeah,
to
it looks
take.
like Dig sells a lot. It sells a lot towards an area with a bunch of utility, like this round on A, and then they'll.
I mean, this map's so
evacuate that
small
area
too,
and hit
right?
the
Like
opposite
rotations
side.
are
And
so
this is the
lightning
first
fast that you can
time
hear
Shopify
stomping
runs
all
into
over the
Rover.
place. KP just gets run over again.
That could have gone very wrong, and maybe it still could. That's a good
Stephanie's
opening
low and
there on
Flowerful.
defense. Flowerful.
Oh, Flowerful
finds
gets
2
two.
kills, and that's a 3v3 now. There's plenty of time for this spike to go down, and the site will be cleared. By
Where's
Dig.
the rotation here?
Oh,
Lori
no.
Lori's
Dragging
taking
through
space
Mail
here,
and
and
this is
they
gonna
can
be
actually
quite
grab a
dangerous.
rifle
Just
too.
A very fast way to clear lots of positions by just sending that straight to the
Oh,
back.
Rain
I don't
does
know
not
if
get
it's
hit by
gonna
it.
connect to anything, but there goes the res as
Yeah,
well.
that's
Even
too
though
far
they are
away.
out equipped at the moment.
But after all of this,
the
like
advantage is massively in
they
favor
just
of
haven't
Dig.
even put down the spike. So
There is numbers here working.
So
in the favor
Shopify's had
of
time to make it around,
Shopify as
and they
make
have
their way
KP back, and the
through B
Phantom
main, so
that was
sorry,
dropped
through B heaven,
from
down into the
above.
site, but these ranges are difficult. Lori able with the only rifle to take a kill.
It's interesting.
A kill quickly. That outcomes.
Oh,
the
Rain
ult,
comes
and it's
up
looking
huge
very
there.
difficult at
That's
this
a big
point.
frag
Panini
because now
last
puts
player standing
Panini into a
with that
tough
sheriff,
sandwich
and
here.
It is a very difficult peak
The
here.
shot was
Rain will
right
take that one
there.
down nicely, and that was a great effort though.
I think that
But
was such an interesting
very-
rolling thunder
it
from
didn't seem like an important
Sholiana.
round in the beginning, but by the end of the round, I mean it's so easy to get baited into this stuff in Valorant, right? Where you're saving, but you end up in this
I miss Iceland.
scenario where you're up a player. So should you start
You've
using
never
your
even
ultimates?
been to
Should you start
Iceland.
No,
using
I mean
abilities?
watching the event.
And all of that stuff is very costly. Using a res right there, using the showstopper. Those are
No, I know I've
round-changing
never been to Iceland.
abilities. So even though you're at a gun deficit, you think
You
can
just, like,
win with
black
the
out,
ults,
flew
but
to
it just
Iceland
didn't
one
play
time.
out. That's a huge momentum
It
swing.
was
going
interesting.
into
It was a
two.
crazy Friday night.
Yeah, I'm loving
It's
the
literally like a
Iceland lineups as
16-hour
well. So the opening of this round,
flight.
super fast control coming through from Dig up a ramp into a heaven. just
It's like,
forcing
oh
the
no, I
defense all the way
accidentally flew to
back,
Japan.
and
Oh.
retake game
Maybe
here.
accidentally.
Shopify
You had to fly
will be very hard
36
to actually
hours. Where
stop
did you
the
think
fighting
you were
problems at this
going?
point. And with A heaven control
Oh
as
man, I
well,
thought I was just
Dig
like
and Sunny looking
I
quite
thought I was going to New
strong
York.
there.
Oh,
Down
Lori!
comes through. Lori doubles up on the frags against
Oh,
Dig,
that's
winning back
huge.
a heaven control. Huge win coming through. Flowerful as
It's
well.
hard
These
to
frags
believe
are
that
just
Lori
going
struggled
crazy
so
at
much
this
on
point,
Haven.
Up in a heaven, and it's all the frags, and they're all in
Yeah,
favor
like
at this
I feel
point
like
of Shopify.
if
Fantastic
Lori
retake,
from
my
either
goodness.
Breeze or so far
Wow.
Split had been able to show up on
a
Haven, I
very,
think they
very
would have had
important exchange
at
that
least a
Lori got the
closer
best
map,
of
right?
inside
Like
ropes.
even if
Yeah.
Killjoy ult pushes
even if maybe they don't win the
into
map
ropes,
overall, I think
right
it just
into
becomes
the
a
loving
lot
arms of
closer.
Lori, who
And I think it's
just
crazy
got
that the
there.
first
She
series of the
literally
day as well
jumped in
goes
ropes
to map
herself,
3.
and
Man,
gets
I don't
all the
know
frags. That
what
second one was
happened
so
there because I didn't
fast.
even see the bird on the jump down, but
Yeah, it
like I
was
you
just
hear the
interesting.
sound
I'm
cue,
expecting
like you
at that
hear
point
it
just
and you
with
see the flash
I mean, that was
animation
so
there
potent, that push, it looked so
um,
good.
onto Thea.
It's, I
So, like,
mean,
it
that's
clearly
the
goes
magic,
through,
isn't
but,
it?
like,
Just sometimes
I just didn't see
something
it.
pops
It's like
off, and
that's
this
a
time
great
it was
double
Lori.
peek
What a
from
response. Lori really doing such great work
Dig
here
that just
in
didn't
this
work.
series so far. After that first map, that was a little bit rough. Coming back strong
Lori
on map
just
2 and map
diffed
3
them
here
right
as well.
there.
3 to
Raised
3, we're all
diff there.
tied up, and Dig not with quite the pace at the start of the round here, as we've seen in a lot of their attacking sides so far.
What does Dig
Put a
have to work
lot
with?
of
You got
emphasis
Rez,
on this
you have
A-heaven
TP,
position, whether that be through mid
and a Hero
through
Phantom on
ropes,
Rain too.
or going up this A ramp. It looks like they think this is a weak point, and they've won the majority of these encounters. The one exception being that Killjoy ult round we just saw.
Is Flowerful ready for this
And
though?
there is no
Look at this.
Killjoy
Look,
ult for
the
Shadow.
jellyfish.
For Shadow?
They're
It's
chasing. Look at the
quite
mini map. They're
foolish, Sean. It
chasing
is
through
a struggle
vents.
for me here as well right now for Shopify Rebellion. And so it's going to be down to the fragging power of Flowerful at the back of the site.
Oh!
Just 0. The Spectre running Flowerful down.
Oh, Panini though.
And it's going
The
to be
3K.
just a
They
single
teleported
player.
in.
How did he get there?
No, they didn't
Some
teleport in. They
damage,
only
but
have. Oh wait, did they teleport?
Back for Shopify
4K,
Rebellion,
1,
getting
2,
it
3, 4.
done,
Yeah,
and that's a
they
great
used their
hold.
teleport to get
I
onto
love that
site.
Dig
Their ultimate
found that
there.
opening, just as you said, but seemed like it all went according to plan as far as Shopify Rebellion are concerned, and now they have
Panini
That's crazy.
kind of being a
one round,
meanie.
but still a lead nonetheless.
I mean, like, so Panini teleports onto the site
didn't
and somehow
catch
gets
it,
away,
but
like,
based on the ult
actually,
orbs, I'm
like,
fairly
going
certain
through with the
Panini
teleport.
ulted to the A side
Like, how
to
often
save
does that actually
round.
happen?
I don't know how Panini.
I know.
would've
I
gotten there
actually
that
played
quickly, but
Omen the other day
he
for the
ulted
first
to
time
the A
ever.
and got a quad kill.
I didn't know that to cancel out of the Omen TP, you had to hit the same key.
They had.
Yeah.
So I TP'd right next to one of the other team
Oh.
players.
Oh man.
They just looked at me and I'm just like hitting my whole keyboard like, get me out of here.
Oh,
Lori!
for it with the showstopper, gets the double in mid. There's a showstopper in response.
And
but
now
there's
Stephanie's
no
like,
behind.
I want to
There's
do
no
it
one
too.
near in
Help
My
me, help
turn.
me.
It's a total
And they just get
red
nothing for
That
it.
is massive value found by Lori early on in Flowerful, taking down
My
Thea.
turn.
That's got to feel good,
Smoke.
considering how annoying Thea has been. That's got to feel real good for Flowerful.
Annoying is a total.
I wanna see,
understatement. I feel like the entire half she's just
Showstopper
been lurking
montage
by
with
that
The
ramp
Show Goes On by
and
Lupe
just,
Fiasco as the
pounces
background music.
whenever mid contact happens, and she's been so successful at it. Now look at this Killjoy utility. It's all
Bro, nobody
up.
near me
She's
has
back A
Paninis.
site. Oh, but
What do you mean? There's one on screen.
I just have a bunch of Chinese food around.
I mean,
me.
Rain has
Sad.
the ult here, so if there's a strong enough argument there is an ult play to be made with the Omen TP.
That's so
that
tragic
B
watching the
side.
showstopper come in, pick
I
up a
mean, that
double
is a
kill,
desperate move,
and
but
then
we'll
you
see if that's
go
what it
back
comes
to
down to here.
spectate, and
The
it's
2 versus
your
3,
Raze
that's a
then
great
pulling out the
frag, might not
showstopper,
even
trying to
need
pull
any
up the
such
same thing,
shenanigans,
and just
and
getting
having
nothing
Oh!
out of it.
Catch a fight,
Bro,
catch a break,
what
but
is
it's
this
Rain
round?
to take the fight all the way to the end. There is now Panini once again.
Oh, no,
coming
that's a
in
bad
from the same
paranoia.
position.
Oh, this
Able to
round
split
is
up these two players, has to
so
get this kill quickly
weird.
until- I mean, well, that's going to be it.
I
Stephanie's just
can't
gonna
believe
straight
Shopify
repeat
lost
it
that.
and take it down. So we get a tied score here. These two teams look very difficult to separate at this point. 4-4. We're already seeing a lot of great action here.
Oh, it
I
like
honestly thought
direct
when Lori got that
impacted
double
onto
showstopper
Rain.
that the round was going to go easily in their favor. I didn't see the res was on deck from Emily. That was a game changer. That res, and like I said, it keeps going in this A heaven position. They're avoiding the Killjoy mollies, and they're pushing through elbow. And Flowerful is struggling with it right now. She's struggling with it because most hits come through A main, and that's not how Dig is doing this.
And there we go once again. Just the defense coming in from KP on that A-ramp position. We know how much
Really
Dig likes to
aggressive
gain this
from
position, but this
Shopify.
time
Yeah,
around,
this is
Shopify
like
rebelling
the
and denying
revenge
it,
tour
sending
right
out
now
those
from
flashes,
Shopify.
keeping
They're
the
like,
pressure up. The full
after
line
what
response,
happened last
but
round, how Lori
still,
gets the 2-piece with the
Dig are holding
showstopper
onto
now
this
into this
position
round. They're like,
nicely.
I can't believe we
Sorry,
lost
Shopify
that.
rebellion
We
holding
can't
onto
lose
this
stuff like that.
position nicely
Let's
at
just
the
roll
top of
over
the
them.
A-ramp, and that's going to cause Dig to have to reconsider things here. And we go into the mid rounds as they reset.
Yeah, and I love the discipline from Panini. It's very easy to over-rotate to A on a hit like that, especially when the Sky util is getting all the info. But if you look, Rain has that ult on deck. And very easily they could have lost the B site if Panini had left.
And there's just so much time here as well that that there's just been total silence.
Yeah, this is a really good reposition here by Dig. I mean, they're clearly going at the weaker side, but they're going to go through mid right into the teeth. Just gotta-
And there's the trade, and that's not going to be too favorable for Dig, already hurting 4 players. 20 seconds to go. Desperate is one way I could describe this right now for Dig. Panini in the back with the goods. And there's the double to secure the round. Shopify Rebellion once again pulling ahead, but only by 1 round. I actually really like the mid push, like going back into mid there, Sean, because it feels like they were trying to play high risk there, trying to catch a rotation. This didn't work out.
Yeah, especially coming through market. I mean, right? You just got spotted by A. What are the odds that?
Nice
of
to
you are
see
gonna come
Lori
out of
back at
market,
the
right? They
top
had
of the
really good
leaderboard
timing,
here.
and
Having a
unfortunately, you know,
really
they
solid duelist.
they
We've
just
kind of
got
talked about it
traded
a lot
out,
here
but
today, but
when
it,
you're
it
down a
really does
player,
just
getting
change
traded
the
out,
whole flow of your
it's not,
team.
it's not good enough, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So Lori did a really good job of satcheling away and just keeping that, you know, man up advantage and carrying it throughout the round. And Panini tucking into the back of the site, you know, holds true and finds the last two.
And I'm really curious actually about how this is going to go, because I actually felt like Dig would be for me, more favored on both halves, and so far we're seeing a really good and powerful response here from Shopify Rebellion, and they're going to be against the Eco, so they're in a great spot to actually finally pull ahead. And if things keep going that way, this could start to landslide. So
Another
Big need
lead
to be quite
for
cautious. We'll see them, on this half bite. So
Shopify.
there is some firepower,
Could
but
be
it is
strong.
quite limited. Oh, and it's an A retake setup again on the defense from Shopify Rebellion. I really like these A retake setups that they've been doing.
Yeah, especially when they have the Flowerful Killjoy ult on deck. I mean, we've seen they have ideas for how to hold that and take control of ropes, wait for it to come to fruition, and then slowly retake from there.
Do you think this is actually
The
like
judge as well.
Oh my
they
God.
just know exactly what to do right now. Shopify Rebellion
Oh,
about to light it up.
God,
Out comes
Colin
the judge,
KP.
and that mid position is not looking all that open at all for Dig.
I think the judge is
Believe,
one of the most
though,
fun
is
guns
gonna
you can
find
use
a
in this
ticket
game.
eventually, but we'll see how many passes that's good for. Dig make their way through mail as well. This is really all that they can do, just to try to fall onto this B site, but it is labored. A 1v2 though for Sholiana, and time to play with, although the spike is down in a compromised position. So at this point, it is a very easy series of decisions for Shopify Rebellion. It's just about hitting the shots, and Sholiana, with the full line and the aftershock, maybe there is something to be done here. Especially if Sholiana can find a favorable timing on this next fight. Not going to happen though. Han will shut it down, and indeed, Shopify Rebellion will capitalize, and that's 6-4.
Yeah, it got a little close. It got a little close. I mean, the 3 opening frags all went in Shopify Rebellion's favor, but then the trades came.
You think Shopify Rebellion's gonna take this? They're looking good.
That 2-on-3 got real scary, especially when Sholiana knew
This is
that the last 2
looking
players were
pretty
in the
good. I
B
mean,
site.
they are getting
This
a
last round
little
is
bit
gonna, I think
ahead
the breach ult is
here.
gonna come into play. This
They
is
are
the
going to
old
be able to
patch,
build
it's not
up,
as solid as
quite
the
a
new
bit of a
patch,
bank. You can see
but
here,
it's
just
pretty much
overall,
free
the
to
team
have
has
any ult you want.
15,000
And
credits
it looks like the
compared
breach
to
is lined up
Dignitas's
for that ult.
2,000 credits. So
Curious how it's used here.
there is hope.
Boombot to clear some of those more tricky 50-50 positions.
Oh, they're getting so far.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of value here. Oh, burning the paranoia too. That's a huge win for Dig. It looks like Shopify Rebellion really think that this is a lot further progressed than it is. What a huge bait on the utility. That's a massive win.
I mean, Panini is absolutely going to get hit by this breach ult, and Stephanie might be able to capitalize and get a 2K because of it. Here it comes.
Stephanie in a great position, as you said. Ready, set up. There's the Rolling Thunder,
Wow,
and here
the
comes the push, and yeah, able to get out of there just barely, somehow, some way. Thea in the mix though, trying to hold on to that B Heaven position. Stephanie lending a hand. We do have the Killjoy ultimate, the lockdown coming through from spawn to try to clear out some of these spaces. You can see that all the defenders are having to fall back to B main. It does make things a little bit easier, especially given this plant spot. They're gonna have to run out, and there comes the stick. There's the hold from Panini, just locking it down. Oh, making it look far too easy. Panini with the trio of kills, making it nice and safe for Flowerful.
Wow, the value that Panini has found in the Omen ult twice this half.
Doctor,
That's
What's up, Colin?
insane. She ulted
you wanna
to
become
A
famous?
to get a 4K the
Yes.
first time. She also
buy
waited for the
followers,
breach ult
primes,
to-
and viewers.
Before Stephanie was able to take her out. Comes back into the site and gets the
I'm gonna get banned by
gorgeous.
Nightbot.
That's insane.
You know
It
what's
should
funny?
not look that easy. That is
Maybe it's not
amazing.
funny.
And that's such
way,
a
way,
way
way back when I was like
that's a real momentum shifter.
in
I feel
school.
like it's been so.
I actually
difficult
bought
for
WoW
Shopify
Gold.
Rebellion to really gain traction on this.
WoW
half, and
Gold,
now
like
that's
World of
finally
Warcraft
happened.
Gold?
A 3-round
Yeah,
advantage.
because I
after
wanted
things were going
better
back and
armor. I
forth
wanted
consistently,
mounts.
1-to-1.
And so I bought gold.
Dig open things up this round with some mid control.
Didn't get banned. Didn't get
Yeah,
my
I have to
account
ask
stolen
you, we have
either.
a-
It's
we have a
pretty-
judge at
you know,
AO. Are you the
overall,
type of person
pretty good
that's
time.
rooting for that judge to get kills?
I used to have some
They
pretty
want the
wild
world
Rocket
won,
League
or
things
do
from
you
the
want that
trading
judge to take
market
care of?
and that you'd be able to buy with
I
real
want
money.
The world to ban
Oh, KP. Oh, that's so
Hang on,
unfortunate.
just hold that ball for a second. Stephanie going forward with that showstopper. It is coming out to play here, and Laurie also. There's the judge, and there it is.
There's
It's failed. So there's.
Hi,
Playing
Mick.
around a little bit. What's up, dude?
Welcome.
To try to keep
Thank
position
you.
his screens at
What
very
is
least,
the
and
password for it?
it is working out. There is a res available
GLG.
from Han as well. So I don't know that there's anybody's.
We're rocking
in
new
a safe
headphones and
position
we're
to find that
rocking
res
a
just yet. So
center
we will take
ultra
that
wide
full
monitor
position.
right now. So I'm still
KP will
shook
be
up
res,
and trying to
so it's
figure
one
out,
body
you know,
safe
getting used to the fact
for
that
that res. And
I
the
have a
advantage
fucking
in play on
TV
this
screen in
goes
front of me
in
as a
favor
damn
of
monitor.
taking Shopify Rebellion.
Because I
They're
literally
looking to
set
make
this shit
meaningful
up 2
finish.
minutes ago.
Well, stream,
Emily with
I'd
the
like to
defense, trying
welcome
come
Mick
through,
to
but
the
it's now down
desk.
to Stephanie in the 1v2
For-
from both
for,
sides,
uh,
trying
for
to
the
isolate
co-stream.
these fights, trying to find the timings for the peaks, gets the connection down to 49, still gets it. Is slower to the
Alright, let me
fight,
get this
slower
cam
to draw
plugged
the
in.
gun.
Look at
but
this
wins
though.
the clutch,
Dignitas,
and Dig with a
bring it back
much-needed
here.
final round at the end of the first half.
I think
Oh,
Stephanie
my
is
goodness.
looking
I-
so good on
yeah, I think
Duelist.
the 7-5
Stephanie actually
scoreline
played the
feels so much better.
Sky
down
on
8-4.
Breeze, right?
It
Doctor?
feels doable now, right? It
think
feels
so.
like you had a good half on
I didn't write
attack
it
side
down,
split
but I think you are
and
right.
5 as opposed to 4.
Definitely looking better on the
I
Duelist
think
role.
I actually am beginning to flip-flop there, which is typically a good sign, actually, for my Shopify pick.
7-5 half.
I always have to
How do you
doubt
feel
myself,
about that?
you know?
Yeah. I mean, I just
On
caved.
split, I think it's
I
kind
just
of
gave up the
interesting
prediction
because
game.
I
threw the
think
towel in earlier, so I respect that you're still in.
people
in the
are
prediction
used to a
game,
little bit
and
more.
It does look like it's
one-sided
turning out nicely
affairs.
right now for Shopify Rebellion. We're gonna get a fast.
But I think Shopify Rebellion have really
from
heated
Shopify
up, right? Because
and
map
it looks
one,
like there's a lot to
it was just
respond
such a
to this on the
wash.
defense
It
front
honestly,
here.
we talked about it a
Ready
couple
for
times,
this.
looked like they just weren't ready to play today.
Like really fast. Get towards that sights. Wade will go down, but the question is, has Lori close opportunities for her teammates? Well, the answer is a firm no.
Yeah, I think they just didn't look ready to play
at
at
this push. It's just
that
leaping
time.
left, trying to try to salvage something, get some money out
But
of
I
this.
think
But
now that
regardless,
they've
at
had a
least that goal has
chance
been
to
achieved.
play a couple
But
times,
a great
you know,
defense
they've had a
coming through
couple
from Big, and in
rounds under
fact,
their belt.
we haven't seen them winning
That they've
many
been really
pistols, and
able
there
to,
could not be a more
you know,
important pistol
get back
to
into
win,
the swing of
obviously, at
things,
this
and
point,
they're
than
looking
the
pretty
last one of the
strong.
series.
And I mean,
Yeah,
right
and
now they have the
Stephanie came up
lead. They did lose the
with the
pistol, which isn't
frenzy on
great,
this
but
round.
I mean, if they
Swinging
can
around
just
the
stay
pillar,
mentally strong
crowding.
here, I think they actually have a really
Two or
good
three
chance
just- just-
at you know, carrying
Cypher
through.
living in the back of the site. And Lori hunted that.
Just for the
player
meantime,
down.
everybody, we're gonna be
He had
saying
just, you know,
goodbye to
swerved
Mick
away
for a
back
few
pillar, allowed the
seconds
rotate
till he
to come
comes
in,
back.
And they just won every battle. They just, you know, it was always a 2-on-1 on their
Taking
beats.
his time.
Yeah, you love to see that
No,
level of team play.
I definitely think
awareness,
that
and communication.
Shopify looked
And it's going to be, I mean, this is
good
a very typical thing
on
to
the
do when you're on
defense,
pistols,
but
is to
now
try
I want to attack.
play the close ranges.
I think
up
we're gonna
mid.
be
And they're
hopefully
actually
seeing a
gonna
lot
go
more from
for the
KP and
walkthrough
Lori. I
route.
want to see
Given
some
that
combinations
B
from the
main,
Sky and the
Heaven's already
Rays.
been given up. That's that could work out, but in the meantime, we do have that push all the way through B main here. So this is very, very known at this point. Oh, this could be brutal. The timing, it is good. It is so damn good
God.
for Rain and Thea and Stephanie. Everybody is chiming in on the defense, and
Team Ace.
that's
Maybe.
that's all gone
Nope.
according to plan for Dig.
Not a thing.
Wow,
Was
that's
it?
a nice
I
paranoia.
don't think so.
You know the
Nah, I
heavens
think- I
what's
think
coming
Rain
in,
got
you
a
go up to
double
that
kill.
Screens wall. Where is there to hide? There's nowhere to go, Dan. There's just nowhere to go. Yep. Very well done by Rain. It's easy to just play the passive scenario, sit behind that smoke, play for the retake. But then what happens is your site player gets overwhelmed and you end up in this
All
weird
right, now we're
5-on-4
even, and I'm
retake
starting to
and
get concerned for
it's so
Shopify
chaotic.
again.
I like that Rain just took the
This is a big
initiative and
round.
just, pushed right there.
This is definitely a big
Yes,
round.
yeah, taking the initiative's huge, and
I
Speaking
think
of
this
which,
is
we do have a defensive full line.
almost a
might be coming through
must-win
to
round
try
because they lose
to
this,
slow
they're going to
down
be
indeed this B main aggression.
a
We got the
bad
ISO on top
economic
of that. So
spot.
it's a signature plus 100 credits in this patch for a lot of value. Good response though to go a little bit more aggressively towards this A main control as well in response. But will we see Shopify trying to re-clear B main? Because they can't know if there's anybody in B main. And last round there was a push from there, so got to be careful. It looks like they're not interested, Sean.
Yeah, typically you would use your initiator, which in this case would be KP on the sky, to send a trailblazer in, a
this
guiding
is
light in, something
map
that gives
3.
you information
tuning
that
in
they're in B
between
main.
Shopify and
CKP is
Dignitas,
all
and
the
they're
way at
tied
A heaven
7-7 on split.
He can't hear you because that's from
Ding,
VMix.
ding. But that Spectre
Oh.
definitely doesn't pack quite the punch of a
Or not
Phantom.
VMix, OBS.
Laurie able to answer back quite nicely, and what a recovery that is. They've got a lot to work with now in position, in the sense of positioning.
Oh, look at this
He
peek.
is in a
Oh,
pretty
the
rough spot
peek
here,
from
but actually, because
Rain.
Rain is doing
Rain
so much
gets
damage,
two?
This defense
Oh,
is suddenly
no.
looking very,
Oh, it's
very
chalked,
good here
Colin.
from Dig.
It's-
Rain, what
it's
an
over.
incredible
That's so
performance, and Thea there to
unfortunate.
finish it off.
It's over.
Oh my goodness, that
Boom
was
City.
not supposed to go that way. What a defense from Dig.
Oh my goodness! When Lori gets the opening too, there's just so much importance on Rain not only finding a frag right there.
And that's what I was
but
saying. I said that that's a big round.
She comes out and gets
where I think
2 and lives.
You
At that moment,
really
you
would
just
have liked
know
to see
there's no shot.
Shopify
There's
take
zero
that
shot you're gonna clear out the,
because now
on
you're
that
back on
fireball
sheriffs.
position. That was
And you're
Rifles in
down.
hand
Round from Rain,
of
rotating through
Dignitas,
screen.
and
The paranoia
I didn't get to
just
see their
destroyed the
economy. Or I was trying to look at their economy, but
Yeah,
a
I know
lot
you
of them
highlighted
are
Rain
like
earlier as well, and
around like 5K.
we really have been seeing some of those key moments from her. But back to the the usual, the
Alright, so
expected.
they find the
eco
wolf,
up mid.
but-
Often again, these closer ranges tend to be given up.
Do you have your audio
By the
going through
defenders.
Ninja, Colin?
I do not.
No need
Yeah,
to
so make sure
risk
just talking about
engagements
them.
where the pistols will perform better.
But
we didn't.
this,
talk
yeah,
about it,
this
but
is
winning a
pretty
bonus
bad
round like
because you have
that
to
is
assume that
challenging.
Dig's gonna win this, right? Because it's just
It's brutal.
pistols
It's
for
brutal, 'cause Now
Shopify,
you can see what it's done to
and
the economy.
that's now
Shopify Rebellion on this
9-7.
eco with
It's
all
not
the
great.
sheriffs. The ults are building. for
Woo!
Dig.
Big shout out to Grenasty.
Money is building.
Subscribe tier 1
everything
4 months in a row.
momentum-wise is going in Dig's favor.
Welcome back.
Yeah, is all
I feel like we
behind right now. Are they gonna expect?
Yeah,
to see
I only moved Mick because he was shouting into the microphone. And
Time to farm the Thea, perhaps.
welcome back, Mick.
Timing's looking pretty decent, but Stephanie might be quicker to the action. The question is, will they roll over Stephanie? The flash comes through, the timing's good. Great stuff. Showstopper comes out as well to finish off KP.
He's not
Really
even,
want those frags.
He's not here. I'm looking at his camera.
That is a choice to burn the showstopper there,
What
but
is-
it has
what is
certainly
happening?
secured this round. There's really no time here for Panini, but damage could still be done.
So his Discord message
It's
was
gonna
not
take a hell
accurate
of a
then.
shot coming out of
Is
his
what
dark
I'm
cover.
is what I'm getting.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And now we did cleaning up the
Oh,
round. 9-7,
Colin, it's
they have really
raining
started to
terror
take
for
over this
Shopify.
match.
This
Things
is
are not looking good.
Yeah, and Thea remains aggressive on the extremities. That's so tragic, by the way. That beautiful
Whatever you
flank
do,
that she had going,
Don't cut to
and
cameras.
0 frags. It's a game, win is a win.
We'll just leave his out, I guess.
I like the idea,
Colin
though,
and I are fine.
and I also like the fact that Stephanie showed aggression at male, and even if she would have fallen.
All right, we're
it
getting another
definitely
pause,
gets the
Colin.
2K right there.
What
This is the right
is-
call.
Right.
This is the right call.
Just allowing that flank.
Does it say
to
whose pause it
happen
is?
by showing
It's
some pressure.
definitely Shopify's.
So
Definitely
again,
Shopify's.
Dig has kind of turned. into
Yeah,
weak
it does.
on
The
this
arrow
map,
next to
and
the spike
we've
underneath
yet
the
to
round.
see anything from Shopify.
Does that signal
Is
pause?
gonna signal that
think it is.
they're ready to make this comeback.
Yeah, definitely. And,
I guess we'll find out in a couple seconds when the pause ends.
Oh, it looked really confident from Shopify. It really did seem like.
But
they
it's a
found
full
lot of
buy
strengths.
for the most part here for
It certainly
Shopify,
is
so
now.
they're
The-
going to
the
be able
ball is
to
really,
at least
well, it's in
compete,
Dig's court,
I
but,
guess, which
BBC Shopify
is
find an argument to
something
steal
they've
that ball
been
away
really
and just take
struggling
the
with on
initiative
this
and
second
start
half.
leading
I mean,
the race
this is
here.
kind of what I was
Only 2 rounds away at
expecting
this point,
the
still
defensive
lots
side
of
to
time
be
to
able
work
to
with. A
do
full
when we
buy
were
for
watching
both
the
sides.
first
We haven't
half,
actually
but
seen much operator
Dignitas
play
have
between
taken
these
the
two
reins
teams
and
overall in the
just
series.
really run away
We're not
with
going
it.
to see it here yet either.
Yeah, it's really hard to get the operator
What is
going
the- what is
on
this
the
lineup?
raise pick because you typically
Oh,
wanna
it's the
have
slow
so much
paint
impact
can
with the paint
combo.
shells, particularly when you have a stage like this with a slow.
Too bad nobody's
So they're
home
just
to
getting that
receive
domain
it.
control
Yeah, there's
right
nobody
off the
there.
bat. This is an A hit.
He said they're all on the A side.
Clearing out the flower pot very quickly. Satchel into the backside. You got
I
the
like
timer
this. I
going
like
through
this play from
the
Panini, but he might be
as
cut
well.
off here.
Into
That would be
screens,
so
and
unlucky.
able to find the
Yeah,
conversion
actually
there. It was
almost
very
got cut off
close.
by the tripwire,
Panini
but
able to just by the skin of her teeth get out.
there's a
of that
good
one.
chance for
Quickly with
Shopify.
that
Also,
A
welcome
ground
Mick
control.
back
This
to the
is
caster booth
a
finally.
huge position.
Yeah,
And
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Peak time is not going to work out.
Stephanie's
A little
just
bit too slow on the
so
peak,
big
and
right
Stephanie
now.
takes full advantage.
Running
Great
through, gets the
conversion there. There
resurrection.
comes
Free double kill here for
Flowerful,
Flowerful, though. That's
comes through
tragedy.
and just takes down
Even
both
Laurie's
players,
popping off.
and quickly
How
things
does
turn on its
Stephanie
head.
get
tries to
that
respond.
shot?
A
What
will
is
drop Laurie
happening?
quite quickly.
No,
If
Stephanie
there
does
was more
this.
to be
That's
done here,
mentally
as a
booming,
VCT
but
comes through, and
I mean, so
Manison
far,
goes
whatever
down, and
Shopify
that
talked
might
about
just
in their
lock it in right now.
break
There is no time here
or
for
in their
Stephanie.
pause
Has to try to
was
lock this
right.
one in, but there's just
Obviously,
nothing
the
to be
right
done.
stuff was
Flowerful
said.
Finishes it off. It was a good effort, but Flowerful,
Yeah, that was.
one with that
I
timing.
mean, Stephanie
coming
almost
through
ruined
ropes
it.
to
It
punish
just
the
look at
res.
what
That
they
was the
spiked.
turning
And one
point
thing
for
to
sure.
note,
That was
guys,
a
is that Stephanie with the
fantastic round
369
from Shopify Rebellion. That
combat
was
score there
so beautiful. The
is
double
like
Rampler, which
light
honestly
years
went
ahead of the rest of the
about as
team.
bad as it
Literally
could have
more
gone,
than triple
right?
the next one
Losing
down.
that
I think it was
trade
like
battle on the ramp with
116
KP
for the combat score or
and
something.
Han, I believe it was.
So I mean, Stephanie
And
is just
Flowerful
carrying
hitting
the
that
team
time
right
Stephanie's
now.
putting in
and
work.
that's
like that
yeah.
was
The
just
rest of the
so perfect.
team,
And would you look
which
now,
was
they
actually
have a
makes it even
res
crazier, is
and a
9-8,
lockdown.
right?
And they're
Like
going
you
into
have
this
one
lockdown for
player that's
sure
just
this round.
head and shoulders above everybody else on
And
the
the
server,
showstopper
and
to
you're still only ahead
add
by
to it.
one round.
This could really turn things around. This is a very, very important round.
9 for Dig, 8 for Shopify.
But look at Shopify's
Yeah,
ultimates. I mean, they have
control.
lockdown, they have showstopper, and they have res. And we've seen what they can do with the showstopper. So let's see if they can find Thea.
Cypher gets away just in time. The B site's lost.
I'm in
though.
shambles,
This
Colin.
is gonna be a
Somebody just
5-on-5
tweeted
retake.
a picture of mango
They have
sticky
no ults
rice
to work with.
falling apart.
Yeah, it will be a tough one. In fact, though, you know, Shirleyana is one frag off of the
Mango
rolling
sticky
thunder,
rice
so we'll have
sounds
to
so
see
good right now.
Shirleyana's able to
Right?
charge
Here,
that
look at
one
your
up. That
camera.
could be very decisive.
My camera?
Spike is trying to be
What is
planted.
that?
Great cover coming through from Han.
Is that shrimp
And that's the
and
unlock.
rice?
Shrimp,
He's
rice,
able to take
snap
down one,
peas,
and
peppers.
there is some ground
Yeah,
gained
the
here, but it
peppers were
is
definitely
limited. It looks
noticeable.
like the fights are
Yeah.
just not going the way of Dig here. Rain, a last player standing.
I have
is doing
I have
some
this
good work,
Nature
but
Valley
too
wafer
much
bar.
work overall to
No,
be done.
that's
9 to
comparable.
9, and we asked the question as to whether Shopify Rebellion would be able to find
9.
the
And looking
initiative,
at
if they'd be
Stephanie
able to
does get a
take
little
things
bit of
back under
help.
control.
Rain's
They
now
really
above
have seemed to. They've tied it
200
up here
combat
now.
score, but
Whew, this is getting scary for Dig.
101 points over the
I'd
top
imagine they have a
fragger
couple
on the enemy
ults on
team.
deck.
I
They had
can
none
I
that last
definitely
round.
point out Shirleyana
Their
right now.
economy
I
has
mean,
to just be dwindled down. They can't. have
definitely different moving off the
That
Silva
really
to the
quickly
breach
and get
for
overview
for
of
this
it.
map. For split, it definitely doesn't look
They
as
don't
comfortable
have economy in this round.
as she did
It's such
on
it's such a
Sova.
big round for Shopify to build up theirs. Yeah, and they don't. They have to save.
I don't think that breach has made that
Wow.
big of a difference.
Actually, interesting.
No.
I would call a buy.
I
here
think
with that kind of
Sean's
money,
making a
Dan.
good
I
point
don't
here
know
about the
you.
economy.
It's kind of weird in
Um,
Valorant because
you know,
also have to
'cause
buy all of
clearly
those
Dignitas is
abilities,
flat
and they don't
broke.
have
Yeah.
many.
Well, not flat broke, but they're
Maybe a
like
lot of,
they're in like
Phantom,
half buy territory,
maybe
and
a
they
Spectre on
don't they
someone.
want to do that. They wanna
Yeah,
wanna
I mean,
like
I
be
like it.
competitive.
I can't wait to see how this goes because, of course, there is the Rolling Thunder. But the only thing that I'm worried about for Dig's sake is
I think that
I'm sure
because
they can get a
Dignitas
side,
has
but
ultimates
with their
behind
money
them,
so low,
they
I wanted
can
to
force
have the
buy.
util to actually
And-
hold a post plant. That's the major.
They're
I don't
gonna
like
go-
that the
But
end of the
you know, we're gonna
pause
see
is
if
the
we're
same
even
sound
gonna
as
get to
the
that
end
point.
of the or the start of the
Another
round.
res
I
available
don't like that
still
either.
Because I
Shopify
heard the
Rebellion
countdown
on
and then I'm like
Han,
21
so-
seconds. What?
You can see
But no,
early
they
on here
actually-
with the look on the
they
barriers
bought up.
that we will be having mid pressure coming through, not just
Interesting.
from one team but
Man.
from both.
Dan, I guarantee you it's going to
Who
be
won the last round?
Let's get Mick situated. Okay,
Second they get nail
Ryan,
contact from
can you
close on
send
Stephanie,
the
Rolling
parsec
Thunder's gonna
link
come
to
out.
Mick?
It's coming soon.
Oh right,
The wall
because
is there,
Nick's
though.
never
It's not
worked
gonna be
with
broken. That
Ryan
could be
before.
a safe way to play.
Yeah,
Stephanie
I
goes
was
straight
sitting here
up the
sending him
Rolling
messages
Thunder,
just
and
being
that's certainly
ghosted.
gonna
I was
hit
like, all right.
Stephanie, but
I don't
somehow
know.
she
I'm on
dodges
Do Not
that,
Disturb,
gets away with it
so
with a
it
satchel
just
over
didn't
the
ping
top of
me.
it,
It's my
and
bad.
they are going to
Don't know wall. Feels
completely
bad. Don't know why.
completely halt the mid take coming through, and the Rolling Thunder will be
All
burned.
right, so they
They got
use the
They're
Rolling
gonna try
Thunder
to
and get
res
one
this-
frag.
This body in mid, but look, Dig is keeping 3
They
players out. They're
have
aware. And yeah,
Neural
yeah,
Theft
I think
and
both teams are aware
Showstopper
of
still
the possibility
available.
of this res. And Shopify
But
just they knows
Shopify are
it's
nowhere
false.
close to getting on site either, so
He's
Yeah,
so
you
far
almost
away
have to
from
take a
everybody though,
massive gamble here if
except
you're
for
Shopify
KP.
in just predicting
So I don't
how your
think
opponent's
we're
gonna
gonna
play.
get a neural
It
theft.
It gets so difficult the more you wait as to know what they're doing. Rain with the
That's
info
a weird
ult.
teleport.
And
That's
now
a
just
huge
gonna be pressing some
paranoia.
Just trying to hold on to the back of the
Oh,
side.
gets obliterated
This-
though.
The P comes through and it's the showstopper.
Two
from
for
Stephanie
one.
Finally from that
Spike
P-heavy
down.
position. That's good for one, but it looks like Shopify have actually managed to find a plan here, and there is a real opportunity to make this
KP
round
needs the heal.
work.
KP needs this heal, and he can get them both to 100. Oh my, that is so clutch.
Oof.
I mean, KP could have gotten both to 100, but Panini
That's
didn't
so
move.
clutch. The Sky heal
You
coming
know,
in huge right
sometimes I forget Sky can heal.
Thea might hit a really good timing on the lurk though. They gotta be so careful.
For the longest
because
time,
it
I thought the
comes
heal was her
from
ultimate.
heaven. Now
Oh,
they're
Thea!
gonna line up for Thea, and it's just down to Panini against
Oh,
two.
one-on-one?
He finds the first one.
They use the
Able to
ultimate.
Capitalize on the distraction and gets
that
the second. The clutch coming through
sucks.
from
That's why
Panini.
paninis are the
Fantastic
more
stuff there for Shopify.
overpowered
And they're gonna
sandwiches.
stay in
Bro,
the
stop
lead
it.
by
I
one
can't get a
round.
Panini.
Again, this is so competitive.
That's an interesting take.
Jesus.
What is
Pressed
your
up against
take
the
on
corner.
Panini's Mick?
Panini comes out hot.
They're
Sorry,
a little
that's
too
okay.
thin, man. Like for some,
that was-
if you're trying to go
It's just
filling,
literally coming up
trying to
big
think of
time
something like a hefty sub with a
Honestly,
lot of
the
meats in there,
late round
paninis are just.
heroics coming
I
out of
feel like
Panini
it's the
this game was
cardboard of
definitely
sandwiches, like with
what's
how
geared
thinly
towards
layered it
playing
is.
this game.
Man, you've had some
This
really
is-
terrible paninis. I
This
feel,
is
Yeah.
such a
I
good
honestly
moment
feel
for
bad
both
for
of them.
you.
Honestly, from both of
Because
them.
you
Definitely
can
Fake ult
you
at a
can
range,
stuff a
coming back
panini,
into the
You
box,
right?
can stuff
paranoia,
paninis.
Because
dealing
like
with
the
it.
whole point of a panini is
Very
that you're
unlucky
squishing
that
it,
no
right?
one was
Like,
on that panini.
I'm trying to think of what the
Wow.
is beef Wellington
Oh, just
that
such
like
great calm and
is a
composure from
steak
Panini there for those
pressed
last two
into
kills.
like
They really,
a
seem to be
bread,
in
like
such a great mental
yeah,
state,
it's
just
like
not
it's a
impacted at
steak
all
wrapped in
by just
dough
how
and then like
incredibly important that
baked.
Oh, I
clutch
accidentally
was.
closed out.
And
my
we can
OBS
see the
Ninja.
damage to
Yeah, I
the
see you,
economy.
bro.
It
Ryan.
wasn't
You
just
got
a
it,
round
well,
win. It may
I see
be
more.
a
Too
round
fun.
win
That's
and
fine.
a
We're not
very
on stream right now. It's fine.
favorable
You got time.
following rounds.
But yeah,
Here, as you
paninis.
can see,
Like,
the money is so bad. for
I've
Dig.
seen some
Look at
like
the ults
panini
now,
presses
too.
that
It's
look like
not
they're
even
like
just an
40
economy thing.
pounds.
They wasted
And they just
Wow.
like
everything to win
they'll
that
like
round.
stack the sandwich like
And
2
honestly, it
inches
looked like
high
they should have
and then
won it.
just crush it, and it's
Shopify
just
has
like
these
ugh,
late round heroics
melty.
and
Well,
the
actually,
small quirky
so
plays,
question:
regrouping.
do
with
paninis
Sky
have
Heal
cheese,
was
or does that make it a
massive in my
melt?
opinion. It was. I can't even say how.
See,
big that
this
was.
is
That
where we
Sky
really
ran
start drawing a
around
lot of
for
lines of whether or not I've had bad paninis or if y'all were just connoisseurs of the art and really are just more experienced to the extent that I can't comprehend.
Through once again with the satchels.
Bro, why does the wolf get to break the tripwire?
Panini is
It's a ghost
feeling
wolf.
it right now, finding a fantastic.
It has a
timing,
physicality to it
feels
to create the
that flank coming
stun,
through,
get the bite
Sills
in.
deals with it effectively.
I
It's gonna
understand
be a
it, but I'm just
difficult
like, man,
series
poor
of fights here now
Cypher.
for Dig as
The
they
guy
try to
gets
edge their way
nothing.
down the ramp, but it's the bait.
Oh,
Unable
that
to
slow's
convert on
nice.
that one, and just the ISO just making it impossible. Panini
Oh,
with a
Han.
really
Oh,
good timing as well
no.
if it was needed, but
Ooh.
Han will take it down, and they are going to shut out that
Bro,
round. Dig,
Shopify's
of course,
popping
did not
off.
really
They're
have anything
body
to work with,
shooting.
but
They're
still, a
wiggling.
confident
They're
look
having a great
for
time.
Shopify Rebellion, who are now 2 rounds away from winning this series in the upper bracket quarterfinals here in VCT Game Changers.
And look at the
Looking
performance.
too
Steph is
shabby
having,
across
too.
the
I mean, we
board. You gotta say
mentioned
from
that
that
she was
first
the player
match,
to look out
I
for
didn't
before
get
the
around to
series
seeing the
started.
second one
I
for
mean,
the
you have your
series,
star
but
player with 26
first one,
frags, 20
Dignitas,
rounds
they
into the
had
game.
some. They were just rolling.
Let's be honest here. They're still on
Yeah,
defense side of
first
split,
map was just a
okay? They're
washing.
not in a terrible spot. This
It's
is
almost to
anyone's
the
game.
point where I think Shopify just
I
like
think this is literally going to go down to the wire, Dan.
just
This
like
is insane.
sacrifice that map pick.
Yeah, it's really looking like it.
Baited
Dig,
them in with
can they
false
find
confidence.
some performance in this round to turn it on its head? They do have that top A ramp control at the moment, and that has been, it's been quite a popular opening for Shopify to try to take away that position. And this slow pace, though, is actually quite difficult, I think, for Dig, who at this point must be
SR can
wondering
close
what
this
is
out.
going on. I
Shopify
like
can
the
close this
re-smoke
out
coming
pretty
through.
easily. I mean, especially working with
Onto
those
E-main.
2 ults. These guys with Panini, being on the
Shopify really trying to
offense.
sell something there. You're
Yeah,
burning the
there goes that
paranoia.
TP.
Teleporting.
Look at that Panini ult.
Oh, they
into
actually
an
commit
open
to the
A
teleport on
site.
A side
Cyclone
too.
and Rain needs to
Rain.
find one here.
not gonna get
Rain still
caught out by
with
the bot.
her
That's
paranoia.
hugely
Ready to
problematic.
go,
They're not
and
going to expect Rain
Rain,
from
she
ramps.
may not get a frag, but holding on to this
They all
position
walk
is
past,
huge. Looking
didn't
for
check.
timing. Laurie has to hold things down there. Able to
Yeah,
get
and
away
Rain
from the
just gets
flash,
a
the
free
pain
kill
shots
onto
for the
Laurie.
cover, but straight into
Oh,
Rain. The
no.
look from Rain has been fantastic. The timing, the patience,
Oh,
the
no.
discipline, all the shots coming together. But it is now down to Flowerful
Yeah,
to
make sure
try
you get
to
that
save
intel,
this
man.
one.
Even if it's just like
And, the
something.
full line
Even
is
if it was,
perfect.
say,
I
you
don't
know,
know the
Panini
she
smoking
has
that
no
out and
time.
keeping eyes on it, but like
Oh, there's no time
that
for
right
this one.
there, Rain just
What a
ran that round.
incredible performance there from Rain. You know,
How
you're calling for
unfortunate.
the frag, Sean, but Rain went for the.
So,
the
question:
big
hot
brain
dogs,
play, the
sandwiches or
timing.
not?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Colin.
about letting a small fish go to catch a big fish later.
I'm gonna say no.
She caught a real big fish.
My
Oh,
lawyer
no,
said don't
it's like,
answer that.
Oh my, that's like
All right,
that
well,
scene
now
from
you
Pulp
put your
Fiction.
sound through.
Where like all the bullets are flying, and it's like.
All right, so if you're not going to answer, hot dogs, what about egg rolls?
There's something greater at play here.
We need to get
We
off
don't
food topic,
understand
man.
that.
I'm gonna get hungry
Oh,
again,
the
and I'm
safety.
still eating.
The crazy thing is without the fault line.
I'm
Wait, egg
eating and
rolls?
I'm
What do you mean
still
by egg
hungry.
rolls?
Spike.
It's like
She was
egg
so
rolls.
pressed on
Are you trying to
time,
say that's
she had to
like a
just hold,
sandwich?
You know, the gun.
Yeah, that was the question.
Wow.
I would call
Very
egg
well
rolls
played
more
by
egg
Jake.
rolls more of a
Very
burrito kind
that
of
round.
deal.
Yeah.
I would classify
That has
burritos as
made
a
this-
sandwich.
Lori!
It's the most exciting version, I think, this game now. This
Oh, I
finish is
thought Lori
looking
was about to
down
give
to the wire between these
the
two teams. Here comes
slap
quick
to
push
the,
into that B side once again.
oh, she
They
was.
And not the best
She did
firepower
eventually.
in the world
Just
here for
took a
Dig.
couple seconds.
Hurting for economy, hurting for guns.
Yeah, every single time I pick
Couple
up this
specters in
gun
play here on
skin,
this retake.
call it the PS5
Very
Phantom.
difficult. Shopify.
Oddly enough,
looking
your chances
quite
are so much
strong
better
here at the
getting
moment.
that
You've got 40
rifle
main
off the
control,
ground
full
than
side
getting a
control.
PlayStation
Good
5.
info here coming through from KP as well. To
Honestly,
understand
I
that
feel like the
there's
Ion.
nobody on
I'm
the
so
immediate
kind
flank
of
right now.
aggravated
Oh,
that
man.
it wasn't the
KP's
one that
gonna
got put
take
in the
that
bundle.
opportunity to actually
Getting that
go for a long
re-revandled
flank
just
through
before
mid.
it went to
So
the
the time
shop
is
for
really
that little
on
bundle.
the retaker
Super
in more than one
aggravating.
sense, and it's gonna
Shopify
come down to hitting the shots
stonks
and
are going through the
Shopify
roof right now.
Rebellion
It's
are
happening.
just owning
It
right now.
is
12 to 10.
happening.
One
Think
more
about
round
that. Think about the
to clinch this.
14% that said
Does Dig
Shopify
have
were gonna win.
anything left in the
I
tank?
like that 14%.
Oh man, I
Bro,
can't imagine they
honestly,
do. I
had
can't
this
imagine they
been
do.
available
we know, I mean,
for
from the
gambling
CS
in my
economy,
state,
2 players
I was
living,
gonna
which is what
bet on
happened that
Dignitas. I
round
would've
where
lost
Rain
money.
came up big.
I was gonna, I
Thanks to
believe
drop weapons
in the
to other 3
Shopify
that
supremacy.
that died in that round. So
I didn't
that ends
believe.
up in a scenario
Fake
where
believer,
no one
fake
has
fan.
money if you lose
Non-believer.
The following round, and look at what's happened to their economy.
Then I saw their
Oh,
strats.
They have the res. They have the res here. Oh, those paint shells. Oh,
A lot of
That you
YouTube
did,
right here
yeah.
from the rip. Goodness
Dude.
gracious.
Oh, Lori!
That I love that play from Laura.
a great idea.
That's one way to stop a showstopper.
Finding a timing which I
Just
think
run
they can't
away.
really easily react
With
to.
a
If
boom
anyone already
butter.
pulling back immediately, I think Laurie gets a double there and converts. That would have been
Lori
crazy.
jumped. Lori blast packed right onto a
Lori's
Boomba.
aggression throughout this entire series has been so
Only
pivotal.
lost
And again,
armor,
like,
though,
she's
which
just
is
pushing
doable.
She got healed by
every
Sage.
time.
That's a 45-second cooldown.
This is it. This is
Gone.
the moment. Oh, Laurie's going to go down to the Spectre there. That's a big win. A 5v4 retake now. It's still difficult coming through for Dig, given that they don't really have great weaponry. That is a battle that
No more
can be
raise.
collected.
Look,
Shopify can win this. Panini's in such a good spot.
Panini.
Wow.
Panini. How many times have we said Panini's name in this map? Of
Panini just
being pretty
being
nuts.
Dude,
Players
it's
left
just
now to try to
running
keep
the
the chances
circuit
alive in
today.
this series. For
When it
Dig,
comes to this
Rain and
map.
Emily. It's so hard trying to get Emily trying to get over that wall there with her own, but Rain now just
I think
jumping
Shopify
dark cover.
Shopify
It's
needs to
gonna
buy
work
all
out,
their
and
fans,
my
all
goodness, I didn't expect this
14%
to happen. I
who
didn't
bet on
expect our predictions to
Shopify
be
should
correct,
receive
Sean,
free
after
paninis.
that first map especially, but Shopify Rebellion will take down Dignitas
Oh
in
man,
this clash.
get
It
them
went
that
all
Jersey
the way
Mike's
to the
sponsorship.
final 3 maps, all the way to split, and it was damn
Is
close.
Jersey Mike your go-to sub
so
place?
close. And
No, we
that's
don't
with
have 'em
Stephanie
here in
having
New
a
England.
Gangbuster's performance.
Rip.
I think
I don't think I've ever
we
had
said
honest-
that necessary. The amount of
honestly,
times
I don't
we
feel
said
like you're
Panini,
missing out on too
I said
much.
Panini.
Like
I'm
Jersey
starving,
Mike's
first of
is,
all, after
I'd
saying
say it's
that
very
about Paninis for
comparative
that
to
long. She came up so
something
big.
around
Every
Sean
pivotal
said it,
round,
guys.
she got a 3K or
like a
4K
Jimmy
and
John's.
vaulted
That would
away.
be
It
the
was
better
so
comparison.
insane.
Yeah, I don't know who to blame.
Sean said he's starving after thinking about
right
thinking
now,
of paninis
but-
for that long. I'm the same way.
Sure, Panini. She was just coming in hot for the squad. We were kind of concerned for Shopify there for a moment, seeing how Dignitas came out really hot out the gate.
I love how
fast, and
DDK's
then
running like the
it was
concert
Shopify
setup.
Rebellion in the
Man,
end,
he's
though,
got
to
the
shut down
dynamic
on Split,
microphone.
guys, and they are advancing. They
Just
just
straight
sent
vibing
Dignitas
with it like he's
to the
ready to
lower
sing.
brackets.
He's just
How
got his
about you? That's
Sony
their
headset
number one
on
seed
too.
now in the
Meanwhile,
lower
everybody
brackets.
else is in their like gamer cages.
That's
Yep.
such a big result because
Can't blame him
especially,
though. I mean, Lucy,
again, as
she
you
has
said, they
nothing.
started
It
off the
looks
series
like.
so
I'm trying to
rocky,
figure out
and it
where
already felt
her
like
audio
it
is coming
had the
from.
edge. Just,
I think
just had the edge,
DDK
especially
looks
in-
like
in
he's
the mental
on
games,
set for
coming
like.
out
He's on
again
vacation.
at the
He
start,
looks like
showing
he's on
confidence.
set
So I
at
feel like
like
there's so much credit
a
for me
clue,
personally
like a
that I've
clue
got to
make,
throw
a
to
live
like
action
Shopify,
clue.
Just,
Oh,
just keeping
true.
it together and just keeping it together, believing. And
We
closing.
find out in
That's-
6
that's
months he's actually
amazing to
part of
see.
like Knives Out
Yeah, and
too.
to go along that same narrative, Lori, 0-18 on Haven.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. 0-18 on the opening map.
Man,
She
that's so
comes back
crazy
and
that Lori
top
didn't get a
frags the
single
second
kill
map.
in map 1. Like that's what I'm
She got
saying.
like one
another
kill
insane
over
performance
15
on
rounds
Split.
today.
No,
That is
Sean
so
literally
impressive
just said
to
she went
mentally
0
come back from.
18.
I would be so mentally
Like she
boosted if I
didn't
went
get
0-18.
any
I would
kills.
be mentally
And then all of a
checked
sudden
out.
map 2 she gets like a
Kept
couple
up the
more.
aggression and
We
did
saw like that
everything her
2
team
the 2-2
probably asked
scoreline
of
after
as
3
an individual.
rounds. And then all of a sudden she starts picking up
Yeah, I
again
couldn't
in
agree
map
more.
number 3 and
then
Shopify
Here
win.
is
So
some score or some stats here for
direct
everybody. Of course,
direct
we love to see
correlation to
this.
having a good
Coming
duelist
up, I'm sure
and
we're gonna
winning
see some
maps.
following images as well as we usually do. And my gosh, guys, I know you guys are
Headshot
casting it, so I can't even
percentage,
imagine how you're
frag
feeling on your end
wins.
because you guys kept just going through that last round.
I don't know what the
for
bottom
Matt.
stat
For me,
is,
I'm
but
just
it's
like
1 to
over
3.
Here, like, I don't know if production could see me, but I'm like, whoa, oh my gosh.
Look at that.
That's
So what
crazy.
are we looking at? The
And
damage stats? The
actually,
Dignitas are doing so
Valiant
much.
were
Like
all
Dignitas
around by both squads.
mechanically
Unfortunate to see Dignitas go
we're
down, but
winning
I'm
that. I
sure
mean,
they have
I
the
I think
moving
most of those stats are
through.
coming from Stephanie.
We will see on that as well.
Yeah, I mean,
So guys,
I would
it's
100%
time to
agree with
announce
both
our
of those
first
MVPs.
MVP
I think
for
Split really
this
showed
event.
that
Nick,
Dignitas
Your
has
personal
trouble
match
flexing to
MVP.
other
That could
agents
be
because Sholiana
because
didn't look good on
Mimi,
Breach
we
compared to
all have
Silva,
come to already
and
know that
Emily
that's my
didn't look
thing.
as good on Sage as she did on Phoenix.
Yeah, I think
Oh my goodness,
you're right.
it's
I mean,
kinda
Phoenix on
crazy monstrosity
Split
there,
would have
but
been
it's,
nice.
well, I mean,
but
it's
I think
hard
you
to-
do need a
I mean,
Sage
I think Sean
currently.
and I were already like talking
I
about.
do- I
Mimi
think
so
this-
much
it's the
in
right
end.
call,
It
it's just
just does
map
seem
didn't really
such a
fit
natural pick, but at the same time,
Dignitas
I
as a whole
think
team.
there are so many different
I don't know,
threads.
Sage
you could go
feels
down
more
for
of
this, and
a,
it could
she
be
definitely
just,
feels
as
essential,
justified.
but
I
she
think
doesn't
someone talking about
feel
Lori in that way as well
like a
was,
necessity.
there's
As
a lot
weird
of
as that is
arguments
to
for Lori
say.
too.
Like
Again,
she's
I
a
can't-
critical
as
role,
someone that
and
has-
she
has
has so much going
competed,
to her,
I've
especially with that
experienced those
wall.
mental
But
breakdowns, and
I
it
feel
does
like
happen
as long
when
as your
you
team
have
is very
a bad
confident,
map.
utilizing
And we're
smokes
talking
and everything, I
about,
mean,
a map in
you can
attack
kind of hold
like
out a
PS
side
Dog,
if you got
playing
just
in
counter
Quake. It's a
strike.
lot easier to reset because I mean,
Yeah.
Quake because the games are so short.
I
but
think the
in
wall
this,
is
like, you're
just kind
sitting
of
in that bad performance. You're thinking about all the
overtuned
naysayers,
at the
the
moment.
people on the internet who are very mean.
Because like,
sometimes,
I mean, the
you know,
wall,
and
the
what
wall
Twitter
on
will say, and
Split
that
just
can,
does
like,
so
really
much for you. I mean,
get
we
into
saw
your
it
head, especially
in a
if you
couple of
don't
the
have a lot of
replays
experience,
there, where like
dealing with
you're
how
going
do
through
you
the
deal with a bad
garage door
performance.
onto
So,
the site, and you can use it defensively,
such a
and you can
great
set up like on the
thing to see,
boxes
and you
or
don't
on
see
the
it
other
very
side
often.
or
So, like, I almost
behind
am
it, like any of the,
tempted
or
to
even like on
prefer
the
it
attacking
Laurie's way,
side, you can use it to
personally,
run
but
up
it's, you know,
over
it's a
the
team
enemy
effort at the end
Sage
of the
wall,
day,
and
of
like
course,
it's just
and
it's so
I think they've gotta
versatile
be
on
super
Split
proud
that
of how they were able
it's
to come back into that series, given that Dig was-
it's so
Dig was
big,
playing
and it
very
does
well
something
also.
that you don't
Yeah.
have
I-
in any other agents.
Echoing
Like it's
everything you say,
Sage
'cause what we
specific,
just saw happen
being
with
able to do
Lori
something
going
like that.
0-18,
Yeah.
So the performance on the last two maps,
I'm
that is so
looking
rare.
forward to
I
these
can't
next
even
ages
think
that are
of
coming
one
out
time
because
I've
with
seen
how
something
impactful it is,
like,
I
I
feel
can't
like
think of
eventually they're
anything.
gonna
That
have to
is
come out with somebody
such
to
a good
really,
turnaround,
you know,
especially
put
in a game
Sage in her
like Valorant,
place to where she doesn't
everyone has
feel like,
unique
because that's what I
abilities,
mean. What
and
Riot they're
especially
best
out of
at
a
doing,
duelist that you
kind of
need
making
to
a
come up
dynamic
with,
meta,
right? You
always
need
trying to
have the
change up
Jet
as
come up
things
with,
as much as
you need to have
possible,
the Raze
finding
come up
counters
with.
from things
She
into
did
other stuff, or
on
finding
the last
better
two maps,
ways
she
to kind of
came
have a
up big
power
and
creep.
she
So
aggressed
I feel like within these
you know,
next
this
two
half
agents,
half.
we should be
And
getting
even on
something
the
like
defense side, we saw her pushing, you know,
Nerf
in
her.
middle and behind
Delete.
at A. Hats off to
I
Lori
think
and Panini, particularly
one of
for
the
that last one.
original
Can I add one more quick thing?
League of
I'm
Legends
sorry to
developers
I keep
said it
talking over
best
you.
in
No,
that
sorry to delay, it's fine.
But
healing
I have
in
to- I have to
competitive
say,
games
I think
is
it's
probably
even more
the
impressive.
hardest
I really
thing
have
to
extend this
balance,
because
right?
when you're on the
Because if
draw,
it's
what happens
bad, it feels bad as the player because you don't feel like you're doing anything. And so it also feels bad to play against in a way because you're just like, it just steamrolls them. But when it's good, it's so frustrating to play against as a player because you're like, oh, I did 80, and then all of a sudden your teammate goes and does 40, and now you're getting flamed because you made the call, and all of a sudden they healed up, and it's just frustrating on all levels, and it just feels like you have to have it. Like it's a 100% must pick. So
cosmetics
I don't know, like Soraka in League of Legends, like the closest thing. Like if she's good, she's picked in 7 lanes. If she's bad, you don't even know she exists. Sage is so similar in so many ways that it's just, I don't know, she's gonna get remade eventually, and I don't think anybody else will be surprised. But we're gonna kick it in the pool. We're gonna kick into a short break, guys. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with more VCT action.
Let's make this quick, bro. I got things to do.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the Radiant Arena is back. Wait, Harry, do I really need to say this cringe shit?
I mean, it's what Ben wanted.
You got it. Join us for 3 weekends of Valorant and a $3,000 prize pool. Sign up now on Community Gaming.
Get out of here!
everyone. Welcome
Hey
back to
guys,
Game
welcome back.
Changers presented by
I'll let
Dignitas.
Lucy May intro
I am
it.
Malambra, aka Lucy May. It is then also with me.
She's a lot
two
better than
very
I am.
Familiar faces. Types in chat. I know you love it, and you're gonna be hearing
Oh,
them.
she's
for
got
the
wireless
next series
earphones
that
in,
we've
that's
got
what it
coming
is.
up, guys. We just saw
That's the way to go.
Shopify Rebellion send Dignitas
Yeah,
I'm just kinda-
the lowers 2-1.
Folks who are
Up
joining
next, it is
in for
C9
the
White
GLG co-stream of the
versus Nothing to
VCT.
Lose.
My name
So
is
let's take a look at the
Seymour.
bracket, just
Twitter
kinda see what
at
that looks like, and also what's maybe
SeymourCast.
happening on the
Long-
other
right
stream
next
as
to me
well.
is
Get a little
Mick on
intel
Twitter
on
at
how the games are shaking out
Pick
thus
underscore
far.
Mick.
Dun, dun, dun,
And on the
drum
far
roll.
side, way over there, because he doesn't like
What is
being
it?
next to me,
So
he likes to be on the
GLG
opposite
Just
side. It's
Breathe.
Doctor.
That's gonna be
The Twitter.
ooh,
The
that's a
Doctor's
spicy
in.
matchup too. Just Breathe
That's
versus
in
Dignitas at the bottom
with
there. They did a
INN
lot
at the end.
versing each other
Yeah.
over several weeks during the Supergirl Gamer Pro.
Yeah. All right.
They've got
Cool. So
definitely some
CLG
intel on
actually
each other. That's gonna
2-0'd
be
their
spicy.
opponent. That's
That's so sad
Yeah,
though that
that's
one of
kinda
them
crazy.
has to go home, right?
Mhm.
You have to favor Dig in that matchup. Dan and I won't
so
be here
that's
for that
just
one.
Breathe,
I'm gonna go ahead
who
and say Dig.
was Milk,
Right,
Natty,
Dan.
Now
Slade,
you're- the flip-flopping is real,
Enluo,
guys.
and Kara. So they're going to be falling
where's the-
down. They have to play against
Okay.
Dig
Uh-oh.
in round
Fine.
1 losers.
It's that hotel
This might
connection.
be good.
That's
But
It's that handheld mic. It's getting the best
that's a
of him.
bit
handheld
tough.
mic OP also
but
hotel.
Oh,
life.
I
I think the
myself
next
muted on
matchup that
Discord.
we're going to
Oh,
be
we're
witnessing
there.
is Cloud9 White, which is
Oh, no.
Alexis,
Heyo.
Annie,
Hey, welcome back,
Jazzy,
BDK. We
the
missed you
Jessicans,
for that.
Katsuma, Mal,
seconds there.
with Coach Dream going
The
up
library
against Nothing to Lose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, there's a lot
which
of
is
books to take care of.
Ariana.
So, and lots of
Arsta.
knowledge to peruse.
Ariana Kiss has
I
actually
didn't
played in one of the
know.
Pit of Valors, by the way,
I
guys.
literally
Another
have
alumni.
photos behind me.
Another
I'm
alumni.
Nothing to
has
lose.
Books, like,
Oh wait, but then
couldn't
we'd get the
be any
team kill,
different
right?
than this.
Look at my
Like, this is
pillows,
so
man.
ridiculous.
Look at this.
This is just so.
What even
so
is
ridiculous.
that?
Gorgeous.
It's
Luscious.
officially
It's like
just getting
a
weird.
peacock.
is DDK
feathers with-
Dude, he
They were
literally
showing
looks
us
like he's
their
in a
pillows.
manor.
Yes,
He looks like he's in a manor or like a
Fancy, huh?
lawyer's firm,
All right.
and you like you know
Right.
you have like that main office, and it's always like wooden
Let's take a
bookcases,
look at
very
our
nice.
Yeah.
There's
As I
that
said,
big
that's
table in
C9
front of you, and you
versus
sit like in those
Nothing to
small
Lose.
chairs in front of
Let's
it, and
take a
they're
look
kind
at
of like
that
the principal.
the graphic
It's
of the
100%
teams.
a
They're gonna be
travel
going
setup though,
head-to-head.
right? Because it's
C9
just a
White
pair of
still
wireless
undefeated, basically,
wireless
other than
headphones with
losing
the
at math,
condenser
but they
mic
still won
there.
that
Lucy was
matchup.
saying that he was at a hotel or
Guys,
something.
What do you?
Yeah,
the
ultimately,
hotel
are you-
Wi-Fi.
Nothing to lose here. What are you seeing here that could
The
potentially
DDK on the
catch
road.
C9 White off
Still
guard?
doing all
to any
this.
degree?
Love it. I can't wait to see C9 White
this
play.
is
I haven't
definitely an
seen
uphill
C9 White
battle
play
for
in
Nothing
so
to Lose.
long.
I'm
And
with
I
you.
know
I mean, they have something to
Mel
lose
is
this game,
such
and
a
it's a lower
powerhouse.
bracket. So
Like,
I
I
definitely
we were
have
seeing
to
Lunar
favor
Cats
C9 White here. I
on
mean, you
stream a little
can't-
bit earlier
how
for
could you not
Dignitas,
favor
and
them
Lunar
in this
Cats was
matchup?
talking
With
about
that said, I
her
recognize
whole
a lot
lineup
of
on
the
Nothing to
names on
Lose.
Nothing to Lose.
Mhm.
I think they have a
And
lot of
how
experience,
I can't remember who it was, but their
they definitely
smoker
have
is
aimers
new to
on
the
their squad.
competitive
Like,
scene. So
it's not
I
out
think
of the
that
realm of
having somebody who's a little bit
possibilities
newer
that
to
they win the
competitive
matchup.
play
But
on
when you
Nothing to
look at
Lose,
their
they've made it
maps
this far,
played,
but going up
and
against a
they
team
don't
like
play
C9
split.
White,
They're 4-8
with the
on a
inexperience of a player,
They're only
it
3-2
might
on
show
Icebox.
against
They're
C9
0-1 on
White.
Breeze.
That's not saying that Nothing to
Yeah,
Lose
they're
can't
binding
bring
Haven's really good.
something
I'm not
good
gonna
here.
lie.
It's just saying that
9-1 on
C9
Bind,
White is
6-1 on
already
Haven.
just such a powerhouse team.
Yeah.
Like
You can't
C9 White
win
scrims with
series
like the
against
top of the
teams
top
like
of
Cloud9
Valorant teams
only being
all
able
the
to play
time,
2 maps.
and
So they're gonna have
I
to
know that,
steal
and they take
probably
games, they take
a
maps, they
different
take
map, right?
series
They're not
off
gonna get
them.
this
They're a
to
good
this
team. I think they're the best female, all-female
it's-
team that we
it's
have
a-
in
it's a real
Valorant.
tough
So
one.
I think
I
this is going to be a
completely
really
agree.
tough game for Nothing to
I
Lose,
want to
and we
say
might
there's
see a
hope.
big
It's one of
difference
those
in
situations
experience.
whereby you have a lot going against you. So I think.
Yeah, I mean that'll be
think
really
it's-
interesting to see
That's it. You know,
how
at
it
the top of
plays.
the show, we talked
See,
about
Cloud9
okay, you know, it's
in
Cloud9
multiple
White are
esport
the best
genres have
team
always
in game
been,
changers. That's something
you
that
know,
they've
dominant.
near the
done
top
that with
Yeah.
in
their
terms of
results.
just like
But
level
there
of
is
play,
no
and they've been
head-to-head
so
history
stellar
these two
with
teams.
everything that they
And, you know,
choose
like
to
Sean was
do.
saying, there are a lot of familiar,
Barring
names
Counter
and
Strike since the
faces
major,
here,
but
for Nothing
I mean
to
they
lose.
have an
And
eye
a lot
for
of
talent.
experience, especially for the
It's not really
Counter-Strike
like
world. So
you know
there's definitely definitely
Arguable.
a lot to work
That's
with.
exactly what I was
It's
going to
just
say.
about
Is
that
their
team
scouting
synergy,
process and
you
just
know, and
their
making that- and making
ability
the
to
things that-
recruit
allowing
is
your
unlike any
strengths to
other.
work for you.
I mean, you see the guys, a
C9
lot of
White, I think,
superstars
if they
now
just
that we
do a
see that are
good enough
mainstream
job at
players,
keeping
streamers,
their
things
opponents
like
out of their
that.
comfort zone,
You
then
typically
that's
they have a
really all it
Cloud9
takes.
background
But
to them because they just
if you can
know
avoid
whether or not, even if
all
it's
of the
just for
shenanigans
play,
that
just for
might
long
serve to do
term,
that from
you know,
C9
longevity with the
Now
brand.
we're talking, and
They
you
know
can
how to
hit
hold
some
that
more
out.
shots as well and meet them on the mechanical level. There's definitely opportunities to be had here.
Let's say though, one name
I'm
y'all
trying to think
didn't
of
mention is
the frame
Katsumi,
positive.
and I've been watching her
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
stream, and she's been
That's
she's
pretty
been
much it.
feeling
You hit the nail on
herself.
the head. The mechanical battles within the
Yeah.
server are gonna be.
I don't
nothing
think I've
anybody's
seen too much for
chance here, right?
Katsumi.
I don't think tactically.
Yeah,
they're
she's
gonna
not really
outplay C9
relatively
I don't
a
think we're gonna see
stellar
some
player. She's not, you know,
crazy
your front frag are going to be
strategies or,
absolutely called out
synergized
24/7, but I'm a big support player myself. I'm not one of those big fragging type guys. I play like the people I'm surrounded by, as weird as that is to say.
If they win
so it's like, you know, I can kind of respect the grind and love seeing kind of giving some shout outs to the people who don't receive as much love for things like utility, you know, giving those calls and things like that you wouldn't typically have the people say because they're like, oh, we're focused on kills, the things that are exciting, but it's like, come on, man, it's a game of chess with guns.
So I think this,
Haven.
I think this might actually be a 2-0
split, which is the
for
one
Cloud9 White.
That
And
C9 did
my super deep analysis is that Cloud9 White beat Shopify Rebellion 2-1, right? Cool.
That sense. So
No, you're not even predicting this. You're predicting the next one too.
No, I am predicting this one. So Cloud9 White beat Shopify Rebellion 2-1.
This is
nothing to
the
lose.
Best case scenario
lost
when it comes to the veto
to Shopify Rebellion 0-2. So by the transitive property, Cloud9 White is going to beat Shopify 4-1.
Honestly, kind of bad. They've lost to
in a best
every
of 3
team in this tournament on Ascent, other than GX3. That's the
How
only
does
team they've taken
Cloud9
out
White
on
beat
Ascent.
Shopify 4-1 in a best of 3?
And unless they come in with new looks,
do I need to explain it again, Colin? I literally just went over this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really big underdog storyline.
Never mind, we'll see. Yeah,
are they still teaching you Common Core in Canada?
Like, you said in a best of 3, Cloud9 White was going to beat Shopify 4-1. How do you have 4 maps in a best of, or 5 maps in a best of 3?
Data to be studied.
I didn't say they were playing 5 maps. I said they're going to win 4-1.
Which I guess Sean,
in a best of 3, where you can only have 3 maps.
Is there a
how are you going to win 4-1?
Can be an edge.
Listen, I think we're getting too dragged down in the mud here, Colin. Looking at the map we just saw, I think it should be a bit of a banger.
I think so, actually. I mean, I
didn't really Meg, do you have predictions for this one?
Perspective
I'm gonna say 2-1 C9 White. I'm gonna say they could possibly give up Haven here.
Nothing to lose, and you know,
did they give us maps?
Genesis might have a role in this, right? Like,
did I just miss the map?
It was Haven Ascent, then last one was
well when it comes to that type of play style. She's played with Emily in the
past because I would have talked about how much I hate that map.
Tons of experience as well. So I would be shocked if Nothing to Lose just comes in here and quote unquote plays their game, right? Like that would be.
These two teams don't have a head-to-head.
A surprise to me. I think they're going to have
so
some
we haven't
seen them
against each other.
I hope Cloud9 White doesn't.
So it's actually bind. Last map's bind.
Well, it's the harmonious combination, right? Playing your game while also shutting down your opponent. And as you said, C9 is definitely somebody you want to be stopping. So
Haven Ascent bind. So we're going to be getting Haven for map 1, which we saw in the first series of the day. Which was just a completely dominant map here for
what are we
Dig,
going to see
so.
Because
I think we can see
this is where the madness
really
starts,
fast-paced game for Cloud9 White. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be as much of a stomp though. I think when it comes to Shopify Rebellion, they just have like a mental block on Haven because it's something that they've shown a couple times now. They just
particularly on this
haven't been able. Well, I mean, maybe it's just Dignitas too, right? Like maybe that's just the kryptonite to that map, and Shopify Rebellion can pull it back against some other team. But we get Ascent and Bind, which from the Pit of Valor, we're omega familiar with these maps, and those are tight maps. I wouldn't be surprised if we get an overtime this series.
Go Lunar Cats going on the Astra.
How many times do we see? Like, you remember, Doctor, how many times did we cast it together for a Pit of Valor? And it's just been 8 hours of bind in best of ones.
I think
more than once.
Such a good
more than once.
Or Ryan says the right thing. Or 8 hours of Ascent.
I'm still getting 8 hours of Ascent. It just never ends. Sometimes teams will slap in an icebox, and it just makes me irrationally angry.
And
it's just
it wasn't until like map number 2 of the grand finals that Mick and I got something other than Haven last night.
It's really interesting to hear some of these things from Alexis and Mel, and particularly.
I mean, we know Haven now.
We know Haven now.
What is the objective? What are you working on? And of course, there's a lot.
So looking at these agent selections, we're actually covering the final 2 here. Nothing to Lose has a Cypher. You can just see the tip of his hat there, whereas Cloud9 White have the Astra at the very bottom there. So overall, pretty similar compositions. We have the Killjoy instead of the Cypher, and the Sky instead of the Phoenix, and the Jet instead of the Raze, obviously. But like, I was trying to compare like different archetypes.
Just exploring that and focusing on it.
So I mean, what do you guys think about these compositions? I think that
that you
Nothing
can
to lose are
really
actually
see in
pretty
this
solid
game
across
because
the
of
board.
How unique
I was kind of gonna go for C9 here. I love their setup. It feels a little more universal.
We saw against Shopify
attack,
against
Dignitas.
Shopify went for the Killjoy, Dignitas went for the Cypher. And what was it?
Well, with this double
Thea
initiator
on that
comp,
Cypher,
like with the Sova and the Sky. I mean,
and
having
the difference is that
I mean,
you had KP on the Sky for Shopify as well. Alexis on Nothing to Lose going to be on that agent, and
to slow them down.
or sorry, on C9 White,
right
and
behind this hit.
Well, it was instead of Astros we had Omens.
Astra smoke as well on a
So it's very different, but we did see that the Killjoy was the lesser of the two agents between the Cypher.
Resources on that. There's the flash
in the previous
position, or at least threatening that forward positioning on that A.
That's just my take on it. Is that I think I like the Cypher a little bit more on Haven.
Trailblazer, they just roll into
yeah, that's fair. There's a lot of choke points on this map to play with, especially when you're trying to lock down C and A, and it really forces out B.
Until it's time.
I could see that. Killjoy, I've always loved her, and I feel like attack-wise, especially her ultimate's a lot has a much bigger emphasis to it.
And Jazzy ready and awaiting on that raise. No util remaining. Drone will get the tag there. Oh, Annie Dro's found a fantastic timing coming through at the back of Garage, able to upgrade to the Ghost, and Alexis is finishing up a couple of these players as well. 2 versus 2 now. It's Pistol Madness as per the usual, and it's up to Alexis. Nice precision there with that classic, looking to finish things off. But it's Ariana to actually get it done, and has just enough time
Does she have it?
to secure the defuse. Oh, it's so close, and it is locked in. Nothing to lose. Starting out
0.29 seconds.
I hope they're able to continue.
The Colin, it's the arrow that we were talking about earlier with the pause timer.
Insanely close.
That shows you who's on attack.
Ariana to get off the spike and walk over to the right side of sight right there, just predicting exactly what was going on. Such good game sense.
Well, y'all didn't know the layout to know who was on attack and defense.
From nothing to lose. Very well done. And unlike the last game,
during a pause,
coming in on the attack
it doesn't tell you who's paused. It doesn't tell you who's positive.
Shock dart for
so
front B. That'll
I
take
was
out the
saying
trip.
that maybe the arrow
That's
pointed
something we
to
didn't
it,
see in
but
the
no,
last
I see
game.
it now. The arrow's pointing. Who has spike control? Who has spike?
Yeah,
I lied.
All right, well, it's the classic maneuver, on a pistol. It's very difficult.
Not a lot of util, especially for round 2.
Get a spike
where you'd
plant
run that,
on that B site.
I mean, Cypher not have much of a setup.
Yeah, Mel's actually found a good spot there, and this is looking very damaging, very dangerous indeed.
And barely surviving at the same time.
And B into C. This is a risky situation. Now, Ariana Kiss coming in from C long, and that's definitely going to be nice. There's not a lot of position here for C9 to work with. And it's just Katsumi and Alexis now. So looking like a recovery is in store here, as Alexis has quite the task at hand. Able to take down one at least, but that defuse looks to be coming through.
Nothing loses a really good retake strategy for C.
I
don't know if you guys remember when back when 100 Thieves stopped using 2 duelists on Haven, and they just completely give up the A site for a retake. It seems like that's what Nothing to Lose are doing with the C site.
These hits are super decisive.
And it worked out. Which is
they're scary.
Good to see, but I mean, it was
B hit right there.
It was round 2, right? Like they had a bit of an advantage. We'll see if now that they're in the weaponry disadvantage,
once they realize
if it's similar. And this is looking to be a very expensive bonus round here. I mean, you can see 3,200 being spent by Lunar Cats, 2,900 being spent by Sarah. So like they're not exactly in great shape, heading into the next round.
Smokes again. And followed up by the long push coming through on C as well. I just love how active we're seeing Nothing to Lose being in these early rounds, Sean. And Ariana Kiss is in a great position to.
That's my favorite thing to come out of Iceland.
It is very difficult with the Spectre at that range, but again, the pressure is fantastic. Look at how constricted C9 are right now.
I love it. I love the aggression. We've seen constant
Mel
aggression
is just
so far
absolutely getting bullied. It's real shame.
Pushing C on the first gun. And this is a very big round, the bonus round. Like I said, they could snowball this half out of control if they win this. 2 Astra Stars on A at both choke points. Here's the drone and immediately pops the smokes up.
Got your trail. Found one.
And there go the Seekers as well for some extra
Round
measures.
3 Jellyfish is so tough to deal with.
Some love on the entry, and that's a clear sight now. Spike going down, and it's a 4 versus 3 for the post-plant for C9 White, so they're looking strong on
Did you guys
defense.
see
We do
the
have a flank coming through?
I think it was a Reddit post about how to like eyeball most hot hand lineups.
And the push comes through. Oh, Meldo
I don't think I have, but that would be really useful.
Flank, so
if you're full
very
sprint
well in hand at this point, C9 White,
and you throw the hot hands, it
That
goes
was awesome.
to
the gravity wall into the Killjoy Molly into a
the
shock
edge
dart.
of the sound
Those
circle.
people had no chance coming out of spawn.
All right.
It's not
And
even
I think it's
fair.
if you're,
We talked about
I think if you're
synergy.
crouching,
I mean,
it goes
can't get more synergized than
halfway,
that.
I think, or 2/3.
No,
I
and-
forget exactly.
I mean, that was around you would expect.
And is that
C9
just
to
like a
win.
straight
I think
throw,
they
like
had
no
to
angle
earn
kind
it.
of really
They had to
factored
use
in?
an ult coming
it's like
out
it's like a
the
slight
sky.
upwards angle.
Yeah.
Like
That was kind of dicey. That was kind of
yeah,
dicey.
just
I
like
like
a
the C long push early coming out of the
little bit
Phoenix and the
upwards.
Jet. Even they had the reposition on A. Man,
Kind of like
this
that.
is
I
gonna be
mean,
a good
Killjoy
game.
has
I
relatively
don't
the
think
same
nothing
kind of
to lose is
momentum
as
to
big of an
Renee.
underdog as I once thought.
Yeah, but the hot
Yeah,
hands
definitely. I
drops
think,
straight
you know,
down after
we were talking about it
a
previously.
certain
Just
spot.
being able to throw C9 White off of their game is going to be only done by picking the right aggressions, taking map control, taking initiative.
Yeah, I think this is
peeling
dangerous
off
for an attacking
players
team
and-
because you know how
and
we were
spoiling
kind of
their game
explaining
plan.
for
And so
Shopify
far,
and
they've got a
Dignitas that they
mid-aggression
had
coming
kind of
through.
polar
You know, we talked
opposites
about
for
it every
attack
round
and
so
defense
far.
in the second
Having
half.
to lose throwing in the aggressions, and they're going to deal
You
with
look
that
at
Killjoy turret. I
the
love
C9
that.
White
They
has
get
a
rid of it
really
straight
good
away. That's a
post-plant
huge
team.
win.
And I think the Astra with her stars gives more of an ability to a post-plant situation to help out
Playing the headshot angle.
a Killjoy in the
You
sense.
just would have loved to have seen Ariana able to find something there, but they still have one player in mid, which C9 White may not account for.
I like how they're going for the
Facing
single
nade.
duelist rather than the the double
Alexis,
duelist.
Oh wow, that was a real chance for Artstar.
Because when you get site control, like watch this. Once the spike goes down, you'll see their post-plant setup
Man,
and
I'm
like
afraid.
both nanoswarms
C9 White in some of these
on
situations.
connector.
This aggression.
You can't push through this at
looks
all.
Like it could
Yeah,
come
that's
up
such
big
an
on all
awkward
these
hot
rounds,
hands
and it
that they
hasn't
just
yet.
threw, right?
So
Like-
I
Yeah.
hope that
Well,
Well,
to cover
like-
that corner just
lose
in
their
case. I
confidence
understand
and
it.
keeps up the aggression.
Well, but the thought process is like,
'Cause
if there's somebody in that
definitely a
angle,
world
they
where these
just
rounds go in the other way.
walk away.
Yeah,
right. Like it's not
absolutely.
an insta kill move, and they were so far
No,
like
so we'll
off
keep the defenders at bay
from
for now, but
peeking it. They wouldn't have been able to like catch
Trying
somebody
squad of
peeking, like
C9
running
White
out of
will
that
make quick
corner. So
work
you're
of
only
it.
trying to like
there is a secret
deny
lab
somebody from the
flawless.
corner, so that like
coming
when
through.
you do eventually peek, you don't have to check
But
it. But
Again, but I
I
feel
don't know, I
like
think
we're
it's
just
just
waiting
too
for a big
early.
payoff here from some
I think it
of
really
these
just comes down to
bold
muscle
and
memory because I
great
mean in that
plays,
kind of
frankly,
spot
from
when you're
nothing
all
to
sitting
lose.
in that tunnel right there, it's connecting CT and A. You know,
Let's
they're
see
gonna
if they
be
keep up
they're
the
gonna be running
aggression.
to get out of that. They're not
This
gonna be
will be
walking by
the
any
first
means. So
true
you're gonna hear
test
those
of the first gun
footsteps
round.
and know whether or not you
They
need to
saved
check
after
it.
the bonus.
Well, Jet Knight's
That
coming
just
out.
kind of cuts down your
Yeah.
time of whenever you're trying to approach
Someone
and get
taught
onto
me
that
site with
site.
that
That's
too.
one less box you gotta check off.
Watch this. Well, Cloud9 White putting the pressure on C Long here. That's certainly going to
There's nothing to lose to win that last round.
Will C9 try to commit off of this? They are going to be draining some defensive utility
C9
because of this pressure being so
Oh,
strong. And
look
there he
at
goes.
Jazzykins.
Goes in. The trade comes through though from Arianicus, but C9 are just going off at the back of this. It is back and forward here. And
That was some
Patrick able to
solid
get
mechanical
time.
movement with the
Flash comes
blast packs.
through. It is a defense that has prevented C-side access, but they've lost a lot in the process and are in a
You know,
2v3. And
Casting
C9 can go anywhere.
Valorant makes me want to play Valorant, but
Oh,
streaming
God.
With the
Valorant makes me
satchel
want to
up
play it
onto
even
that
more.
box.
I-
With the Sova ult going on. What a hit.
I'm with you. I hopped in
Yeah, I
here
wasn't-
and then I
wasn't
kind of
sure
ate
how
that
that
little
was going
time
to
of
go, but
intermission.
That was such a
I was like, you know
beautiful
what?
play
Sitting
for
right here
Space.
watching this.
Dan,
I
there's
wanna play
no
some.
way C9's going to be ready for this flank this quick.
Oh, poor timing for Aaron. I kissed.
Oh.
Oh, Arstar's
Quick
that's
call,
the
there's
spike.
a
Oh, the cage
comment
and the spike. And there
in
is time
the
for Arstar to
Valorant
slow play
Twitch
this.
chat that brings
Oh,
up
if
tears,
Arstar can just
kind of
kill
like we were
this
talking about
immediately-
earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
it's
this
like,
time-
oh,
this time
C9
for a
White
full
is a
rotation if
female
Arstar
super
plays super
team
slow.
with nobody even
That's
close.
some info. That's some info.
And
right
that they
there.
eat
And
up
they-
tier 1
so that's another
teams like
trip on the right side
United
of the
and
site.
Renegades.
Yeah.
So she knows that no one can swing
Would
right
you
side
consider
side.
United
It's a
and
lot of
Renegades
info
tier
to work
1?
with right now.
I would consider them tier 2.
Oh,
Alright.
man, the Sova still has
That was
a
my thought
drone.
too. I'm just like, what? Why are you picking those teams instead of like Sentinels
Exactly.
Stuff here
Like
from All-Star.
TSM.
Well, Sentinels,
Unfortunately, of
you
course,
don't put Sentinels in
playing that
the
turret does
discussion for
reveal
being beat
All-Star's
by
position being
anybody.
up one of two places. Most
Yeah,
likely,
but like
and
so they would be a
there's
tier
advantage
one
times
team
for
because
perfection
they're
here.
they're like
Coming through
actually
from Mel.
relevant to
Lovely
potentially
stuff there
winning
from
an
C9
event.
White to finish off the round, but
It just felt
again,
weird that
nothing
like
to lose, but
that
definitely
person's
showing
like,
us,
oh
showing
yeah,
that they have
United
a
and
lot of
Renegades
opportunities here,
are
and
tier
that
one in
they're
anything.
owning. And it just feels like at some point one of those is going to hit for them.
I feel like they definitely hold their own with
like
the whole
Ariana was
region
on
war going
such
on.
a
They could definitely hold their own
well-timed
against the
flank
likes of
because
Japan
Katsumi
and
cleared
Korea.
the
They could
window
definitely
to
place well
Garage.
over there.
She peeked front B, didn't see anything, but Ariana was flanking through like the grass area of mid, and she hit such a good timing, but looked behind the box just to clear it, and got caught on the worst timing possible.
That pressure on the garage doors to begin with. Oh man, it's so annoying to be on the receiving end of stuff like that. One straight to the noggin. But hey, we got the regrowth.
Oh, y'all talking
ready
about
to go.
food and
Jazzy
stuff?
back
I
up
need
to
since
100.
11.
Important for the entry.
It's been sitting in the
And
back of my
especially
head,
those
and now
pistols mostly here for
some Bojangle
nothing to
sounds really
lose.
good.
They are playing retake with the Cypher util on A as well.
Alexis is using her utility so well, just trailblazing through short A, clearing that out for her teammates, using guiding light to clear out long. Like I said earlier, it lets you know when people get blinded. So the fact that no one gets blinded, they take long for free at that point. She uses one more in mid just now, clear out the mid push. So much info is gathered from this guy. And they still, I believe, have a drone. No, they use the drone.
Crazy.
So Annie's use the drone, but the
that-
recon will come in.
Like the Flashbird tells you
it's
you
really
flash
making
somebody
it as safe as possible. You know, I respect that, especially if you
because
feel
like for
you're
some reason
ahead
like I
of the
knew that
opponent.
fact, but I like never really
And they're in a good
considered
spot. Mel's
using
one
it
away from
as a recon
lockdown,
like objective, like
and
we
nothing
like
to lose
Sean
on
was just
not
talking
really a
about.
spot
Oh, that
where I
was their
would
biggest
ever
thing. That was her
possibly
biggest thing
imagine
when she
wanting to
first
burn
released.
ults.
Everybody,
And a
that's
couple
what
kills are gifted.
me and
They
my
got
team
careful
for
to try to see
schools.
what
That's
they can
what
make of this
or
damage
like
wise,
our
but
collegiate leagues
again,
we were
running into
looking
the
at.
firing
That's
squad here, not a
the
lot
big
to be
discussion we
done.
had for it, because there's two audio cues for it.
Rodstar
You got her
really
saying
trying to
something as well as
squeeze
the
out
flash
any
ringing out more than
possible value.
general.
It's like
You have that
when the
typical like just
toothpaste
right
is
there
just
if
right
it
at the
gets
end,
nobody,
you're
and then it
just
rings
really
out if it hits
trying to
someone plus the
find
audio
some way to
cue.
squeeze out that
Let's
extra
try
bit, but
talking.
there's nothing.
in
There's
that
so many
It just like
layers.
never clicked
Yeah,
in my
exactly.
head. I was always
There's
like,
always
oh,
a
it's a
little bit more.
movable flash. Neat. That's pretty
There's
cool.
always more.
And then like
It just
he's
depends on
explaining
how,
it. And I'm
how
like,
hard
oh,
you are willing to try.
It's a good point.
And how clean you want your teeth to be, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because you don't have to run it around a corner, so you don't have to run it
Mental
into an angle
hygiene
where
is
it can be
important.
shot. You can literally fly it over the map, get
A
it
lot
into
of
that
ults in
spot. As
play
long
here
as it
this round.
touches them, it's
Sarastar has
inside.
the ult to cancel out melt if used, accordingly. Like that's usually what you see happen. Oh, and run it back is done as well. There's that annoying trailblazer.
Nothing to lose has so many ults
Oh,
already.
just so decisive here.
Guiding light over the wall again.
Yeah.
Catches Ariana in the middle of the open. Man, this guy is having so much impact.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of really goes to the point that you made previously, just that C9 White are going to be looking really great tactically. And we have certainly been seeing that. Just winning some of these early, important early round moments with those tactics is huge on the attack. They're in a 5v4. It's like, oh man, it's so easy to like create pressure now. And now the defenders have to like take big risks or guess. Everything's risky. And look at the holes created here. And Mel's trying to abuse an open space on the C site, and she has timed it to perfection. But is there an anti-timing? There is. Look at that. Wins the battle somehow.
Tragic. Absolutely tragic.
You want to fight it?
Now we're in a 4-on-4, and there's the Asher ult
It's a
coming
real
in.
shame how aggressive Mel's
That's
getting.
the
I mean,
attack side of
I understand
Asher
you're a
ult, but we
great
also have
player,
a
but when you're
defender
sitting in the
Asher
shoes
ult.
of Killjoy, you need to stay
Oh,
alive
dear.
for those post
We're putting
plans.
the lines out here.
I mean, your utility is
Oh,
based
that's a
all
huge
around that
pickup
when you're on
from
offense.
All-Star as well, and there's so much to play with here. Annie Dro, though, two very important kills there coming through, and that's going to be a 2v2 here. So at this point, it really feels like
that's such
anyone's.
a tough site to
Ooh,
retake
there
in
goes
this
Catrid.
situation, even
Alexis
with like
announcing her
the
position
parallel cosmic
in
divides.
style from backside. All-Star now.
I don't know
able
what
to
you're
do,
supposed to do
and
here.
Can't hit those first few bullets, unfortunately for her. But Alexis, of course, is
like,
quite happy with that one. And
so
Cloud9
brutal.
White. I mean, that was a really awesome round actually from both sides.
Yeah, I thought the find on the CT push onto Mel, I mean, it was kind of fortunate. if we're being honest here, based on timing. But once they were in that 4-on-4, I love the decisiveness out of C9 to use the Astra ult, not even risk anything. You know, they played that really well because the round was in total jeopardy at that point. But here comes the C aggression. We get no time to break here.
They used
Absolutely
3
not.
ultimates in that one
We'll see what
round.
can be done here. And actually, it seems like a pretty good guess because C9 were lucky hits. And I mean, just waiting so long that then nothing to lose and advantage. But
Oh,
Oh man.
Alexis ate that flash.
Yeah, absolutely run over.
I don't think nothing to lose should attack this right now, but
They're going for it.
like at all, like you got the lockdown out, you get a rifle, like you're giving up a round. Like this is C9's round.
Especially now that you get a detain. Yeah. Just retreat. Run away.
The round's over.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like they're gonna try and play for like a bit of a
If they can get the rifles out of the hand of the C9 players too, like this would be huge.
yeah, but that's so brutal if you can't. Like they get one. Oh, they lose 2. Oh no, that's 2 defenders to the spike.
Yeah.
That's
well, like
bad.
Wow, nothing to lose had a good setup to take those rifles out, but didn't work out the way they wanted to.
Now, where's this arrow y'all were talking about? Is it? It's not the spike one. It is the spike one you're saying?
Yeah, that's the one we were talking about at the top of the screen under the timer. There isn't like any type of
It's
signal
hard to clear out all
to
these
who
angles
called
on
the
Charlotte,
pause.
right? It's
Like what they could
a
do there
disaster
is
to go through that zone of the map.
do something with like
But
the
that's
top
why you
HUD or
see
the bottom
C9
being
able
it's
to
in
just
between
seesaw
rounds.
between
You have like the
sites so
spikes and
easily,
everything.
because Annie
Some kind of
saves the
implicator
drone,
there.
Alexis saves the
Or just putting
Trailblazer,
like
and
a
there's always
maybe
one
an
of them to do
inverted
it. And
outline
I think even when Alexis got caught
for
at C right
the
there,
team
she was
that's in the
probably going to
middle
go
of it
clear
up
it out with
top.
the Trailblazer at that point.
If you even just put like
well,
words above
I'm looking to
the
find an opening pick
player
from
names on the
Arianicus
sides,
with
just
that
be like
operator,
timeout called
Garage. So
above the team
it's
that
going to be
called the
interesting to
timeout.
see if this is going to yield any results. We do have quite a surge possibly from Cloud9, who have put a lot of pressure towards this position, so I like this choice.
Oh,
yes,
man.
the flick is
What
good
a
there
start.
from Arianicus. Nice flick onto the head, and that is Jazzykins out of the round. And that's the showstopper gone too. The Seekers will be used immediately as Cloud9, off the back of that, they decide to speed things up here. I love this maneuver from them. We'll have to see if it's going to pan out in their favor. Mel trying to take deep positions
goodness
here.
gracious,
She needs to get
girl.
that off angle working to her favor, but
You're getting
Arianicus
all the way up
outcomes
in
the
their grill.
daggers. I love the confidence up dropping over the top.
Oh.
Quickly. Out comes the classic instead, and it's going to be R-Star to get the trade at the very least. And there's not a lot here for any Drove. The shock darts, the position post plant, and Katri just says no.
This is
This would be crazy if Nothing to Lose could take this, could take Haven. I think that would be a big kind of wrench in the side of Cloud9 White.
I like the heads up play to not.
And if Arianicus plays aggressive with this operator like on the jet, like she is in this round,
Arianicus,
I think on defense, that's gonna cause some trouble for C9 White. They have to find an answer for that.
Or maybe the motion shot, I don't know.
And they don't intrinsically really have one either, right? Because like, you know, the big, well, I guess they kind of do, because like the biggest counters to a good operator are smokes and flashes, right? Which I guess they have a lot of because they have Astra Phoenix, but if you're just on the wrong side of the map and you're not in a position to do that for your team, they're just gonna get smoked.
Team, in my eyes, Dan, is one that you can't play aggressive on. You're forced to play passive into a style that they are very aware of. Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Gatsby just free reign inside there. As soon as the Owl Drone leads in from Anidro, it's just perfectly set up for C9 White. And these post plants are so good. Like, how are you supposed to break this now? I mean, if Arianicus are not finding those, or if she's not finding those opening picks, and you give up the site, what can Nothing to Lose do on a retake?
I will say one kind of contingency I have with this setup is once again how how Mel is basically the furthest out as a Killjoy. She needs to be staying alive for that util to really come through. Because I mean, if there's a break that comes in and she dies before even the break comes through, you have no intel there from that turret to know when the timing's coming up.
Oh, the awareness is just great. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, okay. Blizzard with the Lexus there.
At least the operator's still in hand, but
hey, stop! She's already dead. No more.
Like the scene from The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's what I was, of course.
So yeah. when do Simpsons references become too old? Is that?
We're probably already there. It's just we don't realize it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean's right. Simpsons references are definitely outdated.
Yeah, that's what old people typically say about their things they like.
Well, the operator once again could be the difference maker here from Arianicus. Just has to find a fortunate first timing. We already know that Arianicus is good for the flicks. Oh, that's really unfortunate, actually. The bait's coming through will throw Ariana off of the angle. And it looks like C9 actually want to continue to push.
Look at this. Now a drone's coming. It's just like she cannot get an opening. She's trying to push the issue, and C9 White just doesn't allow it with these initiators.
And just look at the awareness too, just knowing that the flank is then open and just pressuring it, so then Nothing to Lose. Just look how, I mean, you talked about it, Sean, just now. Look how passive they are now. They try to get aggressive, they just can't.
C9 is going into the stack.
Counter aggression. This might be a bit of a chalked half, in all honesty. This is not looking great here for Nothing to Lose. The good news is they have nothing to lose. They're just gonna lose.
Goals come in to really lock it in, and Katsumi's just found just a really sick timing here, and that's Arsar down. Nothing Arianicus can do as well against that off angle, and that is 8 rounds. And what looked like a lot of opportunities, you know, opportunities are great, but they have to at some point hit. At some point, and that unfortunately has just not been the case here. Nothing to Lose.
These C9 sight hits look so good when they throw the paint shells behind.
Everything looks clean. Sean's saying the right thing. I mean, these sight hits are just so clean from C9, and
on both sides. Like, there's just so much
maybe there's a team here that can take down C9 White.
You can't play passive.
I just don't see Nothing to Lose doing it. Like, there has to be so many things going right for them.
Yeah, it's
They need to retake or something. They need to just stay in spawn.
There's so many conditions, like, for Nothing to Lose to have to take a round. When C9 White are just, they just set up and just stick with their gut.
Okay. C9 once again kind of walking it to and fro. Just again, it's just this walk to and fro, the pressure that they're throwing up, it's creating a situation where, again, as we said, Nothing to Lose don't feel like they can get aggressive, really. They can't really read the pacing or the timings. But they still have to do it. They still have to take the risks. And that's the really difficult thing here. Another psych hit comes through, and it's just beautiful. Just as you were talking about, Sean, it's all very well pieced together and drilled here by C9 White.
Oh, Oh, I'm gonna plant the spike. Let me just drop 2 Molotovs on it real quick. I still have this alarm bot.
Cosmic Divide. Annie in a really sick position. Very well played by her, and oh dear.
Poor Cypher. Poor Cypher.
Yeah.
What do you do here? You're walled off. You're stuck.
This is like what I've been saying. I mean, as soon as C9 White get control of a site, what can Nothing to Lose do? Like, they need to duel it out. They need to find an open. First, they have to get through Jazzy. That's a good start. But C9 White have just such good control of this post plant that everything that Nothing to Lose is doing after you get that bomb down is planned. It's like it's a trap from C9 White that they said, and everything that Nothing to Lose can do is expected from C9 White, and they're reading everything so well.
Remember that time early on in the half where I said, Nothing to Lose is a lot less of an underdog than I thought? That was the top, and we should have all sold at that point and just bought massive invest into
they do stonk
White,
strokes
I was
too.
so wrong. C9 White looks so good. Oh my
yeah,
God.
they just. I mean,
it's not even Nothing to Lose looking bad, right?
Yeah, it's crazy when one team has to take a lot of the correct risks, and it doesn't look like the other team is taking any risks, but all of those risks the other team's taking are necessary. It's like that's kind of what's going on right now, and it's like, hang on. That's it seems like White are really positioned very well.
This
in
is
that sense,
brutal.
but it's the
Now you're
second
just back
half
on
pistols.
Oh, because it's second half. Oops.
To lose now on the attack, trying to hit this ace.
I thought it was a save round again. I was like, oh man, that's unfortunate to say the least. But Mel with a sick jumping headshot. Oh man. And he's gonna follow it up too. What is happening?
Doing a good job defending here.
Oh, everybody's dead.
Seeing what she can get done. She's picked up the spike as well. A minute to play with, a decent amount of health remaining, and there is certainly moves to be made here. A 1v1 for Luna Cats. Oh, the tags come through. Alexis.
Wow, the trace there.
And that's the 10th round on the board for C9 White, and it looks like they will continue as they have been.
And typically, you'd see Luna win that.
Support players on Katsumi, Alexis, someone for 17, 15 frags respectively. Like, what more can you ask for out of an Astra and a Sky? Their lineup's so stacked.
Yeah, it is really awesome to see.
I think the map's basically over now, right? Like, you lose pistol, you're already in double digits. You're gonna lose round 2 to the superior weaponry. Like,
goes pretty deep, but it's gonna get some key.
I don't know.
Really, not a whole lot left because you're already down.
Coming through here.
11-3.
And you casted that run it up game last night, so I mean, never say never.
Mel's in there though.
I guess, yeah, but
a 2-for-1, a 3-for-1.
That's not a great start. Mel gets a 3K, and then Alexis and Annie just clap it up.
And again, just good repositioning from C9 White to make sure that they guarantee that they hold back side.
It is most definitely rough, though.
I thought C might have been the play because if you looked on the mini-map, and we'll probably get to see it again because it wasn't really used, and watch this setup that's about to go down front B. It's going to be insane. There's going to be Killjoy and Astra stuff. Oh, no? Oh? Mel? Yep, there it is. Alarm bot there. No, she's not doing the mollies this time. The B setup was unreal in that last round. There was just zero shot that Nothing to Lose could go B.
And this is
clearly saying I'm reading it.
Yeah, this is the hope. This is the chance. Trying to play the bonus round with worse guns. We've got a very fast push coming through. Alexis able to actually finish that one off. She's been left quite low here, but the important part is that she managed to trade out the kill, and she's got the site under control.
Wow. And then she sends the guiding light into short right there. I mean, she felt the pressure of the hit, right? She doesn't know if she's being hunted down when she gets tagged by that drone, but the guiding light not blinding anyone short allows her to catch her breath.
Starting a round, down 30 HP. If this bonus round goes C9's way, it's literally donezo, right? Map point.
Yeah.
You lost with rifles. You're full
Yeah,
send into map 2 at that point.
Astra, but sometimes like seeing the right agent is enough if you know the other team. And here comes the push. Can C9 White hold this? Looks like Jazzy was ready to almost give up the site there and play retake. And in goes the push here from Nothing to Lose. Nice angle coming through to try to defend this one, but a very, very good couple entries have been found now by Nothing to Lose to secure side control. And Nitro might try to get a little cheeky there, but it looks like Lunacats is on that angle. Very responsible stuff, preventing anything from going awry before the spike is planted. They've now fallen into post-plant positions, and it's looking increasingly unlikely that C9 White should be able to find a way back in.
Imagine if C9 White just, Katsumi just one taps everybody.
Being touched by that.
Ends it all for him. Puts Nothing to Lose out of their misery.
Finally, are they able to find the kills they're looking for? Katsumi in the side, able to take one down, but
I thought it was going to happen for a second.
Is the
And then I didn't believe.
Yeah, I mean, I was falling for the bait too. Oh my god, cage noise, cage noise, cage noise. Look at me, look at me. Arrow hits the wall. Oh, it's just so. That was pretty clever that they had all the cage noises, and then the arrow hits the wall, pings the.
What did I miss?
Spot.
But
yeah, just the bonus round there.
2 rounds, or the bonus round did not go Cloud9's way, so they have
must-win round.
Full rifles now, heading into the full rifles of Nothing to Lose. So it is a bit of an even matchup, as we do see the very long recon dart. It's not going to find anybody.
And here comes a Garry's Control using the run it back. Oh, that's so unfortunate that Cat triggered that, losing the run it back there prematurely through that wall. At the same time, Ariana Kiss with the pressure towards C Long, and the Seekers are going to be forced out as well. It does feel like Nothing to Lose are doing a good job.
They all went down A long right there. That's so unfortunate.
I love the garage setup though, to have the Killjoy turret bait. Hanydro knows how to perfectly time that, knows exactly where the bullets are coming from. Takes out the Phoenix clone. Now Nothing to Lose, regrouping here towards front B, but this is definitely going to be an A hit. Based on what
Do we all think it's going to be a 2-0 for Cloud9?
In this stage, yeah. I was thinking Haven would be the map they passed up.
I don't remember who chose what map, honestly. Was this Cloud9's selection, or was this Nothing to Lose's selection?
Don't remember. Look at that. Oh my goodness. How fast is Cloud9 dropping them?
Come to its conclusion.
All right, so that's going to be map point now. So, I mean, this map's obviously going to go the way of Cloud9. But again, if this is Nothing to Lose's map pick, then yeah, sadly, it's going to be a 2-0. But Ascent is, I think, a lot more even than Haven, right? Both between the attacking and defending side. So, I mean, I think it'll be a lot solider. Oh man, they don't even have any economy. Yeah, this map's over.
Yeah, because they just forced rifles that last round. So
yeah, so going to map 2, Ascent, much more even, much more, convertible from either side.
I doubted, why they.
But if it's Cloud9's map point, they're gonna have the strats planned out. They're gonna have, the whole game plan ahead of them, and they can just run away with it then. And yeah, it'd be a 2-0.
Yeah,
it would put Cloud9 up against the winner of TSM and GX3, which is playing off stream, I have to imagine, much like the earlier other bracket quarterfinal. So.
Looking to catch that kill, but nice dodges coming through from Annie-Dro, although, oh wow.
Apparently the snipers are pretty good for Nothing to Lose.
And it was a Marshall, so it had to be pretty sick. It was a penetration kill too.
Nothing excites me more than the Marshall's price being lowered, by the way, in the next patch. Just
yes.
I can't wait to see the Marshall clips.
It's such a good gun. And there's a spike now going down, and
Spike planted.
See what Cloud9 White can do here to retake this. It's actually going to be difficult.
The lockdown is about
Did they actually just give this up?
Lunarcats.
We got the wall, we got the lockdown, we got cyber cages.
It's actually a really tough retake, but they'll run through this wall.
Yeah, I don't know if they can actually do this.
Exactly.
Who got the tank?
Very succinct, very concise there. And there comes the defuse. Pressure is on right now. Coming off of it though, Katsumi, Mel able to find
it should do it, I have to imagine.
In a panic sense, push onto the
Who's
spike
left?
here. The pressure is just too great.
I am.
Sarah?
And that said, time is still a problem here.
Wait.
Gets the
Wait! Oh no!
My.
From Sarah Star, fantastic stuff for Nothing to Lose. Keeps him in it. Just
Oh, you don't get the Phantom! Oh!
Oh no.
That's
Oh
massive.
no, oh no.
Wow. That is a very hard.
I mean, those
to
were
win.
sick
They knew
shots.
Exactly where she was. Gun advantage. Peeks out, destroys them. with
14
it.
HP too, so really anything
Okay, that's some light
would have
from
closed it
nothing to
out.
lose here. A C9 on the back foot. Not a full buy. Do you believe, Dan?
I see a judge, Sean.
Are you judging?
I see a judge.
Get out of my way.
It's on Jazzy too. We haven't seen Jazzy use the showstopper. Honestly, she's never been put in a situation where she's needed to.
Yep. It's just always been there, ready to, you know, bail them out in case something gets desperate.
Just chilling on the explosion.
Ooh, I love it. Love a good Guardian as well. And the push comes through onto the C site, and the weapon advantage really working out as it's supposed to. That said, though, Alexis might make things complicated. Jazzy's now in a forward position with the judge. Not the optimal ranges here, but he's... Oh, no. Jazzy's found optimal ranges with that judge, putting it to great use. She has decimated the push in R-Star now with the Guardian in the 1v2. Unfortunately, though, the spike is down on the ground.
Guardian
in a
Gamer.
very bad position.
Did you just say Radiant Gamer?
Guardian Gamer.
Oh. Bro, I hate the Guardian. People buy this gun, and I'm like, you literally just wasted 2,500 credits.
Well, like I don't know what's so bad about it. Like granted, it's like, oh, it's a one-shot headshot gun, but like for some reason I just can't use it. Yeah.
As soon as you, because it's like, I feel like a lot of people, in a way, treat it kind of like a DMR or something from COD, where like it's, you know, it's a it's a marksman rifle, and it's something that, you know, you can control and you can play around with and you can actually take advantage of. But the recoil pattern on the Guardian is just so much more aggressive that you literally get one shot, and if you miss, you're just toast.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, even though they lost like 13-5, 13-6, whatever it was.
I don't think we're shocked that C9 White won that game.
Oh,
As
it's
you can
muted.
tell by our reaction. Mick went to go get some food, but he came back.
Yeah, I was hungry.
Game was
Y'all kept
over.
on talking about it, and I was kind of like, it was a constant thought lingering over my head at that point.
And now we get to go to a
Mick, I'm gonna ask you, since we're here, what's the flag? The flag on your far, on the far wall.
On the far wall, the far wall is just a lion with the American flag kind of in the center. If you're talking about the one that's like literally
on the side.
Oh god, that's basically my school's gaming organization flag, because we're the UNA Lions. So that was the logo they designed for the gaming org. And what is it? We got to choose and like whether or not to get it personalized and things like that. And I'm the Hearthstone team captain, so I was like, you know what? Being a team captain, I probably need to get this personalized, make it a little bit special.
I know from my school, I have a jersey from when I played in the Overwatch team, and I have a jacket that says production on the back of it.
Yeah, we did jerseys for sure. We've been trying to discuss getting getting merch and things like that, like a lot more decals and stuff like that, but they just haven't really scaled to that point yet.
Okay, well, folks at home tuning into this, we're gonna throw it to a little bit of a break. Undecided yet what's gonna happen with GLG. I know I have to head out now when we go on a break, but when we come back, might keep going, still undecided. So
I'm gonna update you here, Colin. For those of you who are in the chat with us, be sure to really quick do the exclamation point Radiant in the chat to be involved in the upcoming Radiant Arena. It's a huge event that we're putting on here with a $3,000 prize pool with a great host of teams entered in it already. We only have a couple spots left, so you are 100% going to want to get signed up sooner rather than later before you run out of time. I think we actually had a team sign up last night, so I think we're actually down to 2 spots, believe it or not. So very limited quantity left, but in regards to the co-stream today, I do want to give a shout out to everybody who stuck with us today. We are going to be calling it a day here, but don't fret. There is still plenty of other co-streamers out there. We do have GLG, friend of the fam, Keglanuk going on over at twitch.tv Keglanuk. And you can also watch the main streams at twitch.tv Valorant and twitch.tv/Dignitas. But from us here at GLG, we want to say thank you, and we will see you guys next time. Have a great day.
Let's make this quick, bro. I got things to do.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the Radiant Arena is back. Wait, Harry, do I really need to say this cringe shit?
I mean, it's what Ben wanted.
You got it. Join us for 3 weekends of Valorant and a $3,000 prize pool. Sign up now on Community Gaming.
Get out of here!